always strictly managed her weight, but since she started eating Jiang Cheng's cooking, she really can't control it anymore. Jiang Cheng looked at her lovingly. What's there to be afraid of with 2 kilograms? Rounding it off is almost nothing. The 2 babies have small appetites, and they weren't very hungry, so they started to cry and come down to play after eating just a few bites. Seeing Jiang Cheng reaching out to pick up the child, Yi Qingjiu hurriedly picked up Jiang Cheng's bowl and chopsticks to serve the rice. She also wanted to do something for him, even if it was just a little bit. After dinner, Yi Qingjiu went to take a shower, while Jiang Cheng took a nap with the 2 babies. In the afternoon, Jiang Cheng received a call from his mother, saying that she wanted to see her precious grandson. It had been so long, and Jiang Cheng didn't even bother to bring the child to play with them. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng looked at the 2 babies with a smile on his face. Do you want to go to your grandparents' house? Hearing that they were going to their grandparents' house, the 2 babies were happy. Great, I can eat potato chips. Nano cheered. Yanyan was also very happy. Great, I can ride a big horse again. Seeing that the 2 children were very excited, Jiang Cheng had no choice but to send them to their mother. After sending the child to school, Jiang Cheng received a call from the company. It was from Secretary Li. Hello, Mr. Jiang. The construction company has already contacted the school, but I think... What do you think? Jiang Cheng asked curiously. I think why don't we just forget about it? Why waste our time? This kind of charity is often criticized. People nowadays have a very strange mentality. They always like to find fault with everything without donating a dime. I saw a news report 2 days ago about a celebrity donating a batch of supplies. Some netizens actually went to see it and said that the things he bought were of poor quality. Later, he was criticized badly. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng smiled. He was not afraid of these things. As the saying goes, a man of integrity has nothing to fear from his own shadow. It's okay for the construction company and the school to reach an agreement. There's no need to discuss what has already been decided. After saying that, he hung up the phone. In the Duoluo set, Zia Shishin came close to Bai Meng and said, Boss Bai, can you give me Boss Jiang's phone number? Bai Meng looked at her suspiciously. Why do you want Mr. Jiang's phone number? Sheng Xinyan, who was standing next to him, pricked up her ears when she heard the words, Mr. Jiang. Well, I have something I want to tell President Jiang. Zia Shishin acted coquettishly. After all, she was not a big star, but Bai Meng was the real CEO of Star One. What's the matter? Tell me. Bai Meng looked at her in a firm tone. Don't you know what the entertainment industry is like? Isn't this trend corrupted by these people? Oh, Mr. Bai, I know you treat me the best. Zia Shishin was still unwilling to give up. Sheng Xinyan looked at her embarrassed appearance. To be honest, Zia Shishin was not as good as Chen Mengting in any way. At least Sheng Xinyan thought so. She has no spirituality, and her only advantage is that she looks sweet. She immediately sent a message to Yi Qingjiu. Dear Jiujiu, someone is asking for your husband's phone number. Please be on high alert. Yi Qingjiu slept in for a rare afternoon, and just as he woke up, he received a WeChat message from Sheng Yangxin. What's going on? Has Jiang Cheng had any romantic encounters recently? She quickly replied, Who is it? Sheng Xinyan replied, Hey, the leading actress of our crew might have been unable to resist the temptation when she saw Jiang Cheng today. Chapter 186, Preparing for Wedding Photos. After hanging up the phone, Yi Qingjiu thought for a long time. It was not surprising that someone liked Jiang Cheng. After all, he was no longer the penniless college student he had just met. He is now the chairman of Yaochen Group, and a wealthy bachelor who owns shares in several large groups. Moreover, he is very handsome and talented. To be honest, it would be strange if you don't like such an outstanding man. Especially after what happened with Jin Bebe, she understood Jiang Cheng's feelings even more. She clutched the phone in her hand, staring blankly in silence. It seemed that she had to be even better. He was the strongest man behind her. She also wants to be the most unique woman behind him. Thinking about it, Yi Qingjiu picked up the office phone and called Sheng Xinyan. Sheng Xinyan thought she was jealous and came to inquire about the situation, but she didn't expect that Yi Qingjiu would start with this. Do you have time now? I want to do my hair. For Yi Qingjiu, as long as the clothes are wearable, it's fine. After all, she already has several wardrobes full of clothes, and she also knows that her figure is absolutely impeccable. If she wants to change, she has to start from scratch. Hearing this, Sheng Xinyan was really surprised. Didn't Ms. Yi always dislike having her hair done? Every time she did it herself, she would be very dissatisfied. What a big blow she suffered today. Asking for a haircut. This is so rare. Jiujiu, if you feel uncomfortable, You can just use your status as the queen to warn her instead of torturing yourself like this. Yi Qingjiu said in a cold voice. I just want to do my hair and change my hairstyle. I'll give you half an hour. I'll pick you up from the crew in half an hour. After saying that, she hung up the phone. Damn it, I made my best friend so mad. Sheng Xinyan, who usually keeps quiet, suddenly spoke up. Ka, listen, what are you acting, Xiao? The author has spoken, and Bai Meng dare not disrespect him, especially since the author is Ms. Yi's best friend, who would dare to offend her. She quickly gestured to stop. Then everyone stopped. Sheng Xinyan walked over and said, Zia Shishin, first of all, you have to understand what you are playing. Xiao Wu is a lovely and affectionate girl. She is not like those fancy girls. Also, why are you looking at other male actors while filming? Xiao Wu only has Tang San in her eyes, don't you know? Have you read the script? Put your heart back, don't look at other people's men. No matter how good they are not yours and have nothing to do with you. Do you understand? After Sheng Yangxin finished speaking, Zia Shishin's face instantly turned green. This was obviously not a play. How could I have forgotten about her just now? I should have avoided her when asking. After all, she is Mr. Yi's best friend. Sheng Xinyan never finds fault with anything. I didn't expect that I would talk so much today. Bai Meng immediately stood up and said, Sheng Xiu is right, think about it carefully. Zia Shishin looked very nervous at the moment. She didn't expect that even President Bai would say this. It seemed that everyone was very resistant to her asking for a phone number. After Sheng Xinyan finished speaking, she looked at her watch. It was still 10 minutes, so she guessed that Yi Qingjiu would be here soon. Sure enough, as soon as she went out, Yi Qingjiu arrived. She opened the car door and got in. Hello, President. Yi Qingjiu opened the car door and got out. Take me to your hairdresser's home. It turned out that Yi Qingjiu had no interest in these things at all, so he didn't know the road at all, so Sheng Xinyan had to drive the car. Sheng Xinyan rolled her eyes and said, Why didn't you tell me earlier? I just sat down. Even though she complained, she still got out of the car. The two of them changed seats and soon came across one high-end design after another. The facade is magnificent and doesn't look cheap, but neither of them cared and walked in directly. It was indeed a top-notch design. When Mr. Tony saw Sheng Xinyan, his eyes almost bloomed with laughter. Hey, what brings you here? My bestie wants to get her hair done, so I'll bring her over. Sheng Xinyan has a good relationship with Teacher Tony. After all, the Sheng family is a wealthy family, and she is very generous. Since he is her friend, his conditions will naturally not be bad. He looked at Yi Qingjiu for a while and found that the girl was indeed very beautiful, charming yet not vulgar, with an air of nobleness and coldness. She was simply the reincarnation of a phoenix. I already had a general idea in mind. Please follow me. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu followed him into the design room. Sheng Xinyan followed behind with her head down. While Yi Qingjiu was doing her hair, she was playing with her cell phone on the side. Half an hour later, Teacher Tony smiled at Yi Qingjiu in the mirror and said, Okay. Sheng Xinyan turned around. Oh my God. The fairy has descended to earth. She is so beautiful. She usually has straight hair, but this time she gave her hair some texture, which made her hair look curvy, instantly raising her beauty. It's really amazing. I'll go. Sheng Xinyan was so surprised that she was speechless. Is this still the Yi Qingjiu she knows? Yi Qingjiu looked at himself in the mirror and seemed to be fine. Teacher Tony looked at Yi Qingjiu in the mirror and had only one thought. He must take a photo with her. This was simply his most successful advertisement. You are so beautiful, miss. Can you take a photo with me? You are such a living signboard. Before Yi Qingjiu could speak, Sheng Xinyan rolled her eyes at him. What are you thinking? You're charging me for taking photos. I didn't charge for this look. Why are you still charging me? Sheng Xinyan looked at him with a self-evident expression. I didn't give you a free pass, just swipe my card. There's still more than 80,000 in it anyway. This is probably the legendary saying of being rich and willful. Teacher Tony looked at Yi Qingjiu with regret. Just one and one more, okay. Yi Qingjiu raised his chin and said, Ask her. Well, now Teacher Tony understands that there is no hope of taking a photo. Okay then, forget about taking photos, but if you want to get your hair done, you must come to my place. It's free. After all, Yi Qingjiu was so beautiful. Even if it was free, he felt that he had not lost out at all to be able to see such a beautiful woman. In the afternoon, Jiang Cheng received a strange phone call. Hello, hello. Hello, Mr. Jiang. We are an international courier. We are calling to confirm whether you are at home. Jiang Cheng was stunned. International Express, did the wedding dress fall down? Yes, Mr. Jiang. Please tell me when you will be home so we can deliver the goods to your door. Jiang Cheng was still in Chenyu at this time. There is someone at home, you can just send him over. Yes, sir. Oui. Now that the wedding dress has fallen down and it is already autumn, it is time to take wedding photos. Because it is cold in winter, taking wedding photos will definitely be limited by the venue. Thinking about this, Jiang Cheng called Secretary Li and said, "Come over here." "Okay, Mr. Jiang." After hanging up the phone, Secretary Li went straight to Jiang Cheng's office. Seeing that Jiang Cheng was in a good mood, he asked curiously, "Mr. Jiang, are you looking for me?" "Well, where is the most suitable place in Sichuan province to take wedding photos?" Jiang Cheng asked. "Wedding photos?" Secretary Li thought for a moment. "As for wedding photos, our Sichuan province should have the best gu photographers. Although the prices are relatively expensive, the services are first class, especially the studio scenes, which are all very good. The props used in the studio scenes of ancient photography are all real materials, unlike some other photography, which uses fake flowers, fake grass, and fake trees. The photos have no texture at all and rely entirely on post-production photo editing." Jiang Cheng didn't care about the price. After all, it only happened once in a lifetime. The only thing he cared about now was the quality. "Okay, I got it. I have something else to do, so I'll leave first." "Okay, Mr. Jiang." Jiang Cheng went downstairs, got in the car, opened the map, and headed in the direction of the ancient photography. After all, it was only a chance, so he couldn't be careless. The place is a bit remote, but it still looks very good. It is called ancient photography because they have the ability to arrange many good-looking ancient costume styles. After all, ancient costumes are much more difficult to create than modern costumes. Jiang Cheng walked in through the door. Seeing someone coming, a staff member came over and asked, "Hello, sir. Do you want to take a photo?" After all, he looks too young, and people are pursuing late marriage nowadays. At this age, he doesn't look like the right person to take wedding photos. "I'm taking wedding photos," Jiang Cheng said in a light tone. Hearing this, the young lady looked regretful and said, "Okay, sir, please come in. Can you please call your top photographer for me?" Regarding the marriage, Jiang Cheng felt that Yi Qingjiu should be given the best of everything. Hearing this, the young lady was stunned for a moment. "Sir, the prices of top photographers are quite expensive. A set of wedding photos costs about 100,000 yuan. I personally think it's not necessary. We all care about cost performance now, right?" After all, Jiang Chengsheng is good-looking, so the young lady still gave him some fair advice based on his appearance. "It doesn't matter. I just want to find the special grade." The young lady raised her eyebrows. "He is really stupid and has a lot of money." "Okay, the stunt photographer has to make an appointment. I can show you the location first and then choose the style you want to shoot." "Good." Seeing Jiang Cheng nod, the young lady immediately took out the tablet and said, "Sir, please take a look first and see if you like any of them." Jiang Cheng flipped through it and looked at a few sets. He thought they were all good, but he hesitated for a moment and still called Yi Qingjiu to ask for her opinion. After all, marriage is not a one-person thing, and the opinion of his wife is the most important, right? Thinking about this, Jiang Cheng called his wife. A pleasant female voice came from the phone. "What's the matter?" "Tusk tusk, she is always so cold and aloof." Every time Yi Qingjiu answers the phone, Jiang Cheng can't help but want to tease her. This may be men's desire to conquer. The colder you are, the more I want to see how gentle you can be. "Wife, call me husband." Thinking of his wife's shy face, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but feel happy. Yi Qingjiu went home to sleep after getting her hair done. She had just woken up and her voice was a little muffled and nasal. "Husband." Jiang Cheng swallowed. What was going on? Originally, I wanted to tease him, but I didn't expect her to scream so beautifully, tenderly, and weakly. "This is..." "What's wrong?" Seeing Jiang Cheng didn't say anything, Yi Qingjiu asked curiously. Jiang Cheng coughed twice. "Wife, I'm looking at wedding photos. There are several sets that are very good. Do you want to come over and pick one?" "Wedding photos." No wonder I seem to hear Aunt Zhang talking to someone just now. It seems that the wedding dress fell down. But I didn't expect Jiang Cheng to be so thoughtful. He went looking for a place to take photos as soon as the wedding dress arrived. A warm feeling arises spontaneously. She thought about it and said, "It's all fine as long as you like it. After all, marriage is a matter between two people. As long as Jiang Cheng likes it, then I like it too." Jiang Cheng didn't expect Yi Qingjiu to let him choose. He felt a little puzzled. How come this girl, who is so strong-willed and pursues perfection so much, doesn't seem to care about the wedding photos at all? "Are you sure?" he asked doubtfully. "Well, I like everything you like," Yi Qingjiu said in a light voice. "Well, that's fine." After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng continued to select carefully. Yi Qingjiu sat on the bed, no longer feeling sleepy. He didn't know since when, as long as he was there, all the imperfections seemed to become perfection. Jiang Cheng chose one Chinese style and one Western style. In fact, he has always liked Chinese style. After all, he feels very proud to be a descendant of the dragon. The things left by our ancestors cannot be wrong. But he thought Yi Qingjiu should still prefer Western style. She remembered the longing look in her eyes when he took her to see the wedding dresses. After much thought, I decided to order both sets. After deciding on the style, the young lady took him to see the venue. The venue for ancient photography is very large, and it is really a real scene. It looks very beautiful. There is nothing to choose from, just flowers. There is a scene that is a large rose garden, which is also a feature of ancient photography. In order to take real photos, a glass house was planted with bright red roses. Roses symbolize love, so many people will take pictures of this scene. But as Yi Qingjiu doesn't like roses, she likes lilies. He knew it from the moment he proposed. Jiang Cheng thought for a moment and asked, "Do you have a lily garden here?" Hearing this, the young lady shook her head and said, "Sir, we only have roses here because roses symbolize love, and roses are easier to survive than lilies." "Can we plant some lilies?" Jiang Cheng asked tentatively. Growing lilies? The young lady was very surprised. Calculated by square meters, this is more than 100 square meters. Planting lilies now is not only expensive, but he can't grow them at all. "How about this? You guys prepare a glass room similar to this one, and I'll bring Lily over tomorrow." The young lady was very surprised. There was indeed a glass house. After all, they had to plant flowers all year round. The blooming seasons of flowers were different at different times. Some of the flowers had withered and could be pulled out and replanted. However, it was the first time he heard of someone growing flowers for wedding photos. A room full of live lilies is not cheap. "Sorry to trouble you, my wife is different from others. She only likes lilies." Jiang Cheng gave her an apologetic smile. As for the lilies, he could just buy some seeds and plant them in the space. One night would be enough for them to bloom. He could come over tomorrow morning to be a flower farmer and take pictures in the afternoon, so there would be plenty of time. The young lady thought for a moment and said, "Then wait for me to report to the boss." The young lady was surprised and touched at this moment. Such a handsome man actually wanted to plant flowers to make his wife happy. This is the first time she has seen this in her 5 years of working in the industry. This must be love deep in one's bones to be able to pamper his wife like this. Chapter 187 today is strawberry flavor. Jiang Cheng nodded, "Okay." The young lady walked a few steps away with the phone in her hand. The distance was too far to hear clearly what she was saying. A few minutes later, she came back with a look of joy on her face. "Mr. Jiang, our boss is very touched by your behavior and has agreed." Jiang Cheng nodded, "Thank you then." After leaving the door of Gu Photography, Jiang Cheng drove to the flower market and bought some lily seeds. Then he entered the space and spent an hour planting all the lily seeds in the soil. Then he went to pick up the 2 babies. Tomorrow is the weekend, so it is a good opportunity to take wedding photos and also take a family portrait. As a family, we should be in good order. After returning to school and successfully picking up the 2 babies, on the way home, Niu's face was full of anticipation. "Dad, take us somewhere to play tomorrow." Since they started school, Jiang Cheng has taken the children out to play almost every weekend. He thought for a moment and said, "You can follow your mother tomorrow morning, and in the afternoon, Daddy will take you to a beautiful place, okay?" The beautiful place in Jiang Cheng's mouth is naturally ancient photography. Hearing this, the 2 babies were extremely happy. "Okay." After returning home, Jiang Cheng rang the doorbell. He thought it would be Aunt Zhang who opened the door, but unexpectedly it was Yi Qingjiu. Yi Qingjiu was wearing a black silk nightgown, her hair was naturally curled, and her pair of auspicious phoenix eyes were full of movement. Although she didn't say a word, her charm was revealed. Jiang Cheng looked at her and couldn't help swallowing. "It's so beautiful." Seeing him like this, Yi Qingjiu couldn't help but want to laugh. "Why are you staring at me? Come in quickly." Oh, Jiang Cheng came back to his senses. The 2 babies also noticed the changes in their mother. Yanyan tied her hands together and asked for a hug. "Mom, you are so beautiful today." Niu didn't ask for a hug, but she obviously agreed with Yanyan's words. Yi Qingjiu was amused by Yanyan. "Then what's different about Mom today?" Yanyan tried to look for a long time, but still couldn't see any changes. He pouted and shook his head. "I don't know, but Mom is very beautiful." Hearing this, Jiang Cheng smiled. He walked over and gently touched Yanyan's nose. "Little idiot, Mommy is doing your hair." Yi Qingjiu's hairstyle is not very obvious, so it is normal that Niu and Yanyan can't see it. Yanyan stared at her mother's head with eyes wide open for a while. Really, Mom's hair has become more beautiful. The family of four walked into the living room, talking and laughing. Jiang Cheng thought of the wedding dress. By the way, wife, the wedding photography studio I saw today is very good. Let's go tomorrow. It happens to be the weekend. Yi Qingju nodded, okay. Jiang Cheng saw Yi Qingju nod, then he went into the kitchen to cook. Yi Qingju couldn't help but sigh that time passed so quickly, but he was very glad that the person he met was Jiang Cheng. After eating a bowl of rice, Jiang Cheng took the two babies to play in the children's room for a while. When it was time to go to bed, Jiang Cheng looked at the two babies and said, "Let's go wash your faces and brush your teeth. Daddy will coax you to sleep." Niu looked at Jiang Cheng with some hesitation. Today in kindergarten, she heard the children say that they all slept by themselves, and the teacher even specially praised the child who slept by himself. Niu and Yanyan also wanted to experience what it felt like to sleep by themselves. What's wrong? Jiang Cheng looked at the conflicted expression on Niu's face and felt a little curious. Dad, I'll sleep alone. Niu looked at Jiang Cheng with a serious face. She really wants to sleep alone. Although sleeping with her father is also good, she also wants to get praise from her teacher. Yanyan also nodded. Dad, I want to sleep alone too. It is said that children should sleep in separate beds when they grow up. Jiang Cheng has also thought about this, but Beidou says that many children are extremely resistant to sleeping in separate beds. So Jiang Cheng plans to wait until they are a little older before bringing it up. I didn't expect that the two babies would bring it up on their own today. He nodded, okay, let's go and wash our faces. Okay. The two babies were excited when they heard their father agreed to let them sleep alone, and they brushed their teeth and washed their faces obediently. When Yi Qingju found out she was pregnant, she had already prepared a children's room for them, so after washing up, Jiang Cheng took the two babies back to their own room. Yanyan's room is blue. After all, he is a boy. The starry sky lights on the ceiling make it look very dreamy. Nano's room is pink, a typical princess room. The two babies were very happy when they returned to their room and quickly climbed into bed to sleep. Jiang Cheng didn't disturb them and walked out on his own. Half an hour later, he went in again and found that both babies were asleep. Only then did he feel at ease to walk into Yi Qingju's room. Now they finally have their own world of their own, and no longer have to run back and forth between the two rooms to do anything. Thinking about it, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but get excited. Yi Qingju had just finished taking a shower and hadn't dried her hair yet when she heard the sound of the door opening. She came out wearing a bathrobe. The bathrobe was a bit loose and not particularly fitted. Even with a belt tied around the waist, it was still baggy. But this also had an advantage, as it allowed for some beautiful scenery to be seen vaguely. Seeing Jiang Cheng, Yi Qingju was surprised. Are the children asleep? I have to say that the scenery is really beautiful. Jiang Cheng feels that he has undergone some subtle changes. He nodded, well, I asked to sleep by myself today. It looks like it will be just the two of us sleeping from now on. Hearing that two people were sleeping, Yi Qingju's face flashed with shyness. Who wants to sleep with you? Sorry, what you said doesn't count at this moment. Jiang Cheng picked the man up by the waist and threw him on the bed. Yi Qingju was startled by him and said, You, what are you doing? Then he hid backwards. You know, she only has this bathrobe on her right now. Jiang Cheng couldn't just let her run away like that. He grabbed Yi Qingju's white feet. These feet were really beautiful. They felt soft and tender when he held them like that. If you looked closely, you could even see the texture of the skin. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. The next morning, Jiang Cheng got up very early. After all, he still had to plant flowers and he couldn't slack off. Yi Qingju was still sleeping in, and the two darlings hadn't gotten up yet. He made breakfast and got into the car. Then he entered the space. Sure enough, with the blessing of the spiritual field, all the lilies blossomed overnight. Some even had 4 flowers on a branch, competing with each other for beauty. The whole space was filled with the unique fragrance of lilies. Jiang Cheng carefully pulled out the flowers. There were hundreds of them. It took him a long time to pull them all out. Then he put half of them in the trunk. The other half was placed on the back seat, and finally everything was loaded. It was around 8 in the morning when I went to take the photo, just after the store opened. Seeing Jiang Cheng carrying a big bag, the young lady hurried over and said, Wow, I didn't expect you to really get so many lilies in one night. She was really envious of Jiang Cheng's wife at this moment. She must have saved the entire galaxy by herself in her previous life, which was why she had so much good luck in this life. Jiang Cheng wiped the sweat off his head and said, There's another pack. Can you help me get it? I'll get it from the car. After saying that, Jiang Cheng turned around and went to the back of the car and took out a very large black plastic bag from the trunk. He walked up to the young lady and said, "Please take me there." The young lady nodded, "Okay." When they walked into the glass house, the young lady helped him find all the tools he used to grow flowers. Jiang Cheng began his long journey of growing flowers alone. Here, Yi Qingju had already gotten up. Looking at the empty space next to him, he felt a little uncomfortable. It turned out that he just ate everything and ran away. She got up and went to her baby's room. Seeing that they were all still asleep, she went to the living room alone and found breakfast on the table. All the unhappiness in her heart just now disappeared. Around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Jiang Cheng finally finished planting a greenhouse of lilies. Worried that the flowers would not adapt to the climate and soil, he specially fetched some water from the space and watered them all. Then he sent a message to Yi Qingjiu, asking her to come over with the children. Yi Qingjiu received the news and took the children out. Jiang Cheng was afraid that she wouldn't be able to find him, so he waited at the door. When he saw Yi Qingjiu's car approaching, he hurried to meet it. He planted flowers for the whole morning, and all the staff passing by saw him. Like the young lady, everyone was curious about who his wife was. It can make a man so devoted. But as soon as Yi Qingjiu got out of the car, everyone understood that it was really fucking beautiful. Jiang Cheng held the two babies and took Yi Qingjiu's hand and walked into the door of the ancient photography. Because they had made an appointment with the photographer was waiting for them. When the photographer saw this handsome couple, he immediately became excited. They were so beautiful, the photos they took would definitely be beautiful. "Please take a seat. Let's confirm the photos and your preferences before taking the photo. This way, things may go more smoothly." Hearing this, Jiang Cheng pulled Yi Qingjiu to sit down. When the two little babies saw their parents talking about something, they sat obediently on the sofa not far away. Yanyan took the Rubik's Cube and started spinning it, while Nunu watched his brother spin the Rubik's Cube on the side. There are many excellent wedding photos on the wall of Gu Photography, which can be regarded as an exhibition and also a marketing tool. Nunu looked at Yanyan for a while and felt a little bored, so his eyes fell on the photo. When she found that all the photos only had 2 people in them, Nunu couldn't help but feel aggrieved. Her eyes were covered with mist, and she looked at Yanyan aggrievedly. "Brother, do you think Mom and Dad don't like us anymore?" The Rubik's Cube in Yanyan's hand still did not stop. "Why? Mom and Dad won't take us with them when they take pictures." Nunu looked serious. She had a high emotional intelligence and understood when she saw these pictures that these were most likely wedding pictures taken by the 2 of them. There can only be 2 people. Hearing this, Yanyan stopped the Rubik's Cube in her hand and said, "I don't think so." Nunu was a little anxious when she saw that her brother didn't believe her. She pointed at the wall with her chubby little hand and said, "Really? Look at the wall. Look at these pictures." Nu's voice was so loud that Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu could hear it. Yi Qingjiu became anxious and grabbed Jiang Cheng's hand. "What should we do now? If I don't take care of the 2 children, will they really feel that they only love their father and not them?" At this time, Jiang Cheng clearly heard Yanyan say, "What you see determines your thinking. You see 2 people, so you think there can only be 2 people. But our thinking should be divergent, not fixed. What we see is not equal to reality." When such words came out of Yanyan's mouth, who was less than 4 years old, Jiang Cheng's scalp went numb. He has always known that Yanyan's IQ is extraordinary, but it is really scary that he can be so smart. After hearing Yanyan's words, Nunu fell silent. Jiang Cheng was greatly inspired. He looked at the photographer in front of him and said, "We want to take wedding photos for our family of 4. "A family of 4? The photographer's eyes widened. He had never seen wedding photos of a family of 4. It was not that he was unwilling to take them, but this was beyond his ability. How to take photos of a family of 4? Is the protagonist an adult or a child? "Yes, a family of 4, Jiang Cheng said firmly. Yi Qingjiu beside him was also slightly stunned, looking at Jiang Cheng in disbelief. Are you serious?" Although she also wanted to take photos with her children, wedding photos have always been taken between 2 people since ancient times. Jiang Cheng held her hand and said, "I am serious. Which rule states that only 2 people can be included in a wedding photo. The reason why we are so stubborn in thinking that only 2 people can be included in a photo is because our thinking is rigid. Fixed thinking." Yi Qingjiu felt that what Jiang Cheng said made sense. "Yeah, why can't there be 4 people? There's obviously no rule against it. Even if there is a rule, people are alive but rules are dead. We can change it." The photographer took a deep breath. He completely understood what the two people were saying. However, he had never taken wedding photos of 4 people before, so he was still a little nervous. In fact, the meaning of wedding photos themselves is love, which is the love between 2 people. But as love sublimates, there will always be children. With children, it is no longer the love between 2 people, but the love of a family. Jiang Cheng nodded. Yes, that's right, so the protagonist is not any of us but this love. The photographer looked at him excitedly. Okay, we can try it. Yi Qingjiu was so happy to get the support of the photographer that he took out lollipops to give to Niu and Yan Yan. But after thinking carefully, it seemed that the one who should be praised this time was not the 2 babies, but their father, Jiang Cheng. She handed the candy to Jiang Cheng with a smile. Here, it's for you. Jiang Cheng looked at his wife's cute appearance and couldn't help laughing. 2 lollipops have absolute control over themselves. Yi Qingjiu nodded. Yeah. Jiang Cheng picked one and stuffed it into Yi Qingjiu's mouth. Your performance today is very good. You deserve a reward. The sweet smell of the lollipop spreads out instantly. It tastes like strawberry and has a taste of happiness. Chapter 188. Lily is so beautiful. Yi Qingjiu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Hey, this is for the babies. Jiang Cheng looked at her seriously. But you are also my baby. She was his lovely little baby. Yi Qingjiu looked embarrassed. The photographer was still there, so what on earth was he going to say? Jiang Cheng patted his head and said, Okay, go put on makeup and change your clothes quickly. The young lady took Yi Qingjiu to the dressing room. Makeup is mainly used to cover up facial flaws, but Yi Qingjiu has a very good foundation, and those cosmetics are basically redundant on her face. Not only do they fail to highlight her beauty, but they make her look vulgar. So the makeup artist just put some lipstick on her, changed her clothes, and came out. A family of 4 lived in the glass house. Although the lilies were dug out from the spiritual field, they seemed to be used to it now and did not feel the slightest bit of incongruity. After being exposed to the sun for a whole afternoon, the flowers bloomed even more beautifully, as if they were trying their best to freeze their beauty in a moment. Yi Qingjiu followed behind Jiang Cheng, accompanied by Niu, Yan Yan, and the young lady. Seeing the glass room full of lilies, she couldn't help but be surprised. I always thought that only roses could be used for wedding photos. The young lady looked at her with envy. This is what your husband came here to plant this morning. He said you don't like roses. Upon hearing this, Yi Qingjiu was not only surprised but also moved. So it's really heartwarming that he disappeared all morning just to plant a room of lilies for himself. The photographer set up the camera and said, Nod to Jiang Cheng, we can start. Niu and Yan Yan had been running for the whole morning and were a little thirsty. Niu ran to Jiang Cheng and took his hand. Dad, I want to drink some juice. Seeing Niu go, Yan Yan followed behind. Daddy, I want to drink juice too. The 2 babies hugged Jiang Cheng's legs, one on the left and one on the right, and looked at Jiang Cheng eagerly. It can be as cute as it can be. Seeing this, the young lady hurried over and said, Auntie, can I take you to get some juice? Okay, the 2 babies said in unison. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng helplessly. Jiang Cheng shrugged. What could he do? The photographer made an okay gesture to Jiang Cheng. Since the child was not there at the moment, it was a good opportunity to take a picture of the 2 of them. Jiang Cheng pulled Yi Qingjiu over and kissed her deeply on the lips. Yi Qingjiu has never been able to resist Jiang Cheng's kiss, and she just felt her lips soften. After all, he is a top photographer, and he finds a very good angle. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu is wearing a wedding dress, and her son Jiang Cheng is wearing a suit. Against the backdrop of lilies in the room, it is so beautiful. The photographer pressed the shutter button frantically. Kakakaka, I took 50 photos for just this one shot. The young men and women who were going to the rose room to take wedding photos couldn't help but stop when they saw this scene. It was so beautiful. The woman changed her mind immediately. She looked at the staff member and said, Hello, can we change our rose room to the lily room? The staff member looked embarrassed and said, I'm sorry, this lily room was planted by Mr. Ni specifically for his wife, so we don't have the right to agree to it. Hearing this, the young lady immediately felt envious and jealous. She glanced at her boyfriend and said, I want lilies too. Go plant them for me now or I won't get married. The boyfriend was helpless. We originally booked a rose room. Where can I find lilies for you now? I don't care. Others can grow it, so why can't you? You just don't love me. After the young lady finished speaking, she picked up the hem of her wedding dress and walked away angrily. Seeing that things were not going well, the boyfriend immediately went after her. At this moment, Niu and Yan Yan came back contentedly, each holding a glass of juice in their hands. They sat on the bench in the greenhouse, looking very cute. Yi Qingjiu and Jiang Cheng's lips had just parted, and now Jiang Cheng was hugging her slender waist. The two of them closed their eyes and their noses were touching. The photographer started taking pictures immediately. The foreground is the newlyweds. The background is the baby. The whole photo exudes a dreamy atmosphere and is breathtakingly beautiful. That's awesome. After drinking the juice, Niu picked a lily. Looking at such a beautiful flower, she couldn't help but run to Jiang Cheng. Dad, can you put this on your mom's head? Jiang Cheng took the flower with a smile and put it on Yi Qingjiu's head. The girl's shy look and the boy's eyes full of love were all recorded by the photographer. After this set of photos, the photographer looked at Jiang Cheng with a reluctant look. It was really smooth. This is the most perfect set of photos I have ever taken. Can you leave the negatives to me as a souvenir? This shoot is all free. In the past, Jiang Cheng might have minded, after all. It was a form of consumption for him and his family. But this time, Jiang Cheng didn't mind at all. He knew that the photographer wanted the film just to develop the photos and put them on the wall for exhibition, just like what Niu had just seen. But he doesn't mind his love being seen by the world. I can't make the decision. You have to ask my wife. Yi Qingjiu glared at him. If you're not afraid, then I'm not afraid either. She regretted it as soon as she said it. What kind of mouth was that? Why did he say it so quickly? But now that I have said it, it is not easy to regret it. She glared at Jiang Cheng angrily. The next set was Chinese style. The makeup artist still didn't do any makeup for Yi Qingjiu. She just picked out a set of wedding clothes that suited her and then did a bun for her hair. When other people get their hair done, they wear a phoenix coronet and a bridal robe in order to enhance their temperament. But when Yi Qingjiu was drunk, she actually looked like the mother of the country. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu and couldn't help but bowed. You are so beautiful, madam. I pay my respects to you. Yi Qingjiu blushed immediately. This guy never knew the situation when he made jokes. She walked over and twisted Jiang Cheng's ear. Can you be a little more serious? Jiang Cheng was in so much pain that he said, yes, yes, yes. The two babies also changed their clothes. Niu was dressed like a little princess, with a pair of big peach blossom eyes, which made her very lovable. Yanyan looked like a little prince, and the two babies came close to him, just like a pair of boys and girls in the New Year pictures. The shutter clicked one after another. The photographer was really excited, and this set of photos was even more impressive than the previous one. After taking the wedding photos, the four of them took a few family photos before stopping. Ding tilde. A familiar voice sounded in Jiang Cheng's mind. Congratulations to the host for completing the task of taking photos with the babies. The reward is the Silindijing Villa. The contract has been placed in the host's space and can be checked at any time. Jiang Cheng was stunned. The price of the Silindijing Villa was really sky high because there was only one unit. This villa was in the center of the lake, and one villa had been auctioned for more than 200 million yuan. He had originally taken a fancy to this villa and wanted to buy it as a wedding house, but the developer refused to sell it to him. The real estate owner planned to live in it himself, so he wouldn't sell it to him even if he paid 300 million, let alone 200 million yuan. After all, he was not short of money. Thinking of this, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but be curious. Is it the villa in the center of Nitao Lake? System, yes, host. Jiang Cheng was delighted. Now the wedding house was finalized. It's worthy of being a system. After taking the wedding photos, the family of four got in the car. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu, who was drowsy beside him, and said, Wife, I'll take you somewhere. Yi Qingjiu was sleepy and asked, Where are we going? Our wedding room. In one sentence, Yi Qingjiu was completely sober. Wedding room. Has Jiang Cheng even prepared the wedding room? At first, he smiled and told his grandparents that Qingjiu was busy and that he would take care of these things. She thought it was just a promise made to his parents. Unexpectedly, he really did all of them one by one. Thinking of this, Yi Qingjiu couldn't help but feel moved. Good. For some reason, the two babies always liked to sleep in the car. Now they have fallen asleep in the safety seats with their little heads tilted. Half an hour later, Jiang Cheng's car stopped at the Silindijing Villa district. Yi Qingjiu thought it was an ordinary villa, so he was not surprised. After all, this community is considered top-notch among villa areas. Besides, her villa was not bad and she already had a place to live, so she was not very excited. Jiang Cheng drove the car back into the villa area and stopped. Wife, why don't we let them sleep in the car for a while? We still have to go down and walk for a while. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu was a little confused. You didn't buy a house but a garage, did you? Why do you have to walk? Jiang Cheng touched her head and said, "Because it's a suite in the center of the lake, you need to take a yacht to get there." Yi Qingjiu's eyes widened at this moment, and he couldn't hide the surprise on his face. Isn't this villa for sale? Although she was not planning to buy a house, she was a business person after all, so she had heard a little about these things. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile, but he has sold it now. Let's go in and take a look. The two of them woke up the two babies with a chattering. The babies rubbed their eyes and looked at the unfamiliar environment with surprise. "Dad, where is this? Aren't we home yet?" Jiang Cheng looked at the two little babies with a smile. "This is our new home. Do you want to go and see it?" "New home?" The two babies were very curious. "Is our home not good? Why do we have to move?" Yi Qingjiu looked at them with a smile. "Our home is also very good, but we can go boating in our new home, Tilda." When they heard that they could go boating, the two kids were so excited. They wanted to go boating. They loved boating the most. The family of four got out of the car and walked towards the lake. The environment was really good. The lake was clear, and the weeping willows on both sides were reflected in the water. It looked sparkling. Four people got on the yacht and drove all the way to the door of the villa. Jiang Cheng took out the key from his pocket and opened the door of the villa. It's very big inside, and the decoration is luxurious. The only drawback is that there is not a single photo here, so it looks a bit cold. Yi Qingjiu pointed to the dining table and said, "We can hang our family portrait here." Jiang Cheng nodded. She was the mistress of the family and had absolute say. As long as she was happy, anything was fine. "Okay." Seeing that Jiang Cheng agreed, Yi Qingjiu walked to the side of the TV again. There had to be photos here too. She thought for a moment and said, "Let's just put photos of Niu and Yan Yan." "Yes, okay." Jiang Cheng still nodded. The two of them walked into the bedroom. The bed in the bedroom was very big and soft. Yi Qingjiu looked at the empty wall and remembered the one in the lily garden where the two darlings were not there. "Let's hang our wedding photos here. This is their bedroom, so naturally there must be a photo that belongs only to them." Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng seriously. In fact, he had already thought about what to put here, and it was definitely better looking than the photos inside. He wanted to draw Yi Qingjiu in the most perfect appearance, and then hang it here. "I think it's better to hang the wedding photo right at the entrance." Hearing him say this, Yi Qingjiu felt a little aggrieved. The photos inside are also very important. "No, I don't think it will look good anywhere. How about putting it on the TV wall?" Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "But didn't you say that you wanted to put photos of Niu and Yan Yan there?" Yi Qingjiu was left speechless by Jiang Cheng. Does this guy understand? Shouldn't wedding photos be placed on the bedside? The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. She sulked. "I have something else to do. I'll go back to the company first." "But today is Saturday. What could happen at this time?" Jiang Cheng asked curiously. Tangsing is like his second home. How could he not know what is going on? Yi Qingjiu stared at her with a pair of bright eyes. "If I say there is something wrong, then there is something wrong. Just take care of the child. Why are you asking so many questions?" After saying that, he turned around and left. Jiang Cheng looked at her back with a helpless look on his face. This girl is always so impatient. After going out, Yi Qingjiu got on the yacht and drove directly across the lake. She didn't drive today. She stood on the road alone and became angrier the more she thought about it. I picked up the phone and called Si Qingqing. "I'm at Silan Daijing. Come and pick me up right away." Si Qingqing was so engrossed in watching a TV series at the moment that she was eating snacks while looking at Rui, who was so beautiful. "Okay, Mr. Yi." Seeing that Yi Qingjiu's tone was not good, she quickly agreed. Then he threw away the snacks in his hand and drove the car back to Transview. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu's face couldn't be any darker. When he saw Si Qingqing, his first reaction was to ask her how many people were at work in the company today. How many people were working? This is terrible. When it comes to going to work, no one dares to delay. Basically, everyone goes. But when it comes to doing things, it's really true. Basically, everyone is watching TV series. The weekend is a day of slacking off, especially when the leader is not around, who would have the heart to go to work. "Well, I was busy organizing documents all day and didn't pay attention." "Very good." Yi Qingjiu understood from Si Qingqing's panicked look. She opened the car door and got in. "Notify everyone to hold a meeting immediately. This is really terrible." Si Qingqing opened the car door and sat in, feeling miserable. But she didn't dare to say anything. She picked up her phone and tagged everyone in the company group. "Notice, there will be a company-wide meeting in half an hour." After receiving Si Qingqing's WeChat message, the entire Tangsing was in a state of panic. What does it mean to hold a meeting for all employees? Thousands of people have to attend the meeting. Unless there is some serious situation, how could everyone hold a meeting? Manager Luo was the first to ask, Kinking, is there any emergency? Chapter 189, I'm in your eyes. See Kinking quickly replied, Mr. Yi is in a very bad mood, so everyone should wish you all the best. After sending the message, he put away his phone and drove to Tengsing. Along the way, I didn't dare to say a word. As soon as C. Kinking's message was received, the entire Tengsing was in an uproar. What's going on? What happened to Mr. Yi today? Wu Nan from the marketing department grabbed Lao Luo's arm, extremely nervous. Oh, how would I know? Manager Luo looked at her helplessly. It's over. It looks like Mr. Yi is going to issue another bid today. Lao Luo, don't you have Jiang Cheng's WeChat? Hurry up and don't waste time. Xiao Zhao from the finance department came over and held his eyes. All the plans reported this week have exceeded the targets. If I get scolded, I will definitely be the first one. There is no way to escape. Lao Luo thought about it and felt that at the moment, only Jiang Cheng could stop Mr. Yi's anger. After all, this was all well documented. Jiang Cheng successfully stopped Mr. Yi's anger more than once. He took out his cell phone and decisively sent a message to Jiang Cheng. Savior, Tengsing is on fire, come and save us. Jiang Chengkai just left the villa with 2 meatballs when he received a message from Lao Luo. He smiled helplessly, okay. After receiving Jiang Cheng's reply, Manager Luo finally felt at ease. He hurriedly replied, Thank you, Savior, you must remember to come. Jiang Cheng didn't expect Yi Qingjiu to get so angry that it even affected Tang Exing. He was really worried. I took the 2 babies and got in the car. Here, Yi Qingjiu arrived at the company. Ding dong. The elevator stopped on the 14th floor. She walked out of the elevator and took a few steps. When everyone saw Mr. Yi coming, they became extremely nervous. Yi Qingjiu raised his eyelids. What are you all doing here? Don't you have anything to do? Wait, wasn't she the one who asked everyone to hold the meeting? They want to leave, but who dares? At this moment, everyone looked at C. Kinking eagerly, but they were helpless and dared not say anything. C. Kinking felt that if she didn't say something, this might be her fate in Tengsing in the future, being isolated. She said softly, Mr. Yi, it was you who called everyone to the meeting. Doesn't Tengsing have a conference room? Yi Qingjiu said in a faint voice. Yes, there are, but our conference room can't accommodate so many people. In the past, we always booked the banquet hall for multi-person meetings, C. Kinking said stiffly. Hearing this, everyone present fell silent. Yi Qingjiu didn't say anything else. She looked at everyone and said, Okay, let's start the meeting now. All departments should prepare to report their work. Manager Luo tightly grasped the phone in his hand. Why hasn't Jiang Cheng come yet? If you don't come soon, you're really doomed. Ding dong, the elevator door rang, and 2 little kids ran out, hugging Yi Qingjiu's legs, one on the left and one on the right. Mom, we missed you. Yi Qingjiu glanced at Jiang Cheng. What are you doing here? Although she looked like she didn't want him to come, her heart suddenly felt at ease at this moment. After all, he came to comfort her. He always loves himself. Jiang Cheng came over and touched her hair. Okay, don't be angry. Yi Qingjiu turned his face away. Who is angry? Sky. Manager Luo had a strong intuition that it was absolutely right to look for Jiang Cheng. This time, Yi Qingjiu's face was flushed, showing the shy state of a little girl vividly. He was no longer the CEO Yi who had just been so arrogant and wanted to hold a meeting. Jiang Cheng held her in his arms, really. His hands were rough and strong, and Yi Qingjiu felt a warmth through her skirt. Her face was getting redder and redder. This is the company. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, What company? We haven't eaten yet. Let's go eat first. After saying that, he took Yi Qingjiu and left. She was stunned. Jiang Cheng rarely treated her like this. This was a kind of overbearing and unreasonable love. She let Jiang Cheng pull her all the way to the elevator. The 2 little kids saw their daddy pulling their mommy away and hurriedly followed behind. After she left, it took a long time for everyone to recover. Oh my God, what just happened? Mr. Yu was just taken away like that. Manager Luo gave Xiao Zhao a thumbs up and said, You are awesome. Why didn't I think of asking Jiang Cheng? Xiao Zhao looked at him helplessly and said, I was forced to do this. Yi Qingjiu was pulled into the car. Jiang Cheng started the car and looked at her with concern. What do you want to eat? Yi Qingjiu was so overbearingly pulled by Suya just now that she wasn't angry at all. She turned her head away. Whatever. Casual. Jiang Cheng randomly found a bun shop. Buns are the fastest thing to eat. He didn't eat lunch and it was already past 3 in the afternoon. He was afraid that the girl must be starving. Boss, 2 baskets of steamed buns and 3 bowls of wonton. Yi Qingjiu had no appetite at the moment. He was so angry just now that he didn't notice that his stomach was aching. Now that he came to his senses, he immediately felt sour and painful in his stomach. I don't want to eat, don't take mine. Jiang Cheng looked at her affectionately. Are you still angry? No, I'm really not hungry and can't eat. I haven't eaten for a long time. How come I'm not hungry? Jiang Cheng looked at her concernedly and saw that her forehead was shiny and her face was haggard. He reached out his hand to touch her and found that her hands were covered with sweat. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but become nervous. It seemed that this girl was most likely sick. He grabbed her hand. What? Yi Qingjiu was surprised. Don't move, take your pulse. He is a Chinese medicine doctor. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu stopped struggling and let him grab her slender wrist. Her stomach was not in good condition to begin with, so eating one meal and skipping another might not be a big deal for a normal person. But for Yi Qingjiu, it was a problem. Jiang Cheng let go of his hand and went into the kitchen. He took out a few $100 bills from his pocket and stuffed them into the boss's hand. Lend it to me in the kitchen. The boss looked at the bills in his hand and nodded. Okay. He immediately retreated with his wife and 2 waiters. It was afternoon now, buns were for breakfast, and the business in the store was already slow. Jiang Cheng gave him another 400 yuan, and he had no reason not to return it. Seeing that everyone had left, Jiang Cheng immediately entered the space, scooped out some spring water to cook porridge, and put some red dates, wolfberries, and peanuts in the porridge. Soon a bowl of hot 8-treasure red date porridge was brought out. Because of the use of spiritual spring water, this bowl of porridge exudes a sweet and sticky aroma. The few sparse customers in the store couldn't help swallowing their saliva. It smelled so good. The boss and his employees were even more shocked. How could this be made in their store? How could it smell so good? Jiang Cheng put the porridge in front of Yi Qingjiu and said, Eat some. It's good for your stomach. Yi Qingjiu's stomach still ached slightly and she had no appetite at all. She shook her head and said, I really can't eat. How can I not eat? Seeing her refusal, Jiang Cheng picked up the spoon and fed it to her mouth. Be good and listen. After seeing this scene, the single guys around couldn't help themselves anymore. What kind of operation was this? This couple is so affectionate. Can they show their affection even by eating a bun? Yi Qingjiu's face turned red, and she opened her mouth immediately. The hot and sweet porridge melts in your mouth immediately. It is really delicious. She looked at Jiang Cheng in surprise and said, I want another bite. Jiang Cheng fed another spoonful into her mouth. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu felt not only the sweetness and deliciousness of the red date porridge, but also Jiang Cheng's deep love. She took the spoon from Jiang Cheng's hand and started eating bite by bite. The 2 babies finished their buns and ate some wontons. They looked at Jiang Cheng contentedly. Dad, Nunu is full. Daddy Yanyan is full too. Yi Qingjiu finished the last mouthful of porridge. His stomach, which had been aching slightly just now, no longer hurt at all, and his whole body felt warm. I'm full too. Looking at the mother and her 2 children who were full, Jiang Cheng nodded with a smile. Now that we are full, let's go. Set off. Yi Qingjiu was startled. Shouldn't I go home? Jiang Cheng smiled and said, You'll know in a moment. He was going to take her and her son all the way to Yaochen, where he had a surprise for her. Seeing that he was keeping her in suspense, Yi Qingjiu stopped asking. She was not a naive person, so she just kept asking if others didn't say anything. Today is the weekend, and only a few people in Yaochen are still working overtime. After all, Yaochen doesn't have so much to do right now. The family of 4 got on the elevator and went all the way to Jiang Cheng's office. Nunu couldn't help but be curious. Dad, why did you bring us to the office? Is there anything fun here? Hearing this, Yanyan also became curious. Did Daddy also prepare a toy room for us, like the one in Mom's company? Hearing this, Jiang Cheng felt a little embarrassed. Although he prepared a surprise, this surprise was not for his 2 children, but for his wife. Today's gift is for Mommy. Honey, Daddy will take you out to play tomorrow, okay? The 2 babies were originally very unhappy, but when they heard that they could go out and play tomorrow, their cute little faces brightened up a little. Yi Qingjiu was a little curious. If it was a gift for her, then there would be nothing to be curious about. However, the gift was in the office, which was very strange. Could it be Yaochen's contract? If it was a contract, there would be nothing strange about it. However, what Jiang Cheng didn't know was that since his appearance, her career ambition that she was proud of had become often absent since she didn't know when. Now she always wants to go home early every day. On weekends, I will do the same as the kids, looking forward to Jiang Cheng taking them out to play. She even thought about whether she should sell her shares in Tengsing and just be a shareholder. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu's thoughtful expression and couldn't help but ask curiously, "Wife, what's wrong?" Yi Qingjiu looked at him seriously. "I refuse." Huh? Hearing this, Jiang Cheng was confused. "What are you refusing?" Yi Qingjiu looked at him seriously. His pair of black and white eyes were covered with a layer of mist. "I refuse Yaochen's shares." Hearing this, Jiang Cheng smiled. "Who told you that it was Yaochen's shares?" Yi Qingjiu was completely stunned when he got Jiang Cheng's negative answer. "Not shares. What is that?" Jiang Cheng gently scratched his nose and said, "Silly boy, you will know after you take a look." After saying that, he took Yi Qingjiu's hand and walked into his office. There was a huge picture frame in the office, covered with a white cloth. Yi Qingjiu's eyelashes trembled. Can I see it?" She had a feeling that this was what Jiang Cheng meant by gift. "Of course," Jiang Cheng nodded. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu walked over and lifted the canvas in front of her. A beautiful mermaid is swimming in the blue sea. The sunlight shines into the seabed, and colorful lights are scattered near the sea surface. This mermaid is Yi Qingjiu. He often thought of that scene in the aquarium and the deep blue, jewel-like mermaid. After a long time, he couldn't help but want to draw it, which is why he didn't want to hang the wedding photo on the head of his bed. He felt that what he should hang up was not his wedding photo, but his mermaid. Yi Qingjiu spoke cautiously. Can I touch it?" His painting was so lifelike. Yi Qingjiu in the painting had deep love in her eyes. She had never seen herself so beautiful before. She couldn't help but want to touch it, but was worried about damaging it. Jiang Cheng came over and said, "Of course." Niu looked at Yi Qingjiu in the painting and couldn't help but sigh. "Dad, this is Mom, right?" "It's the mermaid Mom." Yanyan stared with his eyes wide open, unable to utter a word for a long time. He had never seen such a beautiful mother. The mother in the painting was much more beautiful than the one in the aquarium. Yi Qingjiu touched the portrait carefully and said, "It's really beautiful." Jiang Cheng looked at her affectionately. Actually, the penetration position was originally intended to be reserved for it. Leave it to his mermaid, and to his silly wife who only has eyes for him. Yi Qingjiu looked at him and said, "This painting is really beautiful. I like it too, but it is our wedding bed. Of course, it must be for the two of us." Yi Qingjiu spoke the truth. She just wanted a photo of the two of them. Jiang Cheng looked at the mermaid in the painting, then turned to look at Yi Qingjiu beside him. "I am in this painting." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu was completely dumbfounded. "Is there something wrong with my eyes? I am clearly the only one, not a fish. Where is Jiang Cheng?" But Jiang Cheng looked serious and didn't seem to be lying. She looked at the photo carefully, but still didn't see Jiang Cheng. Then he couldn't help but ask curiously, "You, where are you?" Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. "I'm in your eyes." "Isn't he looking at him right now?" Yi Qingjiu said helplessly. "I mean in the painting. Why is his little girl so cute?" "I mean in the painting." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu looked at himself in the painting in disbelief. Sure enough, the brightest spot in his eyes was where Jiang Cheng's shadow lay. "He is really in the painting." Yi Qingjiu was extremely surprised. "You are really in my eyes." Jiang Cheng held her waist affectionately from behind. "Wife, I am not only in your eyes, I am also in your heart." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu's pretty face turned red. How could this person be so dishonest? Chapter 190, You Are the Boss. But what he said was not wrong. He was not only in his own eyes, but even more so in his own heart. She loves him. The past scenes reappeared in front of Yi Qingjiu like a kaleidoscope. His mind and heart were filled with Jiang Cheng's goodness. Yi Qingjiu sniffed helplessly. The next second, a pair of white arms tightly hugged Jiang Cheng's neck. A few minutes later, Jiang Cheng coughed twice and said, "Wife, if you don't let go, I'm going to be strangled to death." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu rubbed her little head against his neck, refusing to let go. She leaned over to his ear and whispered softly. They didn't know how long they whispered until the photographer called and told Jiang Cheng that the photos were ready. Only then did Yi Qingjiu reluctantly let go of his neck. Jiang Cheng took out his cell phone and said, "Hello. Mr. Jiang, your photos have been developed and framed. When do you think you can be available?" "So fast?" Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows. "This photographer is great. He finished it in just one afternoon. It's so fast." The photographer smiled and said, "Since you two have agreed to keep the negatives for me, I must show my sincerity. Besides, you also gave us a lily garden." Ever since they were seen taking photos inside, people have been changing their reservations from the rose garden to the lily garden, and many people have already waited until a week later. Jiang Cheng smiled slightly and said to the person on the phone, "Okay, I'll go get the photos now." After saying that, he looked at Yi Qingjiu innocently. "Wife." "Set off." Yi Qingjiu was also full of longing for these photos and couldn't wait to see them. She picked up the two babies and said, "Our photos are out. Do you want to go see them together?" "I do," Niu nodded. Yanyan looked at Yi Qingjiu seriously. Yanyan wants to too, but Yanyan also wants to drink juice. By the way, the juice my aunt gave me was really delicious and sweet. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu nodded lovingly. "What a greedy little cat, let's go." Jiang Cheng carefully put away the mermaid portrait. He was about to go get the photo, so he might as well frame it somewhere so that he could take it directly to his new home later. After putting away the portrait, the family from the 4th floor went downstairs, got into the car, and headed in the direction of the ancient photography. After turning over the ancient photography and going up to the 2nd floor, the photographer saw Jiang Cheng and greeted him with a smile. "Mr. Jiang, you are here." Jiang Cheng nodded and handed the portrait in his hand to the photographer. "Can you help me frame this painting?" "Why not?" the photographer said, looking at the assistant behind him. "Let's frame this painting together." "Okay." The assistant carefully finished the portrait and walked towards the studio. In the studio, several people were framing other wedding photos, and the assistant called out, "Someone come and help. Thank the photographer for letting me frame this picture." When they heard it was a painting, no one was willing to do it. Isn't this just adding to the work? There is already enough work to do. Today we have already rushed out a set of wedding photos, and now we have to rush out another painting. I think they are not busy enough. Seeing that several people did not move, the assistant was a little unhappy. "Don't forget, you family members, relatives, and friends who came to take pictures, it was photographer Zai who took the pictures himself. Did you pay extra?" After hearing this, several people stopped talking. At this moment, a girl wearing glasses put down her work and walked over. The girl was thin-skinned and felt guilty after hearing what the assistant said. The assistant didn't say much at this point, and the two of them carefully opened the scroll. A complete picture scroll was unfolded, and a gorgeous mermaid appeared in front of the girl. She opened her eyes wide and was so amazed that she couldn't utter a word. "It's really beautiful." The assistant was so surprised that he was speechless. This painting perfectly made up for the shortcomings of the wedding photos. Sometimes both men and women would feel a little unnatural when taking wedding photos. But I can't do that with painting. This painting is just too beautiful. The assistant couldn't help but praise this. Hearing him speak, several people looked at the two people's hands. "I'll go. This is a painting by that painter. I didn't expect that photographer Zai actually knows the painter. No wonder it needs to be framed. This painting must have cost several million, right? Although a few people don't understand painting, they know that the painting is beautiful." The assistant glared at them and said, "Hurry up and frame it." After a while, the painting was framed and was taken out together with all the photos for Jiang Cheng to see if he was satisfied. Yanyan was now sitting on the sofa drinking her favorite juice. Niu's little head swayed as he looked at the photos on the wall. The photographer was chatting with Jiang Cheng about their photo when he saw his assistant coming over with a large cardboard box. The assistant took out the framed photos one by one. The box was not very big, but because Jiang Cheng's mermaid picture was a little big, a blue corner was exposed. The photographer thought it was installed incorrectly and quickly took it out. When he saw the painting, he was stunned. He looked at Jiang Cheng in disbelief. "Did you draw this?" Jiang Cheng nodded, "Yes. It's such a beautiful painting." Now that it was framed, the photographer didn't have to worry about dirtying the painting, so he started touching the glass. "I didn't expect that you not only have a unique aesthetic sense, but also have such great painting skills." Niu was bored, and when he heard his uncle praising his father, he immediately replied, "Of course not, my father is the best. He knows everything." "Yes, my dad can even make robots." Yanyan let go of the straw in his mouth and said seriously, "Looking at this cute little baby who adores his dad so much, I think of my own son who chases me around the house with a gun every day. I can't tell you how envious I am at this moment. This family of 4 is really amazing. Mr. Jiang, let me take you there." The photographer was afraid that it would be difficult for Jiang Cheng to hold the photos, so he helped him get them to the car. But when he saw his Rolls-Royce Phantom, he couldn't help but feel jealous. They deserve to be happy. It's really such divine luck that all good things happen to him alone. After saying goodbye to the photographer, Jiang Cheng drove to the Silindijing Villa district with his family of 3. Jiang Cheng carried the box onto the yacht, and the family moved into their new home. The two of them hurriedly hung up all the photos before returning to the lakeside villa. As soon as I got home, Aunt Zhang came up to me with a smile. "How was it? Did your wedding photo shoot go smoothly today?" Yi Qingjiu collapsed on the sofa. It went smoothly, but I'm so tired. She was really tired. After a busy day, she felt her bones were weak. Seeing this, Jiang Cheng picked her up and said, Auntie Zhang, I'll leave the children to you. I'll take Qingjiu to have some rest. Hey, what are you doing? Yi Qingjiu looked at him shyly. This is Aunt Zhang. She was raised by Aunt Zhang. She is just like her own mother. It is too shameful for her to behave like this in front of her elders. Aunt Zhang raised her hand with a smile. It's okay, go and rest if you're tired. I'll take them out to play for a while. She is already old, doesn't she understand this? You really underestimate her. Hey babies, how about we go dig some sand in the garden? The two babies cheered when they heard about digging sand. This is their favorite game. Jiang Cheng carried Yi Qingjiu into the room, and the two of them lay down on the bed together. He was tired as he had been busy all day. Yi Qingjiu originally thought that he was going to do something again, but he didn't expect that this man fell asleep faster than him. It's both infuriating and funny. The next morning, Jiang Cheng was still asleep when he heard his cell phone ringing. When he opened his eyes, Yi Qingjiu was gone. He picked up the phone, and it was Sun Ming calling. Hey, what's up? Hearing this, he paused for a moment, then laughed. I thought it was Mr. Yi who answered the phone. You two are becoming more and more alike now. Jiang Cheng was stunned for 3 seconds before he reacted. He didn't know when it started, but his tone of voice became more and more like Yi Qingjiu's. This might be the old saying that when two people are together for a long time, they really will become more and more alike. Let's talk business. The serious thing is, I have received the robot, but I think that this kind of robot can be installed with some special programs, and it can completely replace the caregiver. Sun Ming is a typical case of a man who has elderly parents and young children to take care of. After all, this kind of robot is not cheap, and if it is just for children to play with, there is absolutely no hope of it being put on the market. Children nowadays start attending early childhood classes at the age of 2 and do not spend much time at home. Even if you buy a robot to play with them, it would cost hundreds of thousands of yuan for just a few hours, which is really not cost-effective. But if there are elderly people at home, it's a completely different story, especially if they are in poor health. Not only can you take care of their daily life, but you can also play chess with them to relieve their boredom. This is especially true for elderly people living alone whose children are busy with work and cannot be around to take care of them. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you can use it for a few years with peace of mind. The price and the caregiver are not much different, and there will be no abuse of the elderly. It is definitely the product of choice. Nurse. Jiang Cheng's eyes lit up. Great, I didn't realize you have such a talent. Of course not. Sun Ming's tone was full of pride. Okay, see you at the kindergarten gate later. No, let's meet in the office. I won't send you candy today. See you in the office then. Jiang Cheng hung up the phone and went to the living room. He actually got up late today and didn't know whether his wife had left or how the children were doing. In the restaurant, Yi Qingjiu was taking care of the two babies while they were having breakfast. Seeing Jiang Cheng coming over, he raised his chin towards the table and said, Let's eat. Seeing the table full of breakfast, Jiang Cheng felt a little guilty. He sat down. Why didn't you wake me up? Yi Qingjiu fed Niu a mouthful of porridge and said, Since you haven't woken up yet, I'll let you sleep a little longer. When Jiang Cheng was around, he always thought of me in everything. Now that he was having a rare nap, I couldn't bear to wake him up. Let me feed you, you eat first. Jiang Cheng said as he was about to take the bowl and spoon from Yi Qingjiu's hand. Yi Qingjiu waved his hand and avoided Jiang Cheng's hand. It's okay. Niu has almost finished eating. You should eat quickly. Jiang Cheng knew that his wife was worried about him. My heart feels warm. Then I'll wait for you to eat together. Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, Really? There's nothing you can do about it. After feeding Niu, the two started to eat breakfast. After finishing the meal, Yi Qingjiu packed up and prepared to go out. Jiang Cheng was preparing to send his two babies to school as usual. He sent his baby to school and then went to Yaochen. Sun Ming was waiting for him at this moment. When he saw him coming, he hurriedly followed him. Hey, have you thought about my proposal this morning? Of course. The two of them talked about this matter for the entire morning, and around 11 o'clock, Jiang Cheng left the house. His wife has a bad stomach. He has been busy for such a long time, and he really has no idea what she eats every day. The thought of it makes him feel uneasy. After returning home, Jiang Cheng cooked dongpo pork and stir-fried some vegetables, and hurriedly sent them to Yi Qingjiu. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu was sitting in the office worrying when his cell phone rang. He picked it up and saw that it was Sheng Xinyan. Is there anything wrong? Yi Qingjiu asked. Of course, the crew wrapped up filming today. Don't you even offer me some condolences for such a big thing? Sheng Xinyan's tone was full of grievance. My dear lady, shouldn't you report to me first when the crew finishes filming? I am your boss, okay? Okay then, I'll report to my boss now. The crew has officially wrapped up filming today, and we're all going to have a dinner together tonight. Bai Meng and I both think that you should attend, since you're the boss after all. Yi Qingjiu smiled and asked why her best friend didn't resist her. It turned out that she was waiting for her here. Just make your own decisions about the crew's affairs, and ask Bai Meng to report the funds to the finance department later. After all, there will be a lot of people at the dinner after the wrap-up. Even if it's just a simple meal, it will cost tens of thousands of yuan. Sheng Xinyan became very angry when she heard what Yi Qingjiu said. Can you be a little more humane? Am I looking for you to settle accounts? I'm looking for you to increase the friendship between you and your employees. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu leaned back in the chair and said, it's better for employees and bosses to stay away from each other. Bai Jin and I are the ones who feel uncomfortable around them. Do you understand? I don't care, Yi Qingjiu. If you don't come, I won't go either, and Bai Meng won't go either. That won't do, don't be so petty. Then will you come? Sheng Xinyan started to act coquettishly again. Yi Qingjiu really had no idea what to do with him, so he could only nod and agree. I'll go, okay. Okay then, I'll wait for you. I love. Before the call was hung up, Jiang Cheng walked in carrying a familiar lunch box. Wife, it's time to eat. Yi Qingjiu hung up the phone and took a look at the lunch box. Why did you think of coming here? Aren't you busy today? Jiang Cheng put the food on the coffee table, opened the lid of the lunch box, and then looked at her. I'm busy, but even if I'm busy, I have to come and see my wife. You're a patient now. I have to watch you eat well. Yi Qingjiu walked over and sat on the sofa naturally. By the way, the crew will wrap up the filming tonight. Xinyan just called me. Do you want to go with us? Chapter 191, The Babies Are Actually Sick. Jiang Cheng handed her the chopsticks, of course. It's not that he really wants to go, but this girl has been ill these past few days, so she has to pay special attention to her diet. Yi Qingjiu picked up the chopsticks, picked up a piece of dongpo pork and put it into his mouth. It's really delicious. Seeing her greedy appearance, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but gently scratch her nose. Be careful not to choke. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu's bright and compelling gaze fell on him. Okay, you are making fun of me. I have always been very quiet when eating, okay? She is the dignified Ms. Yi. Doesn't she have any dignity? Besides, it was because his cooking was so delicious. Now he blames me. What kind of person is he? In the afternoon, Jiang Cheng called Zhang's mother and asked her to pick up the two babies. He then took Yi Qingjiu to the restaurant sent by Sheng Xin. The two of them walked into the private room hand in hand. There were a lot of people there, but they were all actors with more roles, including Bai Meng and Sheng Xinyan. As for the others, they were naturally arranged to stay in other private rooms. Of course, Zia Shishin was there too. She didn't expect to see Jiang Cheng here. To be honest, she was quite surprised. She used to worry that if she did something out of line, Bai Meng would just replace the actor. But now that the filming has been completed, she is really not afraid at all. So what if Bai Meng doesn't like her? Can we change the heroine again? If we want to change the heroine now, there are only two options. The first is to cut out the picture, which will definitely receive bad reviews, no doubt about it. The second thing is to reshoot, which is incredibly expensive. So now she is no longer a threat to me. It's nothing more than a job change. With Duluo's popularity, her treatment will not be bad no matter where she jumps to. So Zia Shishin is not worried at all now. And in just a moment, she had already figured out how to confess to Jiang Cheng later. Wang Guan found Jiang Cheng very friendly. Now he has completely squeezed into the ranks of the first line. Mr. Jiang, I toast to you. After Wang Guan finished speaking, he picked up the cup and drank it all. Then she remembered that Jiang Cheng might be driving, so she said hurriedly, You don't have to drink, I'm just expressing my feelings. Without you, I wouldn't be where I am today. After saying that, Wang Guan sat down. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, There's nothing to thank you for. Helping you is helping myself. Remember next time if you have any problems, look for Bai Meng. Don't do anything stupid. Hearing this, Wang Guan nodded heavily. Yi Qingjiu sat next to Shen Xinyan and looked at the dishes on the table. They looked good, but he had no appetite at all. Today is the wrap-up party and also a celebration banquet, so the dishes ordered are actually quite rich. Sheng Xinyan had been hungry for the whole afternoon, so she picked up the chopsticks and started eating. Yi Qingjiu looked at her taking big sips of food with a helpless look on her face. How come her best friend didn't look like a lady from a wealthy family at all? Seeing that she didn't eat, Jiang Cheng put some food on her plate and said, "Eat well." Wasn't the purpose of his coming here just to watch her eat? Seeing how much Jiang Cheng doted on Yi Qingjiu, everyone started to cheer. Wow, Mr. Jiang is definitely a good man who dotes on his wife. That's right, I heard that in the Tengsing office, there is no fire that cannot be put out by President Jiang. As soon as President Yi scolds someone, he immediately stops getting angry when he sees President Jiang arrive. An actor sitting nearby said. His sister is an employee of Tengsing, so he is quite familiar with these things. Upon hearing this, Yi Qingjiu's expression changed. What does he mean? Who told it? Is this what I am like? Bai Meng coughed twice and winked at the actor. Eat, eat. This is a film crew. What company are you talking about? Do you want to go to work? The actors just watched what everyone else was saying and didn't think too much about it. They just blurted out everything. Looking at Bai Meng's crazy hints, he immediately realized that he had said the wrong thing. He quickly shut his mouth and stopped talking. Sheng Xinyan burst out laughing. It turned out that this was Yi Qingjiu like this. You really wouldn't have known it if she hadn't told you. Yi Qingjiu, the iron-blooded strong woman, lost her temper as soon as she saw her husband. She really couldn't imagine it. What a weird situation. Yi Qingjiu was feeling shy at the moment, and her face flushed when Sheng Xinyan smiled at her. What kind of dog bestie is this? Why let her join the crew? Jiang Cheng held her hand and said, It's not because I am angry that she calmed down, but because she loves me, so naturally she is not that angry. You may understand it when you have a wife. Hearing this, there was a lot of envy. While everyone was still having fun, Jiang Cheng's cell phone rang. He took it out and saw that it was a call from Sun Ming. He looked at Yi Qingjiu and said, Wife, I have to go and answer a phone call. After saying that, he stood up and walked out. Zia Shishin seized the opportunity and followed him out. After waiting for so long, she finally got a chance to talk to Jiang Cheng. How could she let it go? But her wishful thinking was still very good. As soon as she went out, Sheng Xinyan poked Yi Qingjiu. It's that actress just now, the heroine of Duluo. She wants Jiang Cheng's phone number. And if I'm not mistaken, she should have followed Jiang Cheng out just now. Yi Qingjiu picked up the water on the table and took a sip. It's okay. I believe Jiang Cheng can handle it. Nothing could make her doubt their love now. Sheng Xinyan looked at the calm face of the sky. She was speechless. Sister, are you crazy? Yi Qingjiu smiled and looked at Bai Meng. By the way, Bai Meng, are there any projects that you are optimistic about recently? Instead of spending time doubting Jiang Cheng, it would be better to talk about work. Seeing Yi Qingjiu looking relieved, Sheng Xinyan shook her head helplessly. It was over. She had been completely brainwashed. Jiang Cheng answered the phone as soon as he left the private room. Hello, what's going on? I told Mr. Zhang about the robot this morning. He also thought it was feasible and said he hoped you could come up with a design and programming plan as soon as possible so they can come up with a new product as soon as possible. Okay, I understand. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng was about to enter the private room. He turned around and saw Zia Shishin looking at him eagerly. Seeing that he was also looking at him, he hurried over and said, Mr. Jiang, I am Zia Shishin, the heroine of Duluo Dalu. You should have seen me on the set last time. Jiang Cheng thought about it and seemed to have seen her before. She and Wang Guan came here together at that time. What can I do for you? Jiang Cheng asked. Zia Shishin looked at him and mustered up her courage. I like you. Forehead. Jiang Cheng smiled apologetically, but I'm married. You saw it too, Yi Qingjiu is my wife. He thought Zia Shishin would understand what he meant after hearing what he said, but he didn't expect that she didn't care at all. But I really like you. Are all girls so crazy these days? Jiang Cheng was a little depressed. But I don't like you, I already have a wife. Zia Shishin looked a little unhappy after being rejected again. After all, she was the leading female character, and her appearance was definitely not bad. Moreover, she had just graduated and was younger than Yi Qingjiu in terms of age. How come Mr. Jiang is not moved at all? How about we leave a phone number? She insisted. Jiang Cheng shook his head helplessly. Little girl, do you think it's necessary for me to leave my phone number now that I've said this? After saying that, Jiang Cheng entered the private room. Wouldn't it be nice for everyone to save some face for each other? What's the point of having to do this? Jiang Cheng sat next to Yi Qingjiu and straightened his sleeves. Seeing him coming back, Yi Qingjiu put down the cup in his hand and moved closer to him. I heard that Zia Shishin went to see you just now. Good job. Do you know this? Jiang Cheng looked at her incredulously. How did you know? Of course I heard about it. Yi Qingjiu said in a teasing tone, not showing any anger at all. She did come to see me just now. There is nothing to hide about this kind of thing. After all, I didn't do anything wrong. Seeing his frank face, Yi Qingjiu naturally understood that Jiang Cheng would not do anything out of line. But she still wanted to tease him. Did you leave your phone number? Oui. Yi Qingjiu just activated the system, mind reading. How come she knows everything? Seeing Jiang Cheng's surprised expression, Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, "Don't be nervous, I'm just asking." Sure enough, a woman's sixth sense is very scary. Yi Qingjiu had already imagined the conversation between the two people in his mind. It's nothing more than a confession of love and leaving contact information. She is not stupid, so how could she not understand these adult routines? At this moment, Jiang Cheng was a little nervous. Although I didn't do anything, my wife knows it best, and she is really jealous. I didn't stay, really. I didn't say a word. Yi Qingjiu looked at him suspiciously. Oh, then how do you prove it? Her eyes sparkled when she spoke, and she looked so beautiful that Jiang Cheng couldn't help but lick his lips. How to prove it? He grabbed Yi Qingjiu's waist and pressed his lips against Yi Qingjiu's. Yi Qingjiu opened his eyes wide. This was a dinner party. How can this person be so courageous? Zia Shishin was afraid of being discovered, so she went to find Jiang Cheng and came back a little late on purpose. When she opened the door of the private room, she saw this scene at first sight. His face changed immediately. What does this person mean? If you don't agree, then don't agree. Why are you still showing your affection in front of me? A kiss, a kiss, a kiss, a kiss. Everyone started to make a noise. Zia Shishin really wanted to find a hole to crawl into. This was really too heartbreaking. After a while, Yi Qingjiu pushed Jiang Cheng away, looking shy. Okay, let's eat quickly. It was already 10 o'clock in the evening after dinner. Bai Meng and Wang Guan sent Yi Qingjiu and the others out. As soon as he went out, Yi Qingjiu received a call from Zhang Ma. Seeing it was Zhang Ma, Yi Qingjiu frowned. Zhang Ma seldom called him. Could something have happened to the two babies? She quickly put it to her ear. What's wrong? Both babies were fine when they came back, but they started to have fever at 8 o'clock, and it's getting worse now, and one is crying louder than the other. Aunt Zhang wanted to take them to the hospital, but she was too busy to handle it alone, so she had to call Yi Qingjiu. She said in an extremely anxious tone, Miss Niu and Yan are sick. Hearing that he was sick, Yi Qingjiu's heart skipped a beat. He was fine this morning, how come he's sick now? I don't know, miss, please come back soon. Jiang Cheng had been standing next to Yi Qingjiu and probably understood what was said. It seemed that the two babies were sick. I'll go back now. Yi Qingjiu hung up the phone, frowning, looking extremely anxious. Nano and Yan are sick. At this moment, her mind was filled with the images of her two babies crying, and beads of sweat appeared on her forehead. Jiang Cheng held her hand and said, It's okay, I'm here, let's go back now. Sheng Xinyan originally wanted to get a ride, but when she heard that the two children were sick, she also became anxious. How about I go with you? More people means more strength. Jiang Cheng helped Yi Qingjiu open the car door, then looked at her and said, Okay, it's not weightlifting. What kind of strength is needed? Let's go back first. Call me if you have anything tomorrow. Okay, then be careful on the road. Sheng Xinyan agreed quickly. Along the way, Jiang Cheng wanted to drive the car at a speed of 180 km/h. His babies were still crying at home. It would be a lie to say that he didn't feel heartbroken. But he couldn't show it. After all, Yi Qingjiu was still there and he was her support. If I start to get nervous, she will definitely be even more nervous. Half an hour later, the two finally arrived home. As soon as I opened the door, I heard Yan crying. The little guy's voice was almost hoarse. When the two heard the sound, their hearts were broken. He hurried to the bedroom. Yan and Niu each had a fever-reducing patch on their heads, and their little faces were flushed red. Jiang Cheng hurried over to take Yan's pulse. He looked at Yan and said, Open your mouth so Daddy can take a look, okay? Seeing their mom and dad coming back, the two little guys instantly became much more obedient. Yan opened his mouth wide and asked Jiang Cheng to look at him. The area inside my throat is red. It looks like I have a cold or a viral cold. What's wrong? Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng nervously. Maybe I have to go to the hospital. Although he is a Chinese medicine doctor, Chinese medicine is too bitter. The two babies are so young that they definitely can't drink it. Hearing him say he was going to the hospital, Yi Qingjiu became even more anxious. After all, Jiang Cheng was a doctor, and if he couldn't treat the disease, then wouldn't it be? Thinking of Yi Qingjiu, tears started to fall. Jiang Cheng took her hand and said, Wife, it's just a viral cold. Don't worry, let's go get some Western medicine. It should be fine after a few days. After hearing what he said, Yi Qingjiu finally wiped away her tears. Her eyelashes were wet. Then let's go now. Jiang Cheng thought for a moment and said, Not now, I'll give them some water later. After saying that, he turned and went into the kitchen, closed the door, and went to the space to get 2 cups of spiritual spring water. Although this water could not cure the cold, it could at least make their fever less severe. Jiang Cheng came out with 2 glasses of water. He handed one to Yi Qingjiu and took the other one himself and walked to Niu. Baby, get up and drink some water, okay? After hearing what Jiang Cheng said, although Niu felt very uncomfortable, she still sat up obediently and drank half a glass of water. Yi Qingjiu also drank a lot of water while holding Yanyan. Chapter 192, The Two-in-Laws Meet. After all, this water was spiritual spring water. After the 2 babies drank it, they felt much better immediately and the pain subsided. Suya looked at Niu's red face, which had returned to normal color. He touched her head again, making sure that the fever had subsided. Then he looked at Yi Qingjiu again. Is Yanyan feeling better now? Yi Qingjiu touched Yanyan's head and found that it was no longer hot. Much better. What kind of water is that? How did the fever go down so quickly? It turned out that both children had had a fever, but even with the fastest antipyretic medicine, the fever only started to subside after 10 minutes. How could Jiang Cheng's ordinary white water be so magical? Seeing Yi Qingjiu's surprised expression, Jiang Cheng didn't explain much. Let's go, we still have to go to the hospital. It's already past 10 o'clock, so hurry up. Well, let's go. Yi Qingjiu didn't dwell on the previous question. After all, Jiang Cheng was a Chinese medicine doctor, and he might have some quick tips for reducing fever. She picked up Yanyan and walked towards the door, and Jiang Cheng followed behind holding Niu. Aunt Zhang was afraid that the 2 of them couldn't handle it, so she followed behind them. How about I go with you guys? I can also help carry things. Jiang Cheng replied, It's okay, the 2 of us are enough, and then he walked out. Mother Zhang looked at the 2 people's backs and couldn't help feeling guilty. After thinking about it, she still felt that she had not taken good care of the child. After struggling for a long time, she called Yi Qingjiu's mother. When Mother Yi heard that her precious grandson and granddaughter both had a fever of 40 degrees, could she still survive? He immediately decided to rush over from Yi Qingjiu's grandmother's house the next day. Here, 2 people took their children to the city hospital. There were not many people in the hospital at that time. Jiang Cheng called out the numbers and 2 people were quickly seated. 2 people walked in carrying the child. The 2 babies had a fever for 2 hours. Although their fever has subsided now, they look listless, and you can tell at a glance that they are sick. The doctor pointed to a small bed next to him and said, Put the child there. Press it so I can check it. After saying that, he picked up the stethoscope on the table. Jiang Cheng frowned. He could understand this examination and what it meant to press the points. Yi Qingjiu got anxious when she heard that her baby had to be held down. Doctor, why do you want to hold him down? Do you want to give him an injection? The doctor raised his eyelids and said, No injection, for fear that they will move around and not be able to hear clearly. Our children are very well behaved and won't move around, Yi Qingjiu explained. Niu and Yanyan have never been naughty and ignorant children since they were young. As long as you tell them the truth, they will be very obedient. Yi Qingjiu is confident about this. Niu looked at the doctor, pouting her little mouth and looking very well behaved. Uncle, I won't move. I don't know either, Yanyan also responded. The doctor was used to seeing crying children coming to the hospital. He would sweat every time he saw the 2 children. When he saw how obedient they were, he thought they were adorable. Okay, just don't move. After saying that, he walked over to the bed next to him and patted it. Shall we start the inspection? Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu and Jiang Chengba placed their 2 treasures on the bed. The 2 babies were so well behaved that they didn't move. Niu was a little scared at the moment and couldn't help asking, Will it hurt? Yanyan grabbed her hand and said, Don't worry, I'm with you. He is a man and should protect his sister. Well, I'm not afraid. Niu looked determined at this moment. The 2 little hands were clenched tightly together. Looking at the cute appearance of the 2 babies, the doctor couldn't help but sigh, These children are really sensible. How do you usually educate them? Jiang Cheng looked at the doctor with a smile. It's all thanks to my mother's good education. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu glanced at him. It was obvious that she herself had not done much in taking care of the child. The doctor took the stethoscope and put it into Yanyan's clothes and listened, then put it into Niu's clothes and listened. Then he took off the stethoscope from his ear and looked at Jiang Cheng. It's a viral cold. The 2 children should be in kindergarten now. Late autumn is the peak season for colds, so we still need to pay attention. Okay, Jiang Cheng already knew it was a cold, so he wasn't surprised at all. The doctor sat in front of the computer and began to prescribe medicine. Looking at the antipyretic drugs on the prescription, he couldn't help but say, based on the conditions of these two children, they should have a fever. Nuno climbed down from the bed at this moment. Dad cured us. My dad is so awesome. Yanyan is simply the eternal supporter. I don't know when it started, but the phrase I say most often is, my dad is so awesome. Hearing this, the doctor looked at Jiang Cheng in surprise. Can you treat illnesses? Jiang Cheng originally wanted to see a doctor, but now that the two children had exposed his true identity, he had no choice but to nod and say, yes, but I am a Chinese medicine doctor. The doctor laughed when he heard what he said. There is no distinction between types of medical treatment, whether it is Chinese medicine or Western medicine. As long as the doctor can cure the disease, he is a good doctor. Then I won't prescribe the antipyretic for you. If you get a fever when you go back, just remember to take the original antipyretic. After saying that, he tapped a few times on the computer and produced a prescription for Jiang Cheng to get the medicine. After getting the medicine, you can go home. Yi Qingjiu is now holding the hands of her two darlings and following Jiang Cheng. The family of 4 left the hospital with the medicine. It was almost 12 o'clock when the goods arrived home, and the two babies fell asleep in the car. After getting out of the car, Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu carefully carried the two babies back to the room. Originally, the two babies had already fallen asleep by themselves, but because he was worried that they might have a fever at night, Yi Qingjiu decided that the 4 of them should sleep together tonight. Jiang Cheng took a shower, and just as he lay down, he heard his phone ringing. I couldn't help but wonder who was calling me at this moment. Yi Qingjiu was very sleepy, but when he heard the phone call, his ears almost pricked up. Who calls Jiang Cheng so late? Jiang Cheng picked up the phone and saw that it was his mother. He had no idea why his mother was calling him in the middle of the night. He picked up the phone, and seeing Yi Qingjiu looking at him again, he simply turned on the speakerphone. Hey, Mom, what's wrong? I heard that my grandson is sick. You didn't bring him to see me for so many days. How could he get sick? How do you take care of the child? Ever since Mother Jiang received the call from Yi Qingjiu's mother, she was so anxious that she wanted to come over right away. Unfortunately, she didn't know the address. Jiang Cheng looked helpless. Mom, it's normal for children to get sick. The doctor said that autumn is the peak season for colds. Niu and Yanyan are in kindergarten and they come into contact with so many children every day. They will definitely be infected. Mother Jiang sneered. Oh, you still think you're right? It's because you didn't take good care of the children in the kindergarten. Why are other children fine, but my good grandchildren are in trouble? The more Mother Jiang thought about it, the more distressed she felt. She wanted to pull Jiang Cheng's ears hard to teach him a lesson. Yi Qingjiu couldn't help laughing when he saw Jiang Cheng being scolded. Jiang Cheng heard the laughter and couldn't help but look at her, adding insult to injury. By the way, where is my daughter-in-law? Asked Mother Jiang. She's sleeping. What, do you want to scold her too? Jiang Cheng teased. After all, the child is from both of them, and it would be too biased for his mother to only scold him. The weather has been changing drastically over the past 2 days. Remember to tell Qingjiu to wear more clothes so she doesn't catch a cold, Mother Jiang reminded. Jiang Cheng thought there was more to come, but after waiting for a long time and seeing his mother still not saying anything, he had no choice but to ask, that's all. Won't you feel cold? By the way, your mother-in-law is coming over tomorrow, and we think we should have dinner together. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu, who was sitting on the bed, was startled. Her mother is coming tomorrow. How come I don't know anything? Mom, why didn't you tell me? Tell Suya's mom first. Okay, I got it. I'll arrange it tomorrow, Jiang Cheng said and hung up the phone. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng in confusion. How come your mother already knows about my mother's visit? Jiang Cheng shrugged. How would he know? The two turned off the lights and prepared to go back to sleep when Yi Qingjiu's phone rang again. It was his mother calling. She glanced at Jiang Cheng, and remembering his hands-free mode just now, she turned on the hands-free mode herself. Hello, Mom. Jiu, Mom's 8 o'clock car tomorrow morning is expected to arrive at 12 o'clock. Yi Qingjiu's mother's voice was much gentler. By the way, Mom, how did Jiang Cheng's mother know that you were coming? Yi Qingjiu really couldn't figure it out. I called her. I heard that Niu and Yanyan were both sick, so I wanted to go over and see them. It's a good opportunity to meet the in-laws. Besides, your wedding date is coming soon, so I think we need to discuss the details. Yi Qingjiu nodded. Okay, I understand. After hanging up the phone, the two of them discussed where to eat. Since they were going to meet, they definitely had to eat. Why don't we book a hotel? It'll be more convenient, Yi Qingjiu said seriously. Jiang Cheng touched her head and said, 2 families meeting in a hotel? What do you think? That's too distant. So where do you think we should go? Why don't we go to Silan Daijing? It's a good opportunity for them to see the wedding room. Yi Qingjiu nodded. Well, this is a good idea. The next morning, Jiang Cheng got up and hurriedly made a program. After all, he was a man with mecha skills, so he was ruthless in making the program and finished it in 2 hours. Niu and Yanyan don't have to go to kindergarten because they are sick. Jiang Cheng finished the program code and sent it directly to Sun Ming, asking him to take the code to the technology company again. After all, today was the day when his parents would meet Qingjiu's mother. He also had to go over early to cook, so naturally he couldn't go to the technology company. Sun Ming took a set of programs sent by Jiang Cheng and went directly to the technology company. He handed the program to the staff and said, "This is the program prepared by Mr. Jiang. Just add to the original one." The staff inserted the USB drive into the computer, and then it was as if the door to a whole new world had been opened. This program is more practical than the previous one, and the details are well done. He looked at Sun Ming excitedly. Boss Jiang is really amazing. Sun Ming smiled and asked, "How long will it take to complete?" This is what he cares about. The sooner it is on the market, the sooner he can know the results. As soon as 1 week. Hearing this, Sun Ming rolled his eyes. What Jiang Cheng could do in 2 hours, it will take you a week. No wonder I can't start a business. Here, Jiang Cheng has already taken Yi Qingjiu and the children to the supermarket. There are a lot of things to do today, including buying groceries, cleaning the house, and cooking. However, Jiang Cheng can basically handle all of these by himself. Niu and Yanyan were sitting in the back seat looking sick, so Jiang Cheng left them in the car to rest and took Yi Qingjiu to buy some groceries. When I came back from buying groceries, I saw that my 2 babies had fallen asleep without me noticing. After destroying Silan Daijing, Jiang Cheng carried his 2 babies all the way to the villa. Yi Qingjiu hurried to the kitchen to wash the vegetables. After all, Jiang Cheng had to do so much by himself, and she still felt distressed. Jiang Cheng put the children on the bed, and when he came out, he saw Yi Qingjiu washing vegetables. He touched Yi Qingjiu's head and teased with a smile. "You go and clean up the house. I'll be here. Girls' skin will turn yellow if they are exposed to too much fumes." His wife is delicate and just needs to do simple things. She can do things like cooking by herself. Yi Qingjiu nodded. "That's fine, I'll clean up the house first and then come to help you." After saying that, he turned around and went out to clean the house. Jiang Cheng's meat was almost done, and he came out to give Yi Qingqing some wine to taste. After all, she is the hidden little greedy cat in their family. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu was wearing an apron and rubber gloves, and was wiping the TV cabinet carefully with a rag in her hand. The noble appearance of the past is no longer there, and he is filled with a strong smell of fireworks. Jiang Cheng looked at her and suddenly had an unprecedented feeling. How nice it would be if he could live like this forever. Yi Qingjiu turned around when she heard the voice. She wiped the sweat from her forehead and asked, "Why are you staring at me?" Jiang Cheng looked at him gently. "Try it, how does it taste?" Yi Qingjiu came over wearing rubber gloves, and Jiang Cheng picked up the meat from the bowl and fed it into her mouth. Delicious. Jiang Cheng gently kissed the corner of her lips. "You are delicious, too." After saying that, he took my empty bowl and went back to the kitchen. Yi Qingjiu stared blankly at Jiang Cheng's back. Why did this guy always kiss her suddenly without any preparation? After being busy all morning, at 11 o'clock, Jiang Cheng sent the location of the new house to Jiang's mother. Mother Yi also got off the car immediately. He threw the last fish into the pot, then took off his apron, turned and walked out. This time there was no one at the gate of the community, and it looked a little lonely. Jiang Cheng waited for a long time before he saw a BMW X5 driving over. It was a gift from Yi Qingjiu to her father-in-law. Jiang Cheng waved, "Dad, this way." Father Jiang drove the car in and slowly stopped. Then the 2 people got out of the car. After all, she was going to meet her in-laws, so Mother Jiang dressed very elegantly. Mr. Jiang was also dressed in a suit. Jiang Cheng burst out laughing when he saw the 2 of them. "If someone didn't know, I would think you 2 were on a blind date for the first time. Go away, you have no respect for your elders." Mother Jiang slapped him hard on the neck. "What's wrong with this kid?" Chapter 193, When will you have your second child? Jiang Cheng was in so much pain after being hit by his mother. "Mom, can't you be a little gentler?" Jiang Ma rolled her eyes at him and said, "You deserve it. If you don't feel any pain, you won't learn your lesson." Father Jiang took out a cigarette and put it to his lips. "Is your mother-in-law here?" Jiang Cheng shook his head, "Not yet." When Jiang's mother saw her old man about to smoke, She slapped his hand and said, "Smoke, smoke, smoke. All you do is smoke all day long." Mr. Jiang is an old henpecked man. When he saw that Mrs. Jiang looked unhappy, he immediately put the cigarette back in her pocket. "If you don't want to smoke, then don't smoke. What's the big deal?" Jiang Cheng originally wanted to take his parents in first, but the two of them insisted on standing here and waiting for their in-laws, saying that it was to show respect. Jiang Cheng couldn't persuade the two people, so he had to stand at the door. The three of them chatted for more than 10 minutes. A taxi stopped and Mother Yi got out, carrying a lot of bags. Seeing this, Jiang Cheng hurried to help. "Mom," Jiang Cheng smiled. "How are the two babies?" Mother Yi's heart was filled with her precious grandchildren. "It's okay. I took some medicine and slept all morning. It's time to get up now." Hearing that the two children were fine, Mother Yi finally felt relieved. "Mom, let's go in first." Jiang Cheng smiled. "Yes, relative, let's go in first." Mother Jiang walked over kindly. Seeing Mother Jiang, Mother Yi smiled and said, "Oh, you are all here. It seems that I am late." The two of them were so affectionate with their arms around each other. Jiang Cheng and his father were carrying things. The two mothers were chatting behind them, and the four of them were walking towards the lake together. Father Jiang looked ahead and said, "You've taken the wrong road, kid. If you keep going, you'll fall into the water." Jiang Cheng looked helpless. "Don't worry, Dad has a yacht so he won't fall in." When Mr. Jiang heard about the yacht, he was very surprised. "My goodness, where on earth are you guys staying?" "Right in the middle of the lake." As they spoke, the four of them boarded the yacht. After a while, it fell in front of the villa. Jiang Cheng took the things and led the three old people off the yacht and walked towards the gate. Mother Jiang glanced at Mother Yi next to her and said, "Nowadays, young people buy a house and then build a yacht. I don't appreciate it." Mother Yi had seen the world after all. She smiled and patted Mother Jiang's hand. "Well, as long as the children are happy, it's fine. In fact, it's nice to row a boat after dinner." "Yes, yes, my in-laws are right. When we have a second child, it will be nice for several children to row together." Mother Jiang finished speaking. Jiang Cheng was so frightened that he broke out in a cold sweat. "Oh my God, this can't be the reason why his mother came today. This is too scary. Who wants a second child? He has no idea at all." Jiang Cheng turned around and glanced at his mother. His expression was very meaningful. The four people entered the villa. Yi Qingjiu had already served the meal, and the two darlings also got up. "Now I see my grandparents and grandma, and I am so happy." "Mom and Dad, let's eat first. The food will get cold soon." Yi Qingjiu smiled. Mother Yi hadn't seen her children for a long time and felt so distressed. "You guys eat first, and I'll hug the kids." After saying that, he picked up the two babies. Yi Qingjiu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Mom, the children need to eat too." After she reminded her, Mother Yi remembered that the two babies had not eaten yet. "Yes, yes, yes, look at my brain." After saying that, he placed the two treasures on the stool. Jiang Cheng tied the bibs for them. The family started to eat. "By the way, Qingjiu, when are you going to have a second child?" Mother Yi suddenly asked. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu's pupils trembled, and the hand that was picking up the food paused. "Mom, what are you talking about? We haven't even had our wedding yet, and we're already thinking about having a second child. And in front of my parents-in-law, how will they view me? I thought I had nothing to do but like having children." Jiang Cheng originally still had a glimmer of hope, thinking that his mother was just speaking casually. But now it seems that the two mothers had colluded to do so. It seems that today they are not only here to talk about the wedding, but also to force them to have a second child. Mother Yi looked at Yi Qingjiu, whose face was red, and touched her head with a smile. "You are such a big kid. Why are you still shy?" "Yes, Qingjiu, I also think that you should consider having a second child." Mother Jiang also lost her patience. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu's face was extremely red, and she looked at Jiang Cheng for help. It seemed to be saying, "What should I do? Speak faster." Jiang Cheng certainly understood what his wife meant. He coughed twice and said, "We don't have any plans in this regard for the time being. After all, we are still young and should focus on our careers." Hearing this, Father Jiang was not happy. "Can career be more important than family? Now while your mother and I are young, we can still take care of your children. When we are too old to move, we will really be unable to help you." "Yes, and besides, we only have two babies now and they don't have any brothers or sisters. It will definitely be boring." Mother Jiang chimed in. Nunyu blinked and looked at Yanyan. "Are you bored?" Yanyan shook her head, "No." Nunyu was very satisfied with Yanyan's answer. "I'm not bored either. To be honest, these two little guys are not very keen on having younger brothers and sisters. But it is wrong to say that they are bored. They are definitely not boring." After hearing what the two darlings said, Yi Qingjiu was so moved that he almost died. Finally, someone spoke up for him. Mother Yi looked at the two babies and smiled. What do these two little kids know? They need to grow up to understand the benefits of having a younger brother or sister. Yi Qingjiu. As a mother, she must be able to chat. She looked at Jiang Cheng again. Jiang Cheng didn't know what to say at the moment. He actually felt that it was optional. After all, he was quite good at taking care of children. Well, Mom, you just came back, so you don't have to worry about these things. Having a child is also a matter of fate, don't you think? Hearing this, Mother Yi nodded. That's true. Mother Jiang was unhappy when she heard this. Fate? Didn't you still want these two children back then? Why are you talking to me about fate now? Jiang Cheng. Now he was speechless and looked at his wife helplessly. If I continue talking about this topic, I'm afraid I'll have to say that I'm impotent. Yi Qingjiu smiled awkwardly. Mom, don't we already have two now? If you want to take care of the children, you can send them over for a few days every week. This way, you two old people won't be lonely and we can relax for a few days. If we want to have a child now, I'm afraid I'll be showing my pregnancy at the wedding. The Yi family is also a well-known family. They already brought two children to the wedding. If they get pregnant with another one, they will really be laughed at. Hearing this, Mother Jiang thought for a moment and said, That's true. Let's talk about it after the wedding. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng finally breathed a sigh of relief. He picked up a piece of food for Mother Jiang and said, Mom, eat more. Seeing Mother Jiang lowering her head to eat, Yi Qingjiu breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, the matter of having a second child was not mentioned anymore. That was really annoying. Mother Yi looked at her daughter and said, Qingjiu, have you decided on the wedding dress or anything else? Yi Qingjiu nodded. Everything has been decided. The wedding photos have been taken and the wedding room has been booked. Basically, we just have to wait for the wedding. Mother Yi nodded. That's good. It's already November. There's only 1 month left. We'll be getting married on December 1st. Yi Qingjiu glanced at Jiang Cheng. Shouldn't it be January 1st? Has the plan changed? Jiang Cheng looked completely clueless. He didn't know either. I felt something was not right with these two mothers since yesterday, and when I met them today, it seemed more and more wrong. But after all, she is Yi Qingjiu's mother, so Jiang Cheng didn't dare to ask. She glanced at Yi Qingjiu again, and Yi Qingjiu coughed twice. Mom, did you? Remember it wrong. Before Yi's mother could speak, Jiang's mother smiled and said, It's not that your mother remembered it wrongly, it's us who decided to move your wedding forward. After all, January is too cold, and it's been such a long time since we got the marriage certificate. If we don't hold a wedding banquet, it always feels like something is missing. So that's what is happening. Yi Qingjiu thought about it, and decided that it was not impossible to hold the wedding earlier, and he would probably be very busy at the end of the year. She nodded. December 1st is also fine. What do you think, Jiang Cheng? Since his wife agreed, he naturally had no objection. I fully agree. Seeing that the two agreed, the three old men were extremely happy. Come, eat, eat. Father Jiang picked up the chopsticks with a smile. Yi Qingjiu felt a little sad at the moment. She was getting married, and it was time for her to take Jiang Cheng to worship her father. Thinking of her father, her face looked a little bad. It is said that a daughter is her father's little cotton-padded jacket. Although old Yi was very strict when she was alive, now that she has become a mother, she suddenly begins to understand her father's painstaking efforts. He loves himself, and the deeper his criticism, the deeper his love. Seeing that she didn't eat, Mother Yi pulled Yi Qingjiu's hand and said, Good child, do you miss your daddy? Although the divorce happened early, Mother Yi knew clearly how much her husband loved her daughter. Yi Qingjiu nodded and took a deep breath. Well, it's time to go to Dad's grave. Mother Yi patted her hands and said, Okay, let's eat first. We'll go together later. After so many years, she has come to understand and let it go. Perhaps Yi En had no choice but to divorce back then. The company almost went bankrupt that year, and Yi En was heavily in debt. If she didn't divorce, she might really get into trouble. He was going to take the child away by himself, but she said out of anger that she could divorce without taking the child. Unexpectedly, Yi En agreed directly, but the condition she gave was that she would never see the child again in her life. I couldn't understand it at all at that time. Now I understand that what I should do is to let her go, and let her start a new life without any burden. That year they were almost penniless. She is an artist with a weak career. If she were to take care of the child, the two of them might not even have enough to eat. So Yi En made up his mind and let her go far away alone. I was taking care of my daughter by myself, but I didn't expect that the reform and opening up would take a turn for the better, and the internet would develop rapidly. In 1 year, Yi En made a rapid comeback. and the business is getting bigger and bigger. Later, he also called Yi Qingjiu's mother and asked her to come back, but Yi's mother was young and hot-tempered at the time, and she was so resolute when she divorced. Why should she be summoned and dismissed by him at will? So once two people miss each other, it will be a lifetime miss. By the time he heard the news about Yen, he had already passed away. Time is a magical thing. It can change people's minds. What Mother Yi couldn't understand back then, now she realizes that they were all missed. Yi Qingjiu looked at her mother. "Mom, shall we go together?" She didn't know if her mother was still angry with her father. Mother Yi nodded. "Of course we go together, the family still needs to be together." Although Yi En was gone, she didn't marry anyone else. "So we are still a family, right?" Yi Qingjiu nodded, with light flashing in his eyes. "Yeah." After dinner, Jiang Cheng took the three old people to visit the new house. Their wedding photos and family photos are hung in the new house, which is very beautiful. When she walked into the bedroom, Mother Yi was stunned when she saw the photo on the wall. Is this really a painting? His daughter turned into a mermaid, and there seemed to be stars and sea in her eyes. This is really beautiful. This painting is beautiful, but why is Jiang Cheng not in it? Mother Jiang couldn't help but feel curious. After all, there are wedding photos hanging above their beds. There are two people. Jiang Cheng looked at his mother with a smile. Are you taking a closer look? After hearing what Jiang Cheng said, Mother Yi looked at the painting carefully. Her intuition told her that this painting had a deeper meaning. Sure enough, after looking for a long time, she found a clue. Mother Yi walked closer and discovered that there was a reflection in her daughter's eyes. The reflection has a similar figure and appearance to Jiang Cheng. Although she couldn't see his appearance clearly, based on her intuition, it should be Jiang Cheng. This is really shocking. He can actually draw such a creative picture. He is worthy of being my son-in-law. Jiang Cheng, this painting was drawn by you, right? She knew that if Jiang Cheng left this painting, no one else would be able to draw it. This level of realism, as well as the emotions in the eyes, would be impossible to achieve without half a year of effort, even if one were to draw it themselves. Yi Qingjiu looked at her mother happily. It was painted by Jiang Chenghua. Mother Yi looked at Jiang Cheng with certainty. This is a great painting, you are amazing. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, no, no. When they heard that it was Jiang Chenghua's, Jiang's father and mother were extremely surprised. What? Are the pigs in my own home so capable now? Not only can you play games, but you can also draw. Mother Jiang touched the painting excitedly and said, it's really beautiful. To be honest, if Mother Yi hadn't told her, she would have thought that Jiang Cheng had found a famous painter and paid him a lot of money to paint it. Yeah, it's really beautiful, you're a good boy. Father Jiang couldn't help but pat Jiang Cheng on the shoulder. Niu and Yan were excited when they heard everyone praising their father. This is the mermaid that Mom performed at the aquarium. Oceanarium, mermaid. The three elderly people were all stunned. You mean Mom performed the mermaid show for you in the oceanarium? Mother Yi leaned down to look at the two babies. Yes, on Dad's birthday. Niu nodded seriously. Chapter 194, Does He No Longer Love Himself? Yi Qingjiu hurriedly picked up Niu and Yan. As a mother, don't you have any dignity? Especially in front of my mother and parents-in-law. If she keeps talking, she will be so embarrassed, Tilda. It's time to take medicine. Yi Qingjiu's face was slightly hot at this moment, and he walked out holding the two children. When Jiang Cheng saw his wife leaving, he said, I'll go help, and ran out. Look, Qingjiu is shy again. Mother Yi smiled. Hearing this, Jiang's father and mother couldn't help but laugh out loud. After seeing off Mr. and Mrs. Jiang in the afternoon, Jiang Cheng took Yi Qingjiu, the two babies and his mother-in-law back to the lakeside villa. When they got home, Mom took Yi Qingjiu back to her room. The two of them kept chattering, the mother and daughter talking about all sorts of trivial matters, and they couldn't stop. The next morning after washing up, the family went to Su Hengshan's cemetery. The Yi family was very rich, so Yi En's grave was the most luxurious in the cemetery. A 30-square-meter cemetery with landscape designs such as small bridges, flowing water, and rockery can be said to be very exquisite. Several people were wearing black clothes. Only the two darlings remained the same as usual. Jiang Cheng stood behind holding the two children. Mother Yi took Yi Qingjiu's hand and walked over slowly. Old Yi, we are here to see you. Mother Yi thought of the time when Yi En just started his business, and when Yi Qingjiu was born. The past scenes seemed like passing clouds, and she couldn't help but shed tears. Yi Qingjiu quickly handed over a tissue. Mom. Mother Yi wiped her tears and said, Old Yi, look, our grandchildren are so big now, a boy and a girl, and Jiang Cheng, this is the biological father of the children. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng took 2 steps forward. After all, I'm introducing myself, and it's not polite to hide at the back. Jiang Chenggren is very good. He is very good to King Jiu and the children. He can also cook. The children like him very much. Besides, he took over Yaochen, which is Chen Shaolun's company. When you left, he bullied King Jiu. This son-in-law can be regarded as revenge for our daughter. But speaking of it, if he hadn't been so bad, there might not have been such a good son-in-law. It can be considered a blessing in disguise. They are getting married now. They have bought a nice house. My son-in-law likes me to paint. The green wine he painted looks like a real mermaid. Mother Yi stood in front of the grave and talked endlessly. But Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu could still understand her. As for the elderly, the older they get, the more nostalgic they become. After more than 10 minutes, Mother Yi finally finished speaking, and it was Yi Qingjiu's turn. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng, turned around and knelt down. Dad, I brought my son-in-law and children to see you. When I had my child, he lost his father. It is really not easy for Yi Qingjiu to be alone, but everything is fine now, and she feels that she is probably happier than anyone else. Dad, I hope everything is okay with you in there. Jiang Cheng put the children on the ground. The 2 babies knew that this was their grandfather's grave and knelt down sensibly. The family of 4 kowtowed in unison. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi's father's grave and said, Dad, don't worry, I will protect Qingjiu and take good care of the child. What you haven't done, I will complete in the future. I am not good at talking, but don't worry, Qingjiu is with me. I will never make her sad. After saying that, the 4 people stood up. Mother Yi looked at the 2 of them and said, Go wait for me in the car. I still have something to say to your father. Yi Qingjiu knew that her mother would definitely cry, so she stuffed a pack of tissues into her hand and said, Mom, let's go first. Yes, Mother Yi nodded. The 4 men walked towards the cemetery gate. On the way, Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng. Is what you just said true? Probably no one would lie at a grave, because lies are told to deceive ghosts. But Jiang Cheng really didn't dare to lie. What do you think? He looked at Yi Qingjiu helplessly. Don't worry, I don't like to lie. 4 people got in the car. Nuo and Yan Yan hadn't recovered from their cold yet, so they started to feel sleepy after getting in the car. Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu sat in the front and began to tell stories about their childhood. The 2 talked for more than an hour before Yi's mother came back. Because tomb sweeping is usually done in the morning, it is already 11 o'clock. When Jiang Cheng saw Yi's mother coming back, he hurriedly got out of the car to help her open the door. As soon as he got out of the car, he heard someone inside shouting, Jiang Cheng. The sound is light and crisp. Jiang Cheng turned around and saw that it was Wu Nan. They were desk mates in high school. Why are you here? Jiang Cheng looked surprised. Who else do you think it is? Wu Nan walked over with a smile. When she was in school, she was a real tomboy, climbing walls and catching fish all day long without any ambiguity at all. She plays football better than boys, can you believe it? When Mother Yi saw that the person was Jiang Cheng's acquaintance, she got in the car first. Since Yi Qingjiu didn't come, he thought Jiang Cheng would come up after chatting for a while, so he didn't take it seriously and continued to sit there without moving. But unexpectedly, Jiang Cheng not only had no intention of going home, but the conversation became even more heated. This made Yi Qingjiu a little confused. This is a cemetery. Is this really appropriate to chat here? And it was with a woman. Who was this woman? I haven't seen you for so many years. How are you doing? Wu Nan asked enthusiastically. Not bad, how about you? He couldn't tell anyone about his encounter with the system. As for me, I've always been like that, but I got married and gave birth to twins. Isn't that awesome? Wu Nan felt that she had really used up all her life's luck to give birth to a pair of baby boys. I'm so proud of myself right now. But he didn't know that Jiang Cheng was even more amazing. He had twins, a boy and a girl. Although Wu Nan is a woman, her personality is so manly that Jiang Cheng doesn't even consider her as a woman. Show off to show off. What a coincidence, I am the same, but I am twins, a boy and a girl. Wow, you are so cruel. Where is your wife? By the way, why are you here today? Wu Nan asked. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu could no longer sit still. She got out of the car and pulled Jiang Cheng's hand, then looked at Wu Nan. Hello. Hello, it's Brother Cheng's wife, so beautiful. Wu Nan greeted with a smile. To be honest, Wu Nan is also quite good-looking, but not as good as Yi Qingjiu. And the 2 people are not of the same category at all. Wu Nan is the type of tomboy. How should I put it? She is carefree, looks generous, and is comfortable to look at. Yi Qingjiu was shocked, so Jiang Cheng likes this one. By the way, Brother Cheng, the Nijiaguanzi that I used to eat when I was a kid is still alive and well. Let's go there together later. Hearing this, there were some subtle changes on Yi Qingjiu's face. They are going together, what about me? Is she heir? Jiang Cheng smiled and said, okay, next time we have a chance, I'll treat you. After saying this, he took Yi Qingjiu's hand and said, then we will go back first. Okay, Brother Cheng, please drive slower. Wu Nan smiled and waved. Yi Qingjiu was almost angry to death at this moment. She got in the car and didn't say a word the whole way. Jiang Cheng kept driving and didn't notice anything wrong. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu felt so aggrieved that he almost died. So you just said in front of your father that you would take care of me for the rest of my life. But that doesn't count anymore, right? Sure enough, men's words are lies. Scumbag. Pooh. We still have to go out to eat together. I'm such a grown-up person, can't they see me? They can actually chat so enthusiastically in the cemetery. Are they really here to visit the graves? The more Yi Qingjiu thought about it, the more upset he felt. Tears were already welling up in his eyes. Jiang Cheng, you are going too far. Jiang Cheng turned on the navigation when he came, thinking that he should be able to find it when he returned. He drove all the way, and when he reached the intersection, he suddenly felt a little confused and drove in that direction. He turned his head and glanced at Yi Qingjiu. Wife, which way should we go now? Yi Qingjiu turned his face away the whole time and said nothing at this moment. Jiang Cheng frowned. Could it be that this girl fell asleep? Just as I was hesitating whether to turn on the navigation, I suddenly saw Yi Qingjiu's shoulders tremble uncontrollably. Hiss. This girl. Is this crying? His intuition told him that Yi Qingjiu should be crying. Jiang Cheng stopped the car and asked, Wife, what's wrong with you? Yi Qingjiu sniffed, his voice trembling. Don't talk to me. She doesn't want to listen. He just doesn't love himself anymore. He's going to have dinner with another woman, liar. Scumbag. What's going on? Jiang Cheng was a little confused. Drive your car. Yi Qingjiu's voice was stern. She is indeed a female boss. Even when she cries with such charisma. Seeing that she was unwilling to talk to him, Jiang Cheng had no choice but to turn on the navigation and continue driving back. After all, the child and Yi's mother were in the car. At this moment, with Yi Qingjiu in such a bad mood, I really don't know what else he can say. He didn't want to make things awkward. Yi Qingjiu waited for a long time, but when she saw that Jiang Cheng didn't even try to comfort her, she felt aggrieved and uncomfortable. He wasn't like that originally. It turns out that he would always comfort himself at the first opportunity, even if it was a trivial matter. But now, it was clearly them who went too far. He doesn't even want to explain. He knew that she would forgive him no matter what he said, so why didn't he explain? A girl's mind is full of twists and turns. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu has completely misinterpreted the true nature of the matter. Xia Tian knew that a lot of drama had been going on in her heart. Half an hour later, the car finally returned to the villa in the middle of the lake. Yi Qingjiu's eyes and nose were red from crying, and she looked pitiful. After getting off the car, one person walked in. Mother Yi looked at Jiang Cheng helplessly. What happened to you? You were fine just now. Why did Qingjiu cry all of a sudden? Jiang Cheng didn't know either. He thought for a moment and said, maybe Wu Nan and I talked for too long. He thought about it and thought that this might be the only reason. Mother Yi sighed. Why do I feel that he is not like that? Qingjiu is a CEO after all, so he should have some tolerance. It's not that bad. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng was even more confused. Well, Mom, let's take the child in first. You take care of him first and I'll go check on Qingjiu. Mother Yi nodded. Well, this child has been stubborn since she was young and tends to get stuck in a rut. If she wasn't stubborn, I'm afraid she wouldn't be able to carry the banner of the Yi family. Jiang Cheng naturally understood this. He nodded, and the two of them carried the child into the house. Jiang Cheng then went to Yi Qingjiu's bedroom. The door was locked. It looked like someone was really angry. Wife, open the door. Yi Qingjiu was now lying on the bed, feeling so aggrieved that he almost died. This man is a liar. She didn't want to open the door. Go find his Wu Nan. She was still immersed in her own sorrow when she suddenly heard Jiang Cheng scream. Ah! Then something seemed to fall to the ground. It's over. Did he faint? Yi Qingjiu didn't have time to feel sad at the moment. Was Jiang Cheng injured? How could he faint? Yi Qingjiu felt like her brain was about to explode, so she rushed over and opened the door. You bastard! At this moment, Jiang Cheng was looking at him with a smile. How could I faint? I was just fooling myself. Wife, Jiang Cheng hugged her tightly and gave her a warm kiss. Jiang Cheng, people are still angry. What are you kissing? He is. After a while, feeling that Yi Qingjiu had obviously relaxed, Jiang Cheng finally separated his lips. She pulled Yi Qingjiu back into the house and said, "Wife, can you tell me why you are angry? There is no time to use mind-reading skills at this moment." He wanted to hear what she told him. A real reason. Reading minds is just to satisfy one's own selfish desires. If one day he finds out that Yi Qingjiu is always reading his mind, he probably won't be happy. Because that is a kind of distrust. Yi Qingjiu sniffed, with a pair of eyes still filled with moisture, and looked at him brightly. "What is your relationship with her?" My high school classmate and deskmate were also talking about children, because she also gave birth to twins. Jiang Cheng answered truthfully. Then you just said you were going to dinner. Why didn't you take me with you, and why did you agree?" Yi Qingjiu felt extremely aggrieved. Jiang Cheng looked at his wife and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It turns out that it was because of this. "Wife, she's talking about us. Only business people will be specially invited. In fact, for normal classmates and friends like us, the word you can be used as a substitute because everyone will bring their significant other." My own silly wife. Jiang Cheng hugged the person in his arms. "So don't be angry, okay? Mom is still here and she thought I bullied you." Yi Qingjiu blinked. So Wu Nan didn't say it just because she thought Jiang Cheng would definitely take her with him. "Are you telling the truth?" "Of course it's true. Wu Nan and I haven't seen each other for 6 or 7 years. What do you think will happen between us?" Yi Qingjiu lowered his head. It seemed as if he had really wronged Jiang Cheng when he said this. Chapter 195. Boss Wang, you're going too far. "Well, I was wrong about you." Yi Qingjiu lowered his eyes. "I started to blame myself, but I didn't know why I was so petty now. She doesn't want to become like this." Thinking about it, I felt a little sad. "Jiang Cheng, I may not be as good as you think." Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, "Silly wife, what nonsense are you talking about? You are always the best." The next morning, Yi Qingjiu went to work as usual. If the wedding date was moved forward, she would need to arrange many things in advance. Jiang Cheng was cooking in the kitchen. When he finished making the fragrant porridge, Niu and Yan had already gotten up. The 2 babies came running over with their bare feet clacking. Jiang Cheng looked at the 2 babies, their white and fleshy little feet, and said helplessly, "Winter is coming soon. We really can't run around barefoot anymore." Niu smiled, revealing a row of small white teeth as he looked at Jiang Cheng. "Daddy, Niu has brushed his teeth and can eat now." Jiang Cheng rubbed his daughter's head and said, "So good." After saying that, he looked at Yan beside him. "Did Yan brush his teeth?" Yan shook his head gloomily. He hadn't brushed his teeth yet. "Dad, I'm out of toothpaste." "That's how kids are. They don't know how to adapt at all." Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Then why not use my sister's?" It would have been fine if she hadn't said anything. Once she did, Yan felt so wrong that she almost cried. "Daddy, your sister's toothpaste is strawberry-flavored and mine is lemon-flavored. Children of this age always have an inexplicable sense of rules. What is what, and whoever it belongs to whomever. He is not allowed to use his sister's things, and he doesn't like strawberry-flavored toothpaste." Jiang Cheng now had a headache because Yan's toothpaste was only sold in CE Shopping Mall, because the price was too high. You can't buy it in the surrounding shops. But CE Mall is far from home, and I have to drive there. It would probably take until noon to go back and forth. He thought about it, took out a lemon from the refrigerator, squeezed some lemon juice, added a little salt, poured water, and then handed the cup in his hand to Yan with a smile. "Rinse your mouth with this first. After dinner, Dad will take you to buy toothpaste, okay?" Yan nodded reluctantly and went into the bathroom with the cup given by her father. I took a sip and gurgled. "Wow, this tastes exactly like toothpaste." Yan rinsed her mouth, came out of the bathroom happily, and handed the cup to Jiang Cheng. "Dad, this water tastes great, Tilda." Jiang Cheng took the cup and put it on the table, then held the 2 babies in the dining chairs. "Hurry up and eat. After eating, we can go to the mall." Okay, Tilda." The 2 babies were extremely happy. "Mother, you slept late yesterday and just got up now." The 2 babies were almost done eating. Jiang Cheng greeted Mother Yi with a smile, then took the 2 babies to change clothes, and the 3 of them went out and headed towards CE Mall. There are a lot of people in the mall today. It seems like there is some kind of event going on. As soon as I entered the door, there was a group of people gathered not far away, and it looked very lively. Jiang Cheng has never been curious about these activities. He took his 2 children and prepared to go to the daily chemical area. Niu was a little curious when looking at the dense crowd. "Dad, let's go over and take a look." The little girl blinked and looked at Jiang Cheng, looking very cute. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Okay, I can only stay for a while. We are here to buy toothpaste today." "Okay, Dad, just take a look." 09 nodded obediently. Jiang Cheng really had no idea what to do with these two kids. He picked up the two babies, feeling both amused and helpless, and then walked towards the crowd. There were so many people that you couldn't see what was inside from outside. Jiang Cheng was standing outside and could only see one head after another, which made him feel helpless. Niu and Yanyan pouted. "Daddy, I can't see anything. What should I do?" An auntie nearby saw Jiang Cheng holding two children by himself and smiled at him. "This is a robot exhibition. There are many robots inside. It's quite lively. Why don't you squeeze in? The children will definitely love to see it." Robot exhibition. Jiang Cheng's eyes paused. He didn't expect that in this Sichuan city there would be an intelligent robot more powerful than his own. Judging from the aunt's tone and the number of people around her, this robot should be quite popular. Jiang Cheng was a little curious. At this moment, Yanyan was also very curious. After all, boys like these things. "Dad, there are robots in there. Let's go in quickly." "Good." Jiang Cheng had the same idea, so he reported the two meatballs to squeeze into the crowd. When he reached the innermost part, he placed the two treasures on the ground. The family of three looked towards the robot together. For a moment, the three of them were stunned. Niu pointed at the robot in the front in disbelief. "Dad, this one is ours." "Yes, it's ours," Yanyan also said. The two babies' tender voices attracted a lot of attention. After all, the two little guys were pretty. Seeing that everyone was looking at the kids, the host was worried that everyone was misled by the kids, so he smiled and said, "Little friends, don't talk nonsense. This is the latest product of Magia Company. Magia Company is about to hold a conference. The exhibition will be on Tuesday this week. Everyone is welcome to come and watch." The host's meaning was very clear. This robot was just brought here for everyone to see and to help promote the exhibition. If you want to see better, go to the exhibition. Hearing this, Niu was a little unconvinced. This girl's personality was somewhat similar to Yi Qingjiu. She walked over and said to the robot, "Hello, can you play the Rubik's Cube with me?" Playing with the Rubik's Cube is a program that Dad specially set up for Yanyan. She felt that this robot was her own. Jiang Cheng frowned this time. This robot might not be his own, but it looked like he had designed it. He also wanted to wait and see whether this robot was designed by himself. After hearing what Nano said, the robot responded, "My dear little master, it is my honor to play the Rubik's Cube with you." This sentence was exactly the same as what the robot at home said. Yanyan was very happy when she knew that the robot could play the Rubik's Cube. Niu remembered it very clearly, and even the answer was exactly the same. In an instant, Jiang Cheng concluded that the robot he developed had been plagiarized. But the imitation is exactly the same. There are only two possibilities. First, Boss Wang's employees sold the data to other technology companies. But most technology companies don't do this. Scientific research is different from other things. You can only apply for a patent once for the same thing. If the patent is applied for by someone else, you will be the only one who has to pay the money. Therefore, selling data and design drawings should be unlikely. Then there is only the second possibility. That is, Boss Wang wants to take advantage of this opportunity to make a fortune in advance. He has registered another company and started production using the name of another company. In this way, when Yuanan Technology produces them again, they will have already sold a batch in advance. In other words, they can perfectly avoid Jiang Cheng and get 100% profit. After all, Jiang Cheng is a shareholder of the company. Once the money is divided, 20% of the profit must be given to Jiang Cheng. Moreover, the technical support is still provided by Jiang Cheng, so 20% of the profit must be given to Jiang Cheng in this regard. That's 40%. Thinking of this, Jiang Cheng sneered. It is true that there is no businessman without dishonesty. He originally held a humble attitude towards technology, thinking that people working in technology should be highly educated. But now it seems that human nature is the same. Greedy. Look, this is my father's robot. Why does this robot have the function of playing Rubik's Cube? It's because my younger brother has liked Rubik's Cube since he was young. This robot is designed for my younger brother. Nano pointed at the robot and argued to the host. Although she is young, she is not stage frightened at all. When speaking in anger, one's thoughts are very clear. Seeing that Niu was young, the host was not angry at all and said patiently, "Little friend, it's not strange to have the same function. This doesn't prove anything. Do you understand?" "But they look exactly the same." Niu was still unconvinced. It was clearly something designed by their father and was stolen from his house, so she wants it back. Niu clenched her fists and wanted to argue, but Jiang Cheng came over, picked Niu up, and said softly, "This robot is definitely not ours. This person is just a person responsible for publicity. Calling him a host is actually a compliment. It is obvious that the manufacturer spent some money to have him help with promotion, so there is no point in arguing with him." And Jiang Cheng didn't want to alert the enemy. Hearing what his father said, Niu looked a little aggrieved. But Dad, Niu was a kid with very high emotional intelligence, but his actual IQ is far lower than that of Yan, who is the same age. Yan was also very clear that this was their family's. Even if it wasn't, it was made by her father. But since her father didn't say anything, there must be something that was inconvenient to say. Yan came over and looked at Niu, who was held by Jiang Cheng. "Sister, you are wrong. Let's go buy some toothpaste, otherwise I will really have no use for it." After hearing this, Jiang Cheng became even more certain that Yan had a very high IQ. "I'm afraid this child's IQ is almost as high as mine now. My scalp tingles just thinking about it." Hearing Yan say this, Niu began to doubt herself. After all, Yan was not only her younger brother, but also her best friend. Niu lowered his head as if he had done something wrong. "Okay, Dad, maybe I made a mistake, but it's really exactly the same." To be honest, Jiang Cheng felt really distressed seeing the child like this. "But if you want to find out the real culprit behind this, you can't alert the enemy." He touched Niu's head and said, "Indeed, they look alike. My Niu behaves very well. Let's go and buy some lollipops." Niu was very happy when he heard that there were lollipops to eat. She nodded. "Okay, then my brother and I will each have one." A family of 3 walked out of the crowd. Jiang Cheng took them to buy toothpaste and lollipops before turning back to the car. Along the way, the 2 babies sat quietly in the back seat and ate lollipops. When they got home, Mother Yi was sitting in the garden chatting with Mother Zhang. The 2 kids saw their grandmother and ran over with a smile on their faces. "Grandma, Grandma." The voice is so soft and sweet, and it sounds so nice. Mother Yi's heart melted. "My dears, can Grandma take you to the park this afternoon?" When they heard about going to the park, the 2 babies said in unison, "Okay." Jiang Cheng smiled and walked over. "That's great. I'll leave the child to you and Aunt Zhang this afternoon. I still have to go to the company." "Oh, no problem. Then you and Sake can come back for dinner tonight. Mom has learned a few local dishes from your grandmother recently, and I'll serve you some." "Yeah," Jiang Cheng nodded. After saying that, he turned around, got into the car, and headed towards Yaochen. On the way, Jiang Cheng called Sun Ming, confirmed that he was in the company, and asked him to go to his office to wait for him. His tone was not very good, so Sun Ming was quite scared at the moment. After hanging up the phone, he went to his office. As soon as Jiang Cheng arrived at the office, Sun Ming asked hurriedly, "What's wrong? Why are you in such a bad mood today?" You know, Jiang Cheng always smiles no matter how difficult the situation is. Today is the first time for him to do so. The robot was plagiarized, and the other party is called Jiame Technology. I now suspect that it is another technology company registered by Boss Wang himself, Jiang Cheng said as he walked to his desk and sat down. To be honest, he wasn't as angry as he is now when King of Glory was copied. This is a gift from him to his children. It is obviously exactly the same, but we have to tell the children that it is not like that. From a father's perspective, Jiang Cheng was really angry. Hearing this, Sun Ming's face turned ugly. He was the one who introduced Boss Wang to Jiang Cheng. Now that something like this had happened, he could not escape the blame. "Mr. Jiang, I'm sorry, it's my vision that's wrong." In fact, he and Boss Wang didn't have a very deep friendship. Since they were from different industries, they could only be considered casual acquaintances. Jiang Cheng curled his lips and said, "It's not your fault. I was only concerned about the company's strength and didn't consider the character of Boss Wang." Sun Ming sighed. "What should we do now?" Boss Wang said that the new machine would be available in 15 days, which I thought was very strange. Now it seems that there is indeed a problem. He is trying to gain time advantage over us. It seems that they only took 2 days to make the new robot, and it was launched on the market ahead of schedule. This was clearly planned in advance. Probably from the first time Jiang Cheng gave him the design and the program, he had already thought about making money. Jiang Cheng thought about it and decided that this matter was both easy and difficult to handle. He called Secretary Li and asked him to check when this Magia Technology Company was registered, who the legal representative was, and who the shareholders were. After arranging all this, he looked at Sun Ming and said, "Let's go. We still have to go meet Boss Wang." Chapter 196. Hello. I am the one collecting property fees. The two got in the car and headed towards Yuanan Technology. The weather has turned cold recently, and the road is covered with yellow leaves. Jiang Cheng looked at the fallen leaves and frowned, thinking, "Call Boss Wang and tell him that we are going over now. Ask if he is in the office. I want to go over and check on the progress." Hearing this, Sun Ming frowned. Calling at this time, wouldn't that be giving advance notice? Then Boss Wang will definitely say that he is not there. And there is a high possibility that they will make an appointment, which will put you in a passive position. That's not good. Sun Ming looked hesitant. Let's fight him. We just want him to hide. We can go to the technical department and maybe we can find out something. If he takes us there, what do you think we can find out? Hearing this, Sun Ming's eyes lit up. What a good idea. He suddenly realized something and took out his cell phone from his pocket, opened the address book, found Boss Wang's number and dialed it. Boss Wang is indeed not at Yuan & Company now. He is currently busy at Magia Company working on new products. Jiang Cheng guessed correctly. Magia Company was a new company registered by Boss Wang, but it used his wife's name. In this way, he could pretend to be unaware of it. As long as the speed is fast enough, we can definitely make money before Yuan & Company's robots are launched on the market. Moreover, once Magia's reputation is established, Yuan's robots will not have much effect even if they are put on the market. In this way, all the profits of the robot can be put into its own pocket without anyone noticing. He had just come out of the technical department when he received a call from Sun Ming. Boss Wang sneered. "Hey, Mr. Sun, what brings you here?" Sun Ming smiled and said, "That's right, Mr. Wang. Mr. Jiang and I are going to go over and see how the development of the new product is going. I wonder if you are there now." "Oh, I see. My child was not feeling well today, so I did not go to the company and stayed at home with him." Boss Wang lied without blinking. Sun Ming turned on the loudspeaker, so Jiang Cheng could hear it clearly. He sneered and asked, "Taking care of children. What a good excuse. He really did a good job maintaining his image as a good father. I wonder how his children would feel if they knew his father was this kind of person." Sun Ming knew that he would avoid meeting him. "Then let's do this. Mr. Jiang and I will go over to take a look. You just stay at home and spend time with the children." According to normal practice, Jiang Cheng and the others would definitely not go if Boss Wang was not there. After all, Jiang Cheng was just a shareholder, and he didn't know much about other things, so he needed Boss Wang to introduce him. Unexpectedly, the two of them still wanted to go. Boss Wang didn't understand, but he was still very enthusiastic. "How about we do it another day? After all, I'm not here, and you are not familiar with many things." Jiang Cheng was determined to go, so Sun Ming naturally listened to Jiang Cheng. He smiled and said, "It's okay, we'll just take a look around, mainly to see the progress, and then leave." Boss Wang didn't expect that these two people would be so persistent and refuse to back down. It seemed that he had no choice but to go there as well. Otherwise, if someone let the cat out of the bag, it would be troublesome. "How about this? I'll go over right now, so it won't be convenient for you to ask anything or get any information." Hearing that he was going, Jiang Cheng shook his head. "How could such a good thing happen? I'm calling just to prevent you from going." Sun Ming only took a glance at Jiang Cheng's face and understood what he needed to say and smiled immediately. "That won't do. We are all fathers. How can we be so ignorant of the ways of the world? Children are the apple of our father's eye. You should stay at home and take good care of them. Otherwise, our President Jiang will feel so guilty." Hearing this, Boss Wang on the other end of the phone looked embarrassed. He now regretted using the child as an excuse. "It's okay, it's just a minor illness. I'll be there right away." Boss Wang forced a smile. Hearing this, Sun Ming teased, "Hey, Boss Wang, let me tell you it's not easy to raise a child. Although career is important, children are more important. Besides, we are just visiting casually. Your child is sick and you still come to accompany us. Are you worried about us?" Boss Wang couldn't refute what was said, so he just smiled and said, "How is that possible? I don't trust anyone, and it's impossible for me not to trust Boss Jiang." "Well, that's it. I'll call my secretary now and ask her to pick you up. It will be more convenient if she takes you with her. Now I can only put my hope on my secretary. After all, she is my own person. I can feel at ease with her around." "Okay, then it's settled." Sun Ming did not refuse. After hanging up the phone, Boss Wang immediately called his secretary and asked her to inform the people in the technical department in advance that the data about Kiki people had not been given to anyone. "You must give good notice. Otherwise, once the Magia robot is on the market, you will be the first person to be suspected, and you might even end up in jail." Of course, the secretary understood the situation and went to the R&D department immediately after hanging up the phone. Boss Wang was now sitting in the office of Magia Company and began to think carefully. In fact, he had originally not recommended the research and development of robots because they were flashy and impractical. But I didn't expect that Jiang Cheng's improvements over time have led to the robot being able to fully serve as a family nanny and also provide first aid, which is amazing. How many families have elderly and young children? The parents go out to work and leave the young ones to the elderly. Both of them are the most important in the family, so as soon as robots are on the market now, they will definitely be snapped up crazily. Boss Wang is a very cunning man. He has a clear understanding of the market demand over the years. How could he miss such a good opportunity to make money? One robot costs tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of yuan. If he could produce a batch of them himself, the sales could be tens of millions or even hundreds of millions. Especially since he is so short of money now, there is no way he would share the money with Jiang Cheng. As long as he waits for the first batch of robots to successfully enter the market and make some money, he can use the money to buy back Jiang Cheng's shares. In this way, you don't have to pay a penny, and you get the technology to make robots for free, and all future profits will be yours. As long as he plays his tricks well, then Jiang Cheng will be the only one who suffers the loss of getting something for nothing. 3 minutes later, Jiang Cheng's Phantom drove into the underground garage of Yuan and Company. Jiang Cheng drove very fast because he knew that Boss Wang might have already started greeting him, and if he didn't hurry up, he might get nothing. As soon as I got off the car, I saw Boss Wang's secretary Wen Ping walking towards me with a smile. She was wearing a smart OL outfit and had charming big wavy hair. "Mr. Jiang, Mr. Sun, you two are here." She greeted them with a smile. Although Secretary Wen is only in her early 20s, she is very smart, which is why Boss Wang chose her as his secretary. Smart and pretty. "Hello, Secretary Wen," Sun Ming greeted with a smile. "I wonder what you two want to see today, or what direction you are going in. I will notify everyone in the department to come to work and fully cooperate." Secretary Wen smiled, and his kindness was simply amazing. Everyone knew that this was just official rhetoric, but his words reminded Jiang Cheng that she might have given all the useful people holidays. In fact, there are only a few useful people, and they are all small leaders, such as department managers. The rest of the people know nothing and just have to do whatever their leader says. Let's take a look at the R&D department. As Sun Ming was speaking, an Audi sped out of the garage. Jiang Cheng subconsciously looked at the license plate. It was very easy to remember. Sichuan A0525. It seemed that this was the person he really wanted to meet today. The owner of this car is definitely the one who understands the whole story and gave the data to Boss Wang. It is more likely that this Magia robot was made by him. Jiang Cheng was afraid that he would forget, so he took out his cell phone and sent the license plate number in his mind to Secretary Li. Then he pretended to answer the phone and walked away. He called Secretary Li. Secretary Li had just finished checking the information of the whole company when he received a call from Jiang Cheng. "Hello, Mr. Jiang. The information of Magia Company has been found and will be sent to your mobile phone now." "Okay, find me the owner of the license plate number. I want to see him. Ask him to check the owner of the license plate number immediately." Secretary Li hung up the phone with a bitter look on his face, feeling that he was not a secretary but probably a detective. She shook her head and went to the IT department. With technology so advanced nowadays, it is not difficult to find a car owner. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng came back and said, "I'm sorry, Secretary Wen, our company suddenly had an urgent matter, and I have to deal with it right away." Sun Ming looked at Jiang Cheng in confusion. Is this guy crazy? At this moment, you don't go up to take a look but instead leave. Are you not going to give the finishing touch? Is that so? Then you go ahead and do your work. I think it would be better if President Wang comes back some other day and he can personally entertain you. This will show more respect. Secretary Wen smiled. I secretly breathed a sigh of relief. I don't want to entertain him. If something happens, Mr. Wang will blame me and I will have to bear the consequences. It would be safer for me if this guy leaves. See you next time, Jiang Cheng said and got in the car. Although Sun Ming didn't understand what Jiang Cheng was doing, he had no choice but to follow him. The car drove out of the underground parking lot. Sun Ming was a little confused. You came all the way here and called to notify us, but why didn't you go up when you got to the door? Jiang Cheng glanced at the fallen leaves on the roadside and smiled confidently. No need to go anymore. Did you see the Audi just now? How could Sun Ming not see it? The high beam was on in the underground garage, so dazzling it was obvious that it was a female driver. Of course I saw it. What's the matter? He should be a very important person. As long as we find him, the truth will be revealed. Hearing this, Sun Ming frowned. What do you mean? Jiang Chenggu curled his lips and asked, what time is it now? 10 o'clock. Who would leave the company at this time? Sun Ming frowned. If he went out at this time, he would probably be a vice president or at least a department manager or something. This is because salespeople basically punch out and leave early in the morning, while other employees will not leave until the end of the day, and their wages will be deducted. Only vice president or manager. He has privileges, can leave whenever he wants and drives an Audi, so he is most likely a manager. Because most of the vice presidents started their careers at BMW. Okay, this guy is probably a manager, but he left right after we arrived. It feels like he's deliberately avoiding us. Seeing that he finally got the idea, Jiang Cheng nodded. He was hiding from us on purpose, and he just received the news, so he was just one step ahead of us. Sun Ming said seriously, investigate him. You tell me. Jiang Cheng handed the phone to Sun Ming. Help me read it, it's inconvenient to drive. Sun Ming took the phone reluctantly and clicked on Secretary Lee's new message. Should I hear from GMA Technology first or the license plate number? Jiang Cheng rolled his eyes at him. What's the order? Of course, I listened to them all. Sun Ming began to read. The legal representative of GMA Company is Wu GMA. The company was founded in 2021 with a registered capital of 30 million. The owner of the license plate is surnamed Hu Shanshan, 29 years old, a PhD from Tsinghua University. Oh my God, a PhD from Tsinghua University, so knowledgeable. Sun Ming's eyes lit up. Secretary Lee even sent you a photo. You look good. Read the address, Jiang Cheng said impatiently. No matter how pretty you are, can you be as pretty as his wife? He who has seen roses does not like wild flowers. Lingdong Xinxiandi Apartment, Changming Road, Building 2, 24th floor, 201. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng opened the navigation and went straight to Hu Shanshan's home. Just now, at Yuan & Company, Hu Shanshan was working, and Secretary Wen came in hurriedly and asked her to leave work at midnight, but did not tell her why. She was just following the instructions. After all, only a fool would not be happy about giving herself a holiday. Because Jiamei and Yuan both belonged to Boss Wang. When Boss Wang asked Hu Shanshan for data and design drawings, Hu Shanshan handed them over without thinking. Who dares not listen to the boss? But they didn't know that Jiang Cheng didn't know about this either. After all, Jiang Cheng was also a shareholder, and all the funds for the robot this time were transferred from Yaochan Company. If she knew, she would not give it away directly. After all, she is a shareholder. If she sued me, I would be in trouble. It can be said that Hu Shanshan was completely unaware of this. She parked her car in the parking space and went home to rest. Just as she changed into pajamas, put on an eye mask, and lay on the bed, she heard a sound of tricks. Who is it? Hu Shanshan asked impatiently. Property management. It's time to pay this year's property management fee. There was a hint of ruffian in Sun Ming's voice. But it does sound a bit like real estate. Jiang Cheng felt that she was a single woman after all, and it would be inappropriate for him to knock on the door. So he handed this difficult task to Sun Ming. Sun Ming had a look of helplessness on his face. But as the old saying goes, a higher-ranking official can crush people to death. So I thought about pretending to be a property owner. Hasn't it been harvested? Hu Shanshan came over angrily and opened the door. Is there something wrong with this property? As soon as the door opened, Sun Ming looked at him with a smile. Hello, I'm Sun Ming from Yaochan. Chapter 197, Take off your clothes before leaving. Hearing this, Hu Shanshan frowned and her eyes widened. So what do you want to talk to me about? Why do you want to pretend to be a property manager? I have nothing to do with Yaochan. Sun Ming didn't want to pretend to be some shitty property manager. He had no choice but to do it because there was Jiang Cheng behind him, watching him in the corner. He smiled unhappily. It's like this. I remember talking about our Yaochan investing in your yuanen at the last meeting, so you should know about it, right? Hearing this, Hu Shanshan thought about it carefully, and it seemed to be true. She folded her hands and said, I know, isn't that the stock your chairman has invested in? What does it have to do with you? Then do you know that this robot was actually invested by us at Yaochan? Sun Ming continued. Hu Shanshan looked puzzled and said, What does this have to do with me? Then she was about to close the door. Seeing that the person was about to leave, Sun Ming couldn't reach out to pull him away, so he had to squeeze his foot into the crack of the door. Then he said in pain, Hey, you pinched my foot. Hu Shanshan was startled and quickly let go of the door. How could you hide when you see someone closing the door? To be honest, Hu Shanshan is quite pretty. Sun Ming couldn't help but take a closer look. No, this is a broken bone. We need to go in and talk. After saying that, he went into the other person's house. Hey, 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 stop running around. You didn't change your shoes. Hu Shanshan was overwhelmed at the moment. This was the first time a man broke into her house like this and was so rude. Sun Ming sat on the sofa and looked at Hu Shanshan with a smile. Oh, I'm so sorry. Look, it's all my fault. My foot was pinched a little bit just now. I can't walk now. I can only sit for a while, sorry. Hu Shanshan has never seen such a shameless person. She frowned. What's the matter? Sun Ming was on the phone with Jiang Cheng the whole time, so Jiang Cheng could hear both of their voices clearly. At this moment, he was almost dying of laughter in the corridor. I didn't expect Sun Ming would know this trick. What a shameless guy. Sun Ming's voice came from the phone. Since you asked this, I will tell you the truth. Your President Wang may have violated the law, you know. We bought shares for the robot, 20% of the shares. Our President Jiang is not only a shareholder, he also made the robot, programmed it, and designed it. Now the same robot has appeared in Jiame Company and is preparing to hold a conference. But Yuan and Company told us that the robot has not yet been produced. If we go to the court and see what happens, do you know the consequences? After Sun Ming finished speaking, he gave Hu Shanshan a meaningful smile. Hu Shanshan was horrified. Brother, I'm just a small manager. Is it useful for you to tell me this? Besides, I'm just responsible for backing up the things and handing them over to the boss. I didn't know that he hadn't discussed it with Mr. Jiang. After that, he added, this Magia is also Mr. Wang's company. I am his employee. It is natural for employees to work for their bosses. Of course it's natural, as long as you admit that you made robots for the Mei family. Sun Ming continued to smile. I admit it. Hu Shanshan is not stupid. The twists and turns here may really be different from what she had thought before, especially since Sun Ming said so. Maybe Mr. Wang himself wants to make a profit by listing another company. Hu Shanshan didn't want to get involved in the disputes between them, so she made things clear and explained it again openly. In this way, even if Sun Ming and others want to sue, it will not have much to do with me. At most, I can be a witness. Sun Ming didn't expect things to go so smoothly. Hu Shanshan didn't hide anything at all. Thinking about his own shameless tactics just now, he felt a little embarrassed. He took out his business card and placed it on the table. Well, Ms. Hu, this is my business card. If you need any help, you can contact me anytime in the future. I won't bother you anymore, Sun Ming said, then stood up and walked towards the door. Hu Shanshan looked at Sun Ming, with a lot of complaints in her heart but nowhere to vent them. She couldn't let this man get away with it for nothing. Wait, I need your help right now. Sun Ming didn't expect that he would be asked to help right now. He looked at Hu Shanshan with curiosity. What do you need me to do for you? I need you to mop the floor in the living room. Jiang Cheng heard Hu Shanshan's voice very clearly on the phone and almost died of laughter. This girl is really talented. Gao Zhai is indeed not to be trifled with. Fortunately, I didn't go in. Otherwise, I would have been really embarrassed if she asked me to mop the floor. Sun Ming's face turned dark when he looked at Hu Shanshan. This. He would never have thought that Hu Shanshan would actually ask her to mop the floor. What the hell is this? But after all, Sun Ming came uninvited, so people didn't let him in. Thinking of this, Sun Ming gritted his teeth and said, just mop it. Where is the mop? I'll get it. Hu Shanshan originally wanted to piss off Sun Ming, but now that he agreed so readily, she felt a little embarrassed. She pursed her lips and said, forget it, go away and don't come to my house next time. Is this woman sick? It was he who asked me to mop the floor, and it was also he who asked me to walk. Who doesn't have a temper? Sun Ming took a deep breath and said, bathroom, right? I'll get it and take it off for you before you leave. After Sun Ming finished speaking, he began to look for the bathroom. Hu Shanshan's eyes widened. She was anxious. Why does this person not play by the rules? There are some underwear hanging in the bathroom that I haven't had time to collect yet. No, please go quickly. She looked at Sun Ming nervously. Sun Ming had no idea what was in her bathroom. He had already located it and was about to go in to get the mop. Seeing that he was going to the bathroom, Hu Shanshan grabbed Sun Ming's arm and said, why are you like this? I told you not to go. Why are you still going in? This is my home. Do you believe I can sue you for trespassing? Hu Shanshan's hands were soft and a little cold. Sun Ming's heart skipped a beat when he was grabbed like this. No, sorry, he said and hurried out. Sun Ming's wife has been dead for several years, and Tang Tang has been without a mother. His mother kept urging him, but Sun Ming never thought of looking for another one. But when he caught sight of this girl, he suddenly felt his heart beating. When Hu Shanshan saw him leave, she quickly closed the door and patted her chest, thinking, luckily, he didn't go into the bathroom. When they reached the corridor, Jiang Cheng came out with a smile on his face. I didn't realize you were so capable. I told you that this kind of thing should be handled by you. Sun Ming rolled his eyes at him and asked, Did you hear everything I just said? He was in no mood to joke with Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng was not deaf and he heard it clearly. He nodded seriously. I heard it clearly. Okay, I heard it clearly. Sun Ming breathed a sigh of relief. I really don't have the courage to see this girl a second time. I heard her tell you to clean the floor. Jiang Cheng looked at him with a smile. Sun Ming was almost mad. I think you did it on purpose. I now have reason to suspect that you two already know each other and you are just teasing me on purpose. No, if I wanted to meet him, I would just go there myself. Why would I bother you? As they were talking, the two had already arrived at the parking lot. Sun Ming glanced at Hu Shanshan's Audi before getting into Jiang Cheng's car. Now the situation is very clear. Jiang Cheng has just recorded the audio. With this recording, it can be fully proved that Mr. Wang deliberately cheated and wanted to get something for nothing. This already involves infringement of other people's patents. If he were to sue him, Mr. Wang would probably have to pay a fine. What do you think? Should we sue him? Sun Ming asked while sitting in the passenger seat. No, let's wait until Meijia Company's exhibition is successfully held first, Jiang Cheng said confidently. Only after the exhibition is held and the product is launched on the market can I prove that he has stolen other people's patents. Then I will go to him with evidence, threaten him first, and then take the opportunity to make him transfer Meijia technology to me. By then, Meijia will be his, the robot will be his, and all his previous publicity will be a good preparation for himself. Why not go through legal procedures? Because if you take legal means, you will never get Meijia Company. 20% of the shares, changing to another company, and having your own robot listed on the market. It seems like a good deal no matter how you think about it. Thinking about this, the two of them returned to the company. At around 6 o'clock in the afternoon, Jiang Cheng went to Tengsing. After all, Mother Yi said she would cook hometown food for them today. My mother-in-law has specifically reminded me to do this, so I have to obey her. After pouring Tang Xing, Yi Qingjiu was getting angry because of all the things that went beyond the plan. As soon as Jiang Chengkai went upstairs, he heard Yi Qingjiu's voice from a distance, and remembered that last time at the Duluo dinner, someone said that he was a fire extinguisher. Jiang Cheng stopped silently again and sat down on the sofa not far from the meeting room. Right now, Duluo has been successfully broadcast, and the results are very good. According to Jiang Cheng's budget of 1 billion viewership, there should be no problem. However, Duluo Dalu has become popular, so I am afraid I will have to be busy to make the game while the popularity is high. In this way, the TV series is another wave of free advertising. Once the Duluo game is released, Tengsing will be able to make a steady profit. However, the system did not give him the skills of the Duluo game. He could not take shortcuts this time and had to do it seriously. Just as he was thinking, Yi Qingjiu stopped talking and said, Okay, today's meeting ends here. You all should think about it carefully when you go back. Yes, Mr. Yi. Hula hula. The sound of chairs being moved came from the conference room. Then a dozen people walked out of the conference room. Jiang Cheng saw that the meeting was over, so he stood up and walked towards the meeting room. Yi Qingjiu was very angry. When he saw Jiang Cheng, he remembered the teasing at the last Duluo filming wrap-up banquet and his face darkened. Why are you here? Who called you here? She hasn't forgotten about this. Who is talking behind her back every day? She is the president of Tengsing. Doesn't she have any dignity? Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. Want to hear the truth? Yi Qingjiu nodded. She was feeling unhappy. If she knew who it was, she would have to teach him a lesson and correct the atmosphere. Hurry up and tell me, let me see who is so brave. Yi Qingjiu raised his hand with a cold look on his face, looking like someone who is not easy to mess with. Jiang Cheng burst out laughing. What will you do to her if I tell you? How about it? Deduct wages. If you don't repent, you will be fired. Hurry up and tell us, this kind of person must not be let off easily. Yi Qingjiu had already thought of a way to deal with these people who told tales. It's our mother, the great Ms. Zhang. Jiang Cheng smiled. So how are you going to deal with her? How can you not let her off easily? Coconut Chicken was stunned for a moment. What the hell was going on? Jiang Cheng smiled and said, Mom said she learned a special dish from Grandma and asked us to go back early. Hearing about the specialty, Yi Qingjiu became very hungry. Her favorite dish was the bamboo shoots wrapped in meat made by her grandmother. The fragrance of the bamboo shoots and the soft and glutinous meat, well, it was simply too delicious. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go back now. Yi Qingjiu's mind was full of bamboo shoots wrapped in meat, and he couldn't wait to have a bite of it. The two people went downstairs and got into the car. In the car, Yi Qingjiu recalled the scene of her grandmother cooking when she was a child. Every time she was hungry, her mother would say, "Wait a minute, Grandma will be back soon, Tilda." Mother Yi has never been able to cook. Like Yi Qingjiu, whenever this mother and daughter go into the kitchen, it is bound to be a disaster. In addition, Yi En is well off and the family has a nanny, so Mother Yi gave up cooking. I didn't expect that this time my mother actually learned how to cook. It must be because the last time I went to my grandma's house, I said I liked the food her cooked. Thinking of this, Yi Qingjiu felt warm in his heart. See, time really solves most of the troubles. At that time, she was afraid that her two children would be bullied and discriminated against because they had no father. But later, Jiang Cheng appeared in front of him so miraculously. At that time, she thought her mother really didn't love her anymore, but she didn't expect that her mother actually learned to cook for her. It was autumn chill outside the window. Yi Qingjiu wrapped himself up in clothes and smiled knowingly. What was supposed to come has finally come. As they were thinking, they drove the car past the villa in the middle of the lake, entered the garage, parked the car, and then the two got out of the car. Yi Qingjiu took out the key and opened the door. When I opened the door, a childhood fragrance wafted out, as if bringing back childhood memories. It instantly penetrated into Yi Qingjiu's head. The two babies saw Yi Qingjiu coming back and happily rushed towards them. Nano held their hands and said, "Dad, Mom, Grandma cooked a delicious meal today, Tilda." Yanyan also agreed. The food Grandma cooked was so delicious that his mouth was swollen. He sipped it and said, "Mom, can you ask Grandma to give Niu and me a taste first? Just a small bite." Looking at Yanyan's little appearance, Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, "Why are you still shy in front of your grandma? Why don't you go and ask for it yourself?" Hearing Yi Qingjiu's words, Niu felt very aggrieved. "Mom, Grandma said that no one can eat first before Mom comes back." What does this mean? What happened to Mom today? Doesn't she love her two babies very much? Chapter 198, Yi Qingjiu's Wish. Hearing the voices, Mother Yi came out of the kitchen and looked at the two of them with a smile. "Are you back? Mom, what day is today?" Yi Qingjiu's eyes were a little suspicious. She always felt that today should be a special day. Hearing this, Zhang Ma couldn't stand it anymore. "Qingjiu, today is your mother's birthday. How come you can't even remember your mother's birthday?" Hearing what Aunt Zhang said, Yi Qingjiu's face turned a little ugly. It was actually her mother's birthday. Because he had not lived with his mother since he was a child, Yi Qingjiu had no impression of his mother's birthday. She looked at Mother Yi with some guilt. "Mom, why didn't you tell me earlier?" Mother Yi smiled and said, "What's there to say? I'm old now and I'm not as young as you guys. I still have to celebrate my birthday. The older I get, the more I dread my birthday." The two little guys were always very smart. When they heard it was Grandma's birthday, they came over. Niu looked at Mother Yi, blinking her eyes with a serious expression. "Grandma, squat down." Mother Yi looked at the little girl's cute expression and squatted down to cooperate. "What's the matter?" Niu stretched out his little hands to hold his grandmother's face and kissed her. "Happy birthday, Grandma." Yanyan leaned over and kissed her on the left cheek. "May Grandma live a long life." The two babies' mouths looked as if they were covered with honey. Mother Yi was extremely happy. Okay, Grandma will try to become an old goblin." After hearing what Yi's mother said, Yi Qingjiu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Mom, what are you talking about?" Okay, let's eat." Mother Yi sat at the table with a smile. Jiang Cheng didn't know when Mother Yi's birthday was, so he didn't have any gifts. He was now thinking about what gift to give Mother Yi, but at home, all they had were wine and tea, and these things were definitely not suitable to give to Mother Yi. He thought about it for a long time. Mother Yi was an artist and was probably more interested in calligraphy and painting. Last time he gave her a painting of her, Yi Qingjiu and their two children. This time I would like to draw a picture of her when she was young, with young Yi Qingjiu next to her. The mother and daughter were rarely together and hardly spent any time together during their childhood. This painting may make up for some of those regrets. Okay, that's settled. We'll take action after dinner. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu was already sitting at the dining table with her two babies in her arms. Mother Yi looked at Mother Zhang and said, "Don't be polite. Let's eat together. After so many years, I still want to thank you for taking such good care of my daughter." Aunt Zhang looked at her with a smile. "Madam, don't be polite. This is what I should do." The family sat at the table and started to eat. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu felt really unhappy. She didn't even remember her mother's birthday, and she even wanted her to cook for herself. I am really too ignorant. Seeing that she was looking down with her head, thinking about something, Mother Yi put some vegetables into her bowl with an especially gentle look in her eyes. Eat quickly, this is your favorite food when you were a child. Mom didn't know how to make it before, but now she especially learned it. I just don't know if our Kingjiu still likes to eat this now that he has grown up. Yi Kingjiu was already feeling uncomfortable, and when he looked up, he met his mother's gaze, and he couldn't help but feel his eyes starting to ache. She sniffed, how could that be? I like to eat it even when I grow up. After saying that, he put the food his mother picked up into his mouth. Although it's not as delicious as my grandma's, it has a different flavor. This is probably the taste of my mother. How is it? Is it delicious? Mother Yi looked at her with a smile. Yi Qingjiu's beautiful eyes were glowing red at this moment, with the light in her eyes sparkling, making her look extremely beautiful. It's delicious. Her voice was muffled and trembling. When Jiang Cheng heard this voice, he knew that the girl was probably about to cry. A hand stretched out from under the table and placed on Yi Qingjiu's hand. After being grabbed by someone, Yi Qingjiu finally came out of her sadness. She glanced at Jiang Cheng and asked, "What are you doing?" Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. "Eat quickly, we will be busy later." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu frowned. "Is this guy sick? It's Mom's birthday, and he actually said he was busy." She looked at Jiang Cheng with an angry look on her face. "You go and do your work. I have nothing to do today. I want to accompany my mother." Hearing this, Jiang Cheng looked helpless. "You girl, you are really." Hearing that they were going to be busy, Yi's mother hurriedly said, "Hurry up and eat and then go do your own things. I'm old now and I really don't want to celebrate my birthday. I'll be happy if we just have a meal together. Grandma's cooking is so delicious." Nu's little face was greasy from eating. Yanyan still had a piece of rice in her mouth. "That's right, Grandma's cooking is almost as good as Dad's." Looking at the two well-behaved children, the four adults at the table couldn't help but laugh. After dinner, Jiang Cheng wanted to pull Yi Qingjiu into the house. Yi Qingjiu was still angry about what he had just said, and didn't want to go with him at all. Jiang Cheng looked helpless, and just at this moment Mother Yi got up to wash her hands. Seeing that Yi's mother had left, Jiang Cheng poked Yi Qingjiu and said, "Wife, I find that you are easily impulsive. You got anxious before I even finished speaking." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu glared at him. "That's my mother, how can I not be anxious? You clearly know that I didn't buy her a gift and you didn't even want to spend a little time with her. She will definitely be sad." Jiang Cheng smiled, leaned over and whispered in her ear everything he had just thought. After hearing Jiang Cheng's plan, the girl widened her eyes, and her pair of bright and shining phoenix eyes were particularly endearing. "I have photos in the study, let's go look for them." After saying that, he took Jiang Cheng's hand and went to the study on the second floor. After entering the study, she took out a photo album from the bookcase. Judging from the appearance of the album, it must be quite old. She carefully opened the photo album, which contained some photos of her and Yi-En, as well as some photos of herself, but there were no photos of Yi's mother. Jiang Cheng looked at her with embarrassment. "That won't do. We need a photo of our mother when she was young. He is only good at drawing, but his imagination is not good. Mother Yi is now over 50 years old, and there must be some changes compared to when she was young." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu smiled. "Why are you in such a hurry? I'm just showing you mine first. There's a photo of my mother at home. I'll find it right away." After saying that, Yi Qingjiu walked to the bookcase and started looking for it. Jiang Cheng looked at the photo of Yi Qingjiu when she was a child. It seemed that it was taken in the park. She was wearing a princess dress with 2 pigtails. Her eyes were as bright as stars, and there was a red dot on her head. She was holding a doll in her hand and looked very cute. The time on the photo shows June 1st, so it looks like this girl went to the park to celebrate Children's Day. Turning the page, it was at the school gate. The little girl should be in elementary school. She was wearing a school uniform and a ponytail, and she was waving her hands towards someone across the street. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but guess that this was probably Yi Qingjiu's father picking her up from school. Just as he was about to read more, Yi Qingjiu came over with a thick copy of Zizhai Tongjian. She put the book on the table and began to flip through it seriously. Jiang Cheng looked curious. "Whose book is this?" Yi Qingjiu replied as he flipped through the book. "This book belongs to my father. When I was a child, he burned all the photos of my mother because he was afraid that I would be sad if I saw them. But he secretly hid one of them, and it's in this book." After saying this, her eyes lit up, and she took out an old photo from the book. "Look, this is it." Jiang Cheng looked at the photo carefully, and was surprised to find that Yi Qingjiu's beauty was inherited from her mother. but the latter's beauty was more noble and cold. It seems even more sacred and inviolable. Jiang Cheng took the photo with satisfaction and sat on the easel by the window. Yi Qingju helped him turn on the light because he was afraid of the bad lighting. Jiang Cheng looked at the white paper in front of him. Qingju, what do you most want you and your mother to do together? Yi Qingju frowned when she heard this. In fact, she had always had a fantasy that her mother would pick her up after school like other parents. Then he took off his school bag, touched his head, and said, My Qingju, you have worked hard today. This has been her dream for more than 10 years. It is strange that this scene, which has never appeared in reality, often appears in her dreams. Even now, she always dreams of her mother looking at her with a smile, and then helping her take off her school bag. This is probably what people mean by thinking about it day and night. I want my mother to pick me up from school once. Her eyelashes trembled, but when she spoke, Jiang Chengyu felt a moment of sadness. Good. He agreed and picked up the pen. You know your own wife best. Jiang Cheng was drawing skillfully on the paper, and Yi Qingju was sitting on the sofa watching him. Half an hour passed, and Jiang Cheng stopped painting. A picture of Mother Yi picking up Xiaoi Qingju from school appears on the paper. In the painting, Mother Yi is holding Yi Qingju's school bag in one hand and stroking her little head with the other hand. The doting in her eyes could not be hidden. Xiaoi Qingju was looking up at her mother and smiling, and it was obvious that she was very happy. When Yi Qingju saw this painting, tears fell uncontrollably. But at this moment, my heart was beating especially strongly. There is a feeling that it is finally complete. She wiped her tears and sniffed her red nose. Thank you, Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng held her in his arms and said, Silly wife, you really don't have to thank me. After saying that, he helped Yi Qingju wipe the tears from her face. Wet. He smiled and said, Let's go and give this painting to Mom. Yi Qingju nodded heavily. Yeah. The two of them went downstairs. Mother Yi was now sitting on the sofa in the living room playing with her two babies. She looked very kind. Aunt Zhang was washing pots in the kitchen. The sound of running water was heard. Jiang Cheng walked up to Yi's mother and said, Mom, this is your birthday present. I hope you like it. After saying that, he opened the painting in his hand. The next second when Mother Yi saw the painting, she was completely stunned. After a moment, a pair of somewhat old eyes flashed with a faint light. She walked over and touched Yi Qingju in the painting. This is Qingju when she was little. Your painting is so similar. Yi Qingju smiled and said, Mom, this is when you were young. I didn't expect that Mom was so beautiful when she was young. Mother Yi looked at the scene and couldn't help but feel deeply moved. Yi Qingju is his own child, and there is no parent who does not want to pick up his or her child at the school gate after school. But I haven't been there. How could she not want to go? This painting not only fulfilled Yi Qingju's wish, but also fulfilled Yi's mother's wish. She stroked the painting repeatedly with her hands. It's really well drawn. It's really beautiful. The two babies saw their grandmother and their parents looking at the painting and ran over. Nuo tilted his head and looked at his grandmother. Grandma, is this you? Mother Yi smiled and said, Of course it's me. Nuo pointed at Yi Qingju in the painting seriously and said, So, this person is my mother. Yi Qingju nodded, Yes, it's Mom. Yanyan looked at the painting and suddenly laughed. It looks like when Mom and Dad pick us up from school. Mother Yi was so moved at this moment. Jiang Cheng, thank you. I feel relieved that Qingju has found someone as considerate as you. Mom, don't worry. I will treat Qingju well for the rest of my life. After Jiang Cheng finished speaking, he handed the painting in his hand to Mother Yi. Mother Yi took it into the house, looked at it over and over again, and then carefully kept it. The next morning, Sun Ming went to Mingli's kindergarten to send Tang Tang to school as usual. Unexpectedly, he met Hu Shanshan again at the kindergarten gate. She came to help her sister send her child off. The two people bumped into each other and felt a little awkward. Hu Shanshan was a little hesitant at this moment whether to say hello to him. After all, they knew each other. But when she thought about how he broke into her house yesterday and even went to the bathroom to mop the floor, I was so embarrassed that I could dig out a 3-bedroom apartment with my toes. Sun Ming was a little embarrassed, but he still walked over and said, Ms. Hu, I didn't expect to see you here. Are you here to send your child off as well? Hu Shanshan was afraid that Sun Ming would misunderstand her, so she hurriedly explained, I'm helping my sister deliver the child. I'm not married yet. After saying that, I felt that I spoke too quickly. The other person didn't even ask me whether I was married or not. Sun Ming smiled and said, Ms. Hu, I'm really sorry about what happened yesterday. How about I treat you to breakfast? No, I have something else to do at the company. After saying that, Hu Shanshan looked towards her car. At first glance, it was a BMW that was about to park, but it didn't find the right position and it just hit Hu Shanshan's rearview mirror. Snap! The rearview mirror fell directly to the ground. Hu Shanshan was almost angry to death. She walked over in a hurry and knocked on the other person's car window. "Can you drive?" The other party was also a female driver. She is a bit older, though, and she dresses quite fashionably, looking like a strong woman. "Why are you shouting so loudly? I didn't mean it. I'll just pay you whatever you want. Do you have to be so exaggerated?" Hearing this, Hu Shanshan was so angry that she laughed. This guy was so rude. "It's obviously your fault, can't you apologize?" Chapter 199, Modern People's Love is Terrible. This guy is so rude. He watched her crash his car with his own eyes, but he didn't even say sorry. It's really too much. "I've already said I'll accompany you no matter how much money you have. What are you doing? Why are you so fierce? You're so capable at such a young age. It'll be strange if you can get married." The woman in the BMW rolled her eyes after she said that. Hu Shanshan was so angry that her scalp went numb. "What kind of person is this? Also, who can't get married," she said. "You are a reasonable person. Is it enough to just pay compensation for a car accident? Is it a big deal to be rich?" The BMW owner unbuckled his seatbelt, got out of the car, and picked up a child in the back. "You go to school first. Mommy will take care of something and come pick you up later." After listening to her mother, the child nodded and ran towards the Montleys' kindergarten. Seeing the child leave, the woman crossed her arms and looked at Hu Shanshan impatiently. "Do you know how to park? Your family owns the parking lot. Don't you know how to park your broken Audi straight? How can you let others park if it's tilted?" Hu Shanshan was almost fainted by this shrew. She did not park the car straight, but it was also within the white line. There should be no problem if she parked it within the white line. Doesn't this woman look at her own problems, but starts picking on other people's? Just as she was about to continue the argument, Sun Ming grabbed her arm. He looked at the woman who looked like a demon dog in front of him and said, "Please apologize to Ms. Hu immediately." Hu Shanshan was startled. She didn't expect Sun Ming to wake up so hot, but she quickly came to her senses. "Yes, you must apologize to me." Hearing this, the BMW owner laughed. "What can you do to me if I don't apologize? You are such a crazy couple." Hu Shanshan was so angry that she almost smoked. "Who are you calling crazy?" After saying that, he was about to rush forward again. Sun Ming pulled her behind him and looked at the woman in front of him. "Madam, first of all, you have caused an accident. You should apologize to the vehicle that was hit. Then you can talk about compensation. Do you understand?" "What if I don't apologize?" The woman was very confident. "The parents of the children at the Mingleys' kindergarten are all rich or noble. This woman drives a BMW, and her clothes and appearance reveal the aura of a nouveau rich. He's probably some nouveau rich. What a beautiful quality." Sun Ming's eyes revealed disdain. Hearing this, the woman became anxious. "Who are you saying has no quality?" Sun Ming smiled and said, "I'm talking about you. Do I even need to ask this? You've been the one with no manners from the beginning to the end." Hu Shanshan stood aside and looked at Sun Ming, and suddenly she felt an indescribable sense of security. Just now she was so angry at this shrew that her scalp was numb. Now looking at this shrew who is so angry at herself, I can only say 4 words: physically and mentally refreshed. "Let me tell you, there are not many people who dare to scold me. Why don't you look at your own character and rush to save the beauty?" After saying that, she looked at Hu Shanshan again. There was obviously an age difference of 6 or 7 years between the two. The woman smiled, as if she had suddenly realized something. "Oh, this is your mistress, right? As expected, girls nowadays like to find a boss to hang out with and reap the benefits." "You're talking nonsense." Hu Shanshan was so angry that her face turned red. He ignored Sun Ming's obstruction and came out from behind him. She really wanted to bet on this woman's mouth. "You're talking nonsense. I've seen many vixens like you seduce other people's husbands, scumbags, and social scum. But it's a pity that you have poor vision. You can't become a boss just by driving a shabby Audi." She glanced at Sun Ming and said, "As for him, he is destined to run a shell company at best. Be careful not to let others cheat you of your youth." Sun Ming was so angry that he laughed. "What's wrong with this person? The quality of a parent of Montleys' kindergarten is so low." He glanced at the middle-aged woman and said, "Stop talking nonsense. You hit someone's car, it's your fault. You'd better apologize and pay the money right now." The woman sneered, "It's impossible to apologize. You poor guys, do you think you deserve an apology from me?" After saying that, she took out 20,000 yuan from her bag and threw it directly on Hu Shanshan. "Look carefully, it's much easier than selling your body." After saying that, he got in the car. Hu Shanshan was almost angry to death. She suffered such humiliation for no reason, and the key point was that she clearly did nothing. Seeing the man leave, Sun Ming first picked up the 20,000 yuan on the ground, then took out the car keys and got into the car. Want to leave? It's not that easy. He shouldn't have apologized. Sun Ming is a good driver and can be considered an experienced driver. He found the right position and drove straight in front of the woman in the BMW. The woman had just turned the car around and was about to go on the road, but he squeezed her so hard that she was so scared that she changed direction and crashed into the guardrail. It looks like the collision wasn't serious. The people are definitely okay, but the car will definitely need a major overhaul. Hu Shanshan was so surprised at the scene in front of her that she was speechless. Was Sun Ming venting his anger on her? He actually drove his car directly into her. It was so dangerous. Sun Ming got out of the car only after he saw smoke coming out of the hood of the BMW. The BMW owner rushed out of the car like crazy. She pointed at Sun Ming and said, "Are you sick? Pay for my car." The right door of her car was rubbed against the guardrail, and the headlights were also broken. It would cost a lot of money to repair this. Sun Ming looked at her with disdain. "You are sick. Why are you squeezing me on such a wide road? Besides, did I hit you? Why should I pay you money?" After saying that, he pulled Hu Shanshan, who was standing there in a daze, over and said, "Let's go, get in the car." Hu Shanshan stared blankly at the scene in front of her. It was really scary. Oh, after saying that, he got into Sun Ming's car. Sun Ming was too lazy to pay attention to the crazy woman. He turned the car around and drove out. After the car drove a distance, Hu Shanshan finally reacted. "Ah, my car is still in the parking lot." Sun Ming picked up the phone and called the towing company. Soon the call was connected. "Hello." Sun Ming said calmly, "Hello, there is an Audi in the parking lot of Meng Lisi Kindergarten. The rearview mirror has been damaged. Please help me tow it to the 4S shop. I will be there in a moment." "Yes, sir." After saying that, Sun Ming hung up the phone. Hu Shanshan looked at him. Actually, Sun Ming was a good-looking man with thick eyebrows and big eyes. He looked very calm, especially after what happened just now. He gave me a full sense of security. This guy is really strong. Full of protectiveness. Hu Shanshan suddenly felt excited and smoothed her hair. "So, where are we going now?" Sun Ming raised his eyebrows. "I'll take you to have morning tea." In fact, Sun Ming seldom eats breakfast in the morning. He just watches Tang Tang eat her fill and then sends her to school. But it was too early now, 8:30, and he couldn't think of anywhere else to go if he didn't have breakfast. Hu Shanshan nodded. "Okay, let's go to the Cantonese-style morning tea downstairs at Vaughan Company. It tastes pretty good. I go there often, but we agreed that I have to treat you." Sun Ming smiled and said, "Okay, since you are so good-looking, whatever you say counts." Hearing this, Hu Shanshan blushed. This man actually praised her for being beautiful. After breakfast, Hu Shanshan ordered some food, and the two of them ate and chatted, talking about everything under the sun. After what happened just now, Hu Shanshan now has a very favorable impression of Sun Ming. Sun Ming took a bite of the stewed food and said, "By the way, don't tell Mr. Wang that I went to your house yesterday." Hu Shanshan nodded. "Don't worry, I'm not stupid, but when are you going to sue him?" Hu Shanshan picked up a bun and took a bite. "I haven't thought about it yet, but it's definitely not now. By the way, Jiame Robot will hold a meeting in a few days. You can go there and look for evidence," Hu Shanshan said. Sun Ming didn't expect that this girl would not protect her at all. He was impressed. "How many years have you been in Yuan and Company? How come you betrayed your boss without blushing or feeling nervous?" Hu Shanshan smiled and said, "It's been about 6 years, but Mr. Wang and I don't have much friendship. He paid me to do things for him, and it's just a normal relationship between superiors and subordinates. Besides, he was wrong in the first place, so why should I defend him?" Sun Ming nodded and said, "Well said." After dinner, Sun Ming took Hu Shanshan to the 4S shop, and the car had been repaired. The two people left their phone numbers with each other and went their separate ways. Sun Ming called Jiang Cheng and asked him if he wanted to go to Meijia Company's robot exhibition in the afternoon. Jiang Cheng had already thought about it. "It's not suitable for you and me to come forward in this matter. It's better if we are two strangers. I have called Su Ji and Sheng Xinyan and asked them to come over. No one will know them." Hearing this, Sun Ming nodded. "Okay, as long as you decide, I'll go to the company now." "What did you do this morning?" Sun Ming is never late, but he was late today, so Jiang Cheng felt something was wrong. Hearing this, Sun Ming began to play it safe. "Yeah, I sent the kids to school this morning, so I was late." He didn't want Jiang Cheng to know about him and Hu Shanshan. Hearing him stuttering, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but tease him. You're not going on a date, are you? A date so early in the morning, is that okay? You're really something. Sun Ming looked helpless. Could this be guessed? Was the surveillance camera pressed on me? I really can't hide anything from you. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng became excited. Sure enough, you went on a date. Tell me the truth. Who did you go on a date with? Sun Ming. In the afternoon, Su Ji and Sheng Xinyan went to the Sichuan exhibition hall. After all, it was a robot exhibition, and the country still strongly supports such high-tech things. So we lent the exhibition hall directly to Boss Wang. The exhibition hall is very large, with a total of 10 robots. Although they are of different colors, their functions are similar. Boss Wang's wife, Wu Jiame, stood on the stage and spoke excitedly. Hello, everyone. Today is a robot exhibition specially held by our Jiame company. Our company's robot breaks through previous concepts and adopts brand new technology. This robot can not only take care of children, but also the elderly. It can speak many languages and is very convenient to use. I believe it will become a good companion in everyone's life. Su Ji had a recorder in his pocket at the moment, and he was taking a few photos with his phone from time to time. Sheng Xinyan was watching with great interest. She didn't expect that Jiang Cheng could actually make such high-end things. I can also use it to play with my children. No, I have to buy one for myself to play with at home. The two of them strolled around for the entire afternoon and didn't come out until the exhibition was over. Then I went to Tengsing. Jiang Cheng was sitting in Yi Qingjiu's office playing Honor of Kings. When he saw two people walk in, he immediately quit the game. Anyway, I have already taken more than 30 kills, so I won't lose if I just stay idle. He looked at Su Ji. What's going on? Su Ji took out the recorder from his pocket and handed it to Jiang Cheng. Listen to it. How shameless it is. It's exactly the same as yours. Jiang Cheng took the recorder and turned it on. A woman's voice came out, and it was quite clear. Sheng Xinyan walked to Yi Qingjiu with a curious look on her face. Jiujiu, this robot is so great. Can you give me one? Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu frowned. Why do you want that thing? She is neither an old person nor a child, so robots seem to be of no use to her. Can't I play when I'm bored at home? Sheng Xinyan looked unconvinced. Yi Qingjiu looked at her speechlessly. Sister, shouldn't you find a boyfriend? Robots are not as fun as real people. Sheng Xinyan stared at her. Sister, I want to find a boyfriend, but where can I find one? You know me, I'm a writer, and I just sit at home. How can I have time to meet a boyfriend? Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu looked at Su Ji and said, Didn't I give you all the opportunities? Su Ji is a good person, and he is also Jiang Cheng's classmate, so the two know each other well. Besides, Su Ji is not bad-looking either. Although not as handsome as Jiang Cheng, he is also very good-looking. Sheng Xinyan looked in the direction where Yi Qingjiu was looking. At this moment, Su Ji was sitting next to Jiang Cheng with an indignant look on his face. I think we should just sue her. This kind of person has no bottom line and should be sent to jail. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, Don't worry, I have my own plans. Sheng Xinyan looked at Su Ji and found him somewhat pleasing to the eye. She was so busy looking at robots at the exhibition that she didn't really pay attention to him. Su Ji, how old are you this year? Sheng Xinyan looked at him with a smile. Su Ji felt a chill down his spine. Why, I'm 23. I'm probably younger than you. Hearing this, Sheng Xinyan smiled. It doesn't matter if you're young. Jiang Cheng should be younger than Qingjiu, right? Aren't they both doing well now? Yi Qingjiu swallowed his saliva. This guy is really a tiger. He asked about my age right away, as if he wanted to put a dog's skin plaster on me. Sheng Xinyan is very pretty and sweet, especially when she smiles. Her two dimples appear and disappear from time to time, which is very pretty. Su Ji also began to react at this time. He looked at Sheng Xinyan. How about I treat you to a movie tonight? Sheng Xinyan nodded. Okay, then I'll treat you to popcorn. The two of them decided to go to the movies together after just a few words. Yi Qingjiu simply couldn't believe it. Is this modern love? Just these two sentences. It's so scary. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu with a smile. Wife, how about we go too? They have been together for such a long time, but it seems they have never gone to the movies together. Chapter 200, Are we together just like this? See a movie. Yi Qingjiu thought about it, and it seemed that she had never watched a movie with Jiang Cheng. However, it felt inappropriate to be with the two of them. After all, they were on a date. Shall we go to the movies too? Jiang Cheng nodded. Yes, let's go too. When Sheng Xinyan heard that Yi Qingjiu was going, she was also excited. Okay, let's go together. I'll buy the tickets now. After saying that, he picked up his phone and started searching, and sure enough, there was a horror movie at around 6 o'clock. She loved horror movies the most, so she bought 4 tickets without hesitation, then looked up at Yi Qingjiu and said, "I've bought them. It's at 6 o'clock." Yi Qingjiu nodded, "Then we can set off in a while." Yi Qingjiu called his mother and told her that he would not go back, and asked her to go pick up the child with Zhang's mother. Then the 4 of them got in the car and drove all the way to Wanda. Not many people watched the movie today. The 4 people successfully got their tickets and entered the cinema. As soon as she entered the cinema, Yi Qingjiu felt that the atmosphere was not right. She glanced at Sheng Xinyan and asked, "Did you buy a horror movie?" Sheng Xinyan nodded. "Yes, horror movies are interesting." Yi Qingjiu was speechless. If he had known it was a horror movie, he would have gone home to take care of his children. What a weird thing. I'm not interested in it at all. But it's too late to regret now. Yi Qingjiu gritted his teeth and said, "Forget it, let's go in." The 4 of them found seats and sat down side by side. Jiang Cheng sat next to Yi Qingjiu and bought a bucket of popcorn at some point. He thought Sheng Xinyan would buy tickets for a romance movie, but unexpectedly it was a horror movie. She is indeed a heroine. Su Ji was even more confused. He had been timid since he was young and didn't even dare to watch a chicken being killed. Asking him to watch a horror movie was like asking for his life. Thinking about it, he glanced at Sheng Xinyan next to him and smiled unhappily. "Sister, I didn't expect you to like this." Sheng Xinyan looked disapproving. "Don't you like watching it? I thought everyone likes watching it." Hearing this, Su Ji's smile became even uglier. "Ha ha, I like them all, I like them all." The movie started. Jiang Cheng grabbed Yi Qingjiu's hand and said, "Wife, if you are scared, just close your eyes and sleep for a while." Yi Qingjiu nodded obediently. "Okay." He closed his eyes immediately. Jiang Cheng looked at her, feeling a little amused and helpless. Is this girl's reaction so quick? It seems that you really don't like watching horror movies. If I had known this earlier, I would have gone home to play with my children. He silently took a piece of popcorn and wanted to feed it to Yi Qingjiu, but the girl already looked like she was about to sleep. I had no choice but to stuff it in my own mouth. It tastes good, really sweet. He wanted to eat a second one, so he put his hand into the popcorn bucket and touched a hand, which scared Jiang Cheng. When he looked up, Su Ji was looking at him with a smile. "I feel a little scared, so I'll eat some popcorn to relieve the stress." Sheng Yangxin looked at the 2 of them helplessly. "Two big brothers, popcorn is only for girls, please give it to me." Jiang Cheng was about to speak when he saw Su Ji holding up the popcorn bucket with a smile and handing it to Sheng Xinyan. "Come on, have some popcorn." Jiang Cheng was speechless when he saw the smirk on his face. 10 minutes later, an exciting scene appeared. The heroine was taking a bath and suddenly felt that there was no water, so she looked up. At the same time, a female ghost with blood and flesh flying all over her body crawled out from inside. This is very exciting, especially for male audiences. They all want to see the heroine taking a bath, but they are all damn afraid of female ghosts. After some inner struggle, I couldn't help but watch it. Finally, the female ghost suddenly stretched out her claws and came towards the screen. The effect of 3D movies can be imagined. When Su Ji saw this scene, he jumped up in fright, sat on Sheng Xinyan's body, and hugged Sheng Xinyan's neck tightly with his arms. Sheng Xinyan was still eating popcorn. I was completely frightened by Su Ji's unexpected posture. After a moment, he regained his senses and looked at Su Ji in anger and anxiety. "What are you doing?" Su Ji sat in a warm embrace. The girl's body was sweet and soft, and there was a fragrance. "My brain is a little out of control at this moment." After being yelled at by Sheng Xinyan, he hurriedly got out of her arms and looked at the people around him. "Sorry, sorry." Yi Qingjiu had her eyes closed, but she opened them when the 2 of them pushed her so hard. She happened to see Su Ji apologizing. She looked at Jiang Cheng curiously. "What's wrong with them?" Jiang Cheng held her hand and smiled. "It's okay, they were scared by a ghost. You sleep for a while. I'll call you after the movie is over." Yi Qingjiu nodded. "Yeah." After saying that, he closed his eyes again and concentrated. Originally, Su Ji was just going to give it a try, but after that subconscious jump just now, his heart was now entirely on Sheng Xinyan. She smells so good, not like the smell of pickled cosmetics, but it is an inner scent unique to girls. Unfortunately, he had no idea that Sheng Xinyan had lost all her good impression of him after being startled by him, and was planning to never contact him again after watching the movie. Rogue, it actually fell on me like this. So shameless. Xinyan, can you give me some of your popcorn? Su Ji was already trying to make small talk. Sheng Xinyan glanced at him and moved the popcorn that was originally placed in the middle to the other side. "Sorry, you only like to eat tofu, you don't need to eat popcorn." Hearing this, Jiang Cheng burst out laughing. This Shang Xinyan really dares to say anything. Su Ji explained with an ugly face, Auntie, I really didn't mean it. The female ghost is really scary. Don't you know how to close your eyes when you're so scared? What are you looking at? Do you think I don't know? Don't you just want to see the heroine taking a bath for a few more seconds? Shang Xinyan kept chattering like abacus beads. Su Ji looked embarrassed. I am innocent. I was thinking how scary it was. My goodness, Shang Xinyan looked so harmless, how could she know everything? But the heroine has a really good figure, white skin especially. She paused at this point and looked at Su Ji. Am I right? This is Sherlock Holmes. Su Ji swallowed his saliva and said, I really didn't look down. How would I know if it was white or not? Seeing Su Ji's guilty look, Shang Xinyan smiled triumphantly. You want to look down, but I didn't shoot down there. I was talking about the heroine's hands. Hearing this, Su Ji broke into a sweat. This woman is so scary. But she smells very good, and her smile is very sweet. Su Ji was deeply conflicted. After the movie, Jiang Cheng woke up Yi Qingjiu beside him and said, Wife, it's time for us to go. Yi Qingjiu opened his eyes dazedly, looked at the subtitles on the screen and rubbed his eyes. So fast. I didn't eat dinner, so I feel a little hungry right after waking up. She rubbed her empty stomach and said, Why don't we go get something to eat? Hearing about eating, Shang Xinyan also became excited. Okay, there's a new Sichuan restaurant downstairs. The food is super good. Let's go try it. Hearing about Sichuan cuisine, Yi Qingjiu perked up. Okay. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu speechlessly. She knew clearly that she had a bad stomach, but she still wanted to eat spicy food. And Shang Xinyan even encouraged her to eat spicy food. I am so speechless. Of course, he couldn't understand that girls' friendship might start with a hot pot or Sichuan cuisine. A few people went downstairs and went to the Sichuan restaurant that Shang Xinyan mentioned. At this moment, Su Ji's mood was extremely complicated. To be honest, he really liked Sheng Yangtsen a little bit now. But I also feel that this woman must be difficult to deal with. He was a little hesitant at the moment, and he looked at Jiang Cheng. Brother Cheng, I want to have a couple of drinks. Jiang Cheng nodded. Then just drink it, what's the big deal? You don't want to drink? Su Ji stared at him with wide eyes, thinking he was not loyal enough. Jiang Cheng glanced at Yi Qingjiu, who was speechless after seeing him. I never care whether you drink or not, okay? Don't look at me like that. You can drink. Shang Xinyan nodded. Drink, let's drink together. After saying that, he turned around and shouted, Waiter, bring a case of beer. Her heroic act surprised Su Ji. Unexpectedly, Shang Xinyan is undoubtedly a tomboy. Yi Qingjiu had long been accustomed to Shang Xinyan's carefree nature. In fact, she was only like this when she was with her own people. In today's society, although there are many reasons why people have to do something, Shang Xinyan never seems to care. Those who allow her to drink as she please must be true friends. After a while, the waiter brought over a case of beer. Su Ji opened a bottle and poured 3 glasses of wine. Shang Xinyan looked at him and said, Why are there only 3 glasses? Don't you want a drink? It was he who suggested drinking. How could he not drink? It's not me, it's Mr. Yi. Mr. Yi shouldn't drink, right? After Su Ji finished speaking, he glanced at Jiang Cheng. After all, he is a man who is crazy about protecting his wife. Even if I pour wine for his wife, I have to look at his mood. At this moment, Yi Qingjiu looked helpless. Hey, shouldn't you look at me first? I'm the one who decides whether to drink or not. Hearing this, Su Ji smiled and said, Yes, my eyesight is not good, I went off track. Then, Mr. Yi, would you like to drink? Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu nodded. Come on, have a drink. It's a rare opportunity for me to go out and watch a movie. Even though I didn't even watch it, I still went out after all. She basically has no entertainment activities, and when she goes out rarely, she still wants to have fun. Jiang Cheng's eyelids twitched. Is this girl trying to cause trouble? Why do you want to drink for no reason? But he changed his mind and felt that it was okay to drink a little wine. After all, he was right in front of Yi Qing. It seemed that he had never seen Yi Qing drink wine in such a long time they were together. I don't know what she looks like when she's drunk. Thinking about it, Jiang Cheng felt a little inexplicably expectant. Su Ji's wine was poured, and the 4 of them raised their glasses together. The atmosphere is pleasant. After a while, the dishes came up. The Sichuan cuisine in this restaurant is really unique. In 4 words, it is spicy, fresh, and fragrant. Yi Qingjiu's face looked red from the spicy food, which made her look more healthy. At this moment, Shang Xinyan was also very hot. The 2 beauties, with a cup on the left and a cup on the right, became the most beautiful scenery in the entire Sichuan restaurant. Jiang Cheng and Su Ji were completely stunned. I didn't expect these 2 people could drink so much. Are you serious? After dinner, the four of them left the restaurant. There was a cold wind blowing outside, and the two beauties who were originally awake began to feel fuzzy in their heads due to the breeze. Shang Xinyan took Yi Qingjiu's hand and began to complain. Qingjiu, look, aren't there two handsome guys in front? Should we go up and chat with them? Yi Qingjiu looked a little confused at the moment. She looked carefully and said, "That's Jiang Cheng, not a handsome guy. That's my husband, don't talk nonsense." When Suji heard Yi Qingjiu's voice, he immediately pulled Jiang Cheng's sleeve and said, "Brother Cheng, your sister-in-law is talking to you." Hearing this, Jiang Cheng pricked up his ears and heard Shang Xinyan's unhappy tone. "What do you mean your husband? I know you gave birth to a child, but isn't the child a college student's? I remember you have photos of college students hidden in your house." Yi Qingjiu glanced at her and said, "Nonsense, I've already taken that college student home and we're going to have our wedding next month. But you, it seems like you've been single ever since your last relationship ended. It's been years now, right?" Hearing this, Shang Xinyan was not happy. "Who is single? I have a boyfriend. There are many people on the street. I can just pick one and they will be willing to be my boyfriend." After saying that, he went to pull people in. "I have to prove my strength to Yi Qingjiu." Seeing this, Jiang Cheng retreated and pushed Su Ji, pushing him directly in front of Shang Xinyan. She was drunk and happened to see a man in front of her. Looking closely, she looks pretty good. Smiling, she took Su Ji's hand and said, "Would you be my boyfriend?" Because she had drunk some wine, Shang Xinyan no longer looked as sharp as before. Instead, she looked dazed and very cute. She speaks sweetly. Su Ji's soul was almost seduced away by her. "Okay, then don't regret it." Shang Xinyan nodded and stretched out her little finger. "Let's make a pinky promise, then the puppy will regret it." The two of them made a promise and stamped their agreement. Shang Xinyan simply put her arm around Su Ji's arm, and the two of them looked like they were in love. Yi Qingjiu looked even more drunk now. Jiang Cheng hurried over to help her. He glanced at Su Ji and said, "I have to take my wife home. You take Xinyan back." After saying that, he hailed a taxi and took Yi Qingjiu back home. On the way, Yi Qingjiu closed her eyes, and her beautiful face was exactly the same as when Jiang Cheng first saw her. He couldn't help but kiss her on her red lips. Yi Qingjiu slowly opened her eyes and looked at him. That slightly drunk look made Jiang Cheng's blood boil instantly. "Honey, where is Xinyan?" Yi Qingjiu asked weakly. Su Ji sent her back. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu nodded and said, "Let's not go back today. It's not good for me to go home like this." Jiang Cheng pinched her hand, which was soft and tender. "Okay," he nodded. "Master, let's go to the Holiday Inn." "Okay." 20 minutes later, Jiang Cheng dragged the dizzy Yi Qingjiu into the Holiday Inn. Because the hotel has signed a contract with Yaochen, anyone who comes from Yaochen can be given the room card first and pay the bill later. So Jiang Cheng quickly got the room card. Chapter 201, Did I Take the Initiative? When he went upstairs, Yi Qingjiu was already very drunk. Jiang Cheng looked at her and suddenly remembered their first time. It was very strange. It should have been an exciting time, but Jiang Cheng felt a little uncomfortable at this moment. He sat on the sofa and began to think about what would have happened if Yi Qingjiu had not met him, or if Chen Shaolin had not drugged him. Maybe I can only see Yi Qingjiu on TV or in some news magazines. Yi Qingjiu had fallen asleep in a daze by now, but his face was still red, and it looked like he was still drunk. Jiang Cheng came over, pulled the quilt for her, and gently caressed her face. Then quietly look at this beautiful face. Yi Qingjiu seemed to be dreaming, but she didn't know what she was dreaming about. She spoke in a daze. "Jiang Cheng, are you there?" "Jiang Cheng." Her voice was soft and sounded a little weak. Jiang Cheng held her hand and whispered softly, "I'm here. I've always been here." Hearing that it was Jiang Cheng, Yi Qingjiu held his hand tightly and refused to let go. "Please don't leave me. I'm scared to be alone." Listening to Yi Qingjiu's seductive voice, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but hug her. Because he had been drinking, Yi Qing woke up very early and now had a splitting headache. I opened my eyes and found myself in an unfamiliar place, and then I suddenly sat up. Where is she? What happened? Her movement just happened to wake up Jiang Cheng, who was beside her. Jiang Cheng hugged her from behind. "What's wrong?" Yi Qingjiu swallowed. "Why are we here?" Her mind was a little confused now. She felt uneasy when she thought about herself not coming home at night, and her two children were still at home. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng smiled. "I don't know who dragged me to the hotel last night. Why do you regret it now that you're sober?" Yi Qingjiu's eyes were filled with confusion. She always felt that Jiang Cheng was joking with her. How is it possible? Why would I make such a request? She didn't believe that she would make such a request. who would come to the hotel if she didn't have a home to live in. Good job. He now really felt that it was a miracle that she had not forgotten him last time. I don't know who held my hand last night, and Jiang Cheng paused deliberately. As expected, Yi Qingjiu was anxious. What else? Of course, it's more proactive than ever before, Tilda, Jiang Cheng teased. After hearing these words, Yi Qingjiu suddenly felt unwell. Damn it! How proactive is the unprecedented initiative? I will not be. Thinking of this, Yi Qingjiu felt hot all over. It's over. I'm too embarrassed to face anyone. Is this the case before we even have the wedding? Looking at the messy clothes on the ground, she was completely desperate. So it was me who pulled out Jiang Cheng, and it was also me who asked for it. It's so annoying. She is too embarrassed to see anyone. Yi Qingjiu pulled the quilt hard and covered his head with it. Doesn't she have any face? Really, it's a bully. Jiang Cheng looked at the small bulge in the quilt and smiled. How come this girl is still so cute? It's so annoying. He picked up the clothes and put them on the bed. Come out quickly, we have to go home, otherwise the children will be worried. Hearing the child, the bulge in the quilt paused. Forget it, we all have children, what are we afraid of? It's just a little more proactive, what's the big deal? She stuck her head out and looked at Jiang Cheng, then turned around. Jiang Cheng, is there any part of her body that I haven't seen? It really is. He shook his head helplessly and turned away. Yi Qing quickly put on her clothes and patted him on the shoulder. Let's go home. Although she got up, she didn't even look at Jiang Cheng's face because her memory was gradually coming back to her. She seemed to remember what happened last night. I actually took the initiative to give it to him. Later, the woman was on top. It's so terrible. Thinking of this, Yi Qingjiu touched his mouth, lowered his head and walked quickly. It's over, it's over. I don't know how Jiang Cheng will view me in the future. When we got home, the two babies and Mother Yi were having breakfast. Seeing two people running home early in the morning, I was a little surprised. Why are you back at this time? Hearing this, Jiang Cheng smiled and nodded. Come back to send the children to school. Mother Yi fed Niu a mouthful of egg custard and asked casually, by the way, what did you do last night? Yi Qingjiu's eyelids felt hot. Seeing her daughter's face blushing like a ripe apple, Yi's mother was a little curious. Why is your face still blushing? You haven't been home all night, I just care about you, what's there to be shy about? The more Yi's mother spoke, the redder Yi Qingjiu's face became. Can you say that? Mom, please don't ask any more. Seeing this, Jiang Cheng pulled Yi Qingjiu behind him and said, Mom, let's go change clothes first. After entering the bedroom, Jiang Cheng touched her head and said, Okay, don't be shy anymore. I don't remember what happened last night. He also said, come again. It's really annoying. Yi Qingjiu rolled her eyes at him. He turned around, pulled out a set of clothes from the closet, and changed into them silently. I'm going to work. After saying that, he ran away like the wind. Jiang Cheng changed his clothes and walked out of the bedroom. Mother Yi had just seen her daughter run out like the wind, and now she was even more curious about what the two of them had done last night. Seeing Jiang Cheng, he couldn't help but ask, Where did you go last night? Why is Qingjiu so abnormal today? Jiang Cheng was happy and sat down next to Yi's mother. Haven't you always wanted a second child? Isn't this just obeying orders and following instructions? Upon hearing this, Mother Yi understood. Well, there's nothing to be shy about. I'll have to talk to this girl about this later. At this moment, the two babies had almost finished eating. Jiang Cheng took them down from their seats and touched each of their heads. Let's go to school. After sending the two children away, Jiang Cheng sent a WeChat message to Sun Ming, asking him to ask Hu Shanshan where Boss Wang was now. 10 minutes later, Sun Ming replied with 4 words, Meijia Company. It's great that I can go to the new company to get acquainted with it. Jiang Cheng turned on the navigation, entered the name of the Meijia Company, and then followed the navigation all the way to Meijia. Meijia seems to be smaller than Yuanan. There is no underground garage, but it is also 8 stories high and a brand new office building. Jiang Cheng parked the car and walked towards the gate. The security guard at the door saw that Jiang Cheng was a stranger and reached out to stop him. Jiang Cheng didn't say anything. He just grabbed the man with his backhand and knocked him down. After all, he was a martial arts expert, and since he was here today, he had no intention of being polite. After knocking down the security guard registering at the door, Jiang Cheng entered Meijia Company. However, he didn't know which floor Boss Wang's office was on, so he went straight to the 10th floor. At this moment, the security guard had already called the secretary. Wen Ping was drinking tea with Mr. Wang in the office when she received a call from the security guard saying that someone had broken in. She frowned. How is this possible? How could such a thing as forcing someone to break in happen in 2021? No, she had to go down and take a look. Seeing her anxious face, Boss Wang asked curiously, "What's wrong?" "I heard someone created it. Start a new company. After all, a thief is always guilty." So the first person Boss Wang thought of was Jiang Cheng. But I also feel that plagiarism should be perfect. Besides, Jiang Cheng is a man of status. After thinking about it, I feel that it is unlikely that Jiang Cheng was the one who did it. How about I go with you and take a look? Boss Wang put down the teacup in his hand. At this moment, he was also very curious about the person who broke into the company. "Boss, I think you'd better not go. Who knows where this person comes from?" When Ping was still very vigilant. Hearing this, Boss Wang smiled. "Don't worry, it's 2021. You can't still rob people at gunpoint." Having said that, he stood up and walked out first. Wen Ping looked at his back and always felt uneasy. She quickly got up and followed him. As soon as the two of them reached the elevator entrance, they saw Jiang Cheng getting off the elevator, and the three of them bumped into each other face to face. Seeing that it was Jiang Cheng, Boss Wang looked very unhappy. "Boss Jiang, why are you here?" Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Shouldn't I be the one asking you this? Why are you here, Mr. Wang?" Mr. Wang smiled awkwardly. "I'm here to discuss something. Mr. Wu happened to be away, so we're going back." "What are you talking about? Is it about robots?" Jiang Cheng looked at him with disdain. Now Mr. Wang was completely speechless. Meijia copied Yuanen's robot. He appears here again. Doesn't that mean he has something to do with the counterfeiting? And since Jiang Cheng can appear here, it means that Jiang Cheng must know about the Mei family's imitation robots. I feel like I can't really explain it. This is simply a case of trying to cover up one's own faults. Mr. Wang couldn't think of any better excuse. Jiang Cheng sneered, let's go to the office and talk." Hearing this, Mr. Wang broke out in a cold sweat. I could only bring him back to the office. Jiang Cheng was not polite at all and followed him into his office. He sat in the boss's seat as soon as he entered the door, which made Mr. Wang even more embarrassed. He reluctantly sat opposite Jiang Cheng. "Mr. Jiang, no need to say more. I'll give you two choices. First, give me the company and let this matter go. We'll keep our distance from each other from now on. Second, sue me in the district court and you'll be sentenced to at least 5 years in prison. Think about it yourself." After saying that, Jiang Cheng took out a pack of cigarettes from his pocket and lit one for himself. Mr. Wang looked at him and sneered. This Jiang Cheng is really asking for too much. He is so bold. Now that Huadu has brought it to this point, there is nothing to hide anymore. He slowly walked to the coffee table and sat down, then poured himself a cup of tea. "What if I don't?" Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "No. Didn't I tell you that you can just wait to be put in jail?" Hearing this, Mr. Wang took a sip of the tea in his cup and said, "To be honest, if I plagiarized, it was from Yuan and Company. Besides, Yuan and Company was originally my own company. I took my own things and used them here. This doesn't count as plagiarism, right?" Jiang Cheng knew that he would have such a shameless excuse. "It is Yuan and Company, yes, but you seem to have forgotten about the patent application. Whether it was the robot's appearance or its internal program software, they were all designed by Jiang Cheng alone, and the rest of the people just cooperated to complete them. Now, as long as Jiang Cheng applies for a patent, Boss Wang will be doomed. So you think you're the only one who would apply for a patent? Wouldn't a company as big as Meijia go back and apply for one? To be honest, I've already applied for a patent. Now, I should tell you that I'll give you two choices. Either you hand over 20% of the shares and we won't interfere with each other, or I'll sue you for plagiarism. President Jiang, you'll go to jail for 5 years tilde. Boss Wang is not a fool. He has already applied for a patent. I was just afraid that one day the fight between me and Jiang Cheng would end up like this." Hearing this, Jiang Cheng looked surprised and a little angry. "I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. When I first invested in the company, didn't you think highly of the robot project? You said robots are inferior to AI? But now that you see my robots have market prospects, why are you so eager to put them on the market and start making money?" Boss Wang looked at Jiang Cheng's angry expression and smiled smugly. "Everything has its past and present. I'm talking about the present, but you're talking about the past. Yuanen did have some difficulties in the past, and I really wasn't optimistic about the robot project. Now I've changed my mind. How do you think?" Jiang Cheng looked a little unhappy. "That was the result of my hard work for a month, and you just copied it. Aren't you afraid of being punished by God?" Hearing the words divine punishment, Boss Wang laughed. "To tell you the truth, kid, you are still too young. What God's punishment or not is just the words of the weak. In my opinion, there is only winners and losers. If you say one more word, I will be considered a plagiarist. What can you do to me? Now I also have the patent in my hand. I advise you to be more sensible and hand over the agreement for 20% of the shares. This way, we can keep to ourselves. Jiang Cheng looked at him and nodded. Okay, very good. You plagiarized so righteously. I wanted to let you go, but now it seems that I'd better forget it. You plagiarized the patent and committed a large amount of fraud. You are in trouble. Jiang Cheng invested 200 million yuan and spent more than 20 million yuan on the research and development of the robot. Adding up 220 million yuan, this is a huge fraud, and he can be sentenced to life imprisonment. Hearing this, Boss Wang laughed out loud. Show me the evidence. This is a society ruled by law. Are you going to destroy me on behalf of the moon like in the cartoons? Looking at his arrogant expression, Jiang Cheng curled the corners of his lips. He took out the recorder from his pocket. He pretended to be angry just now, but it was just because he said a few more words. He had never intended to be polite since he entered the door. Boss Wang always thought that Jiang Cheng was a young and inexperienced person. From the very beginning, when he invested 200 million yuan to buy 20% of the shares of Yuan and Company, he defined Jiang Cheng as a man with no brains. Later on, why would a businessman engage in research and development, especially when he was successful? He gave Boss Wang the impression that he was not a businessman at all. Instead, he looks more like a scientific and technological talent who loves research. I didn't expect that he could actually do recording. Now Boss Wang is completely dumbfounded. This is simply unbelievable. Chapter 202, Is This the Second Child? Boss Wang's face gradually turned ugly. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, Have you made up your mind now? Either give me Media Company or life imprisonment. Make your choice. I originally wanted to give Jiang Cheng a warning, but I didn't expect that this would bring me into trouble. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, I'll give you a week. If I don't receive the transfer contract from Media in a week, we'll see you in court. After saying that, he turned and walked out of the office. When Boss Wang saw Jiang Cheng go out, he finally couldn't hold it anymore and collapsed on the sofa. The secretary was terrified and rushed forward to help him. Boss Wang, how are you? Mr. Wang's face turned pale. What could he do? His company was about to be gone. Boss Wang returned home in the evening. His wife Wu Meijia saw that he looked unhappy and couldn't help but wonder, Hey, what's wrong with you? Didn't you say you were going to make a lot of money soon? Why are you still like this? These words are like a stab in Boss Wang's heart. He also wanted to make a lot of money, but not only did he fail to make any money himself, but now he might have to lose the entire Meijia company. It hurts my heart just thinking about it. Oh, it's over. Boss Wang looked desperate. Wu Meijia looked at him. How come it's over? Tell me. Boss Wang gritted his teeth and told the whole story. Upon hearing this, Wu Meijia was completely desperate. She was the legal representative of Meijia Company. Wasn't this tantamount to losing her own company? This Wang Zongyao is simply a bastard. No, I have to give Yuanan to him. Mei's family is mine. I didn't expect my wife to be this kind of person. When Meijia was founded, she didn't contribute a penny. She just used her name as the legal person. Now that something has happened, she has this attitude. Yuanan is much bigger than the Mei family. Do you want to kill me? What does it have to do with me whether you compensate or not? I only care about the Mei family. The Mei family will never give it to anyone. I don't agree. Wu Meijia was also anxious. I have followed him for so many years, and finally he has such a company. Although I am just a figurehead, I am also the legal representative. That has legal effect. She would never give Meijia Company to anyone else. Boss Wang would never have thought that his wife would be such a person. He was so angry that his voice was shaking. Wu Meijia, why didn't I see that you are this kind of person earlier? They say that when you knock, everyone pushes you. I didn't expect that you would give me a push before I fell. You can do it. I don't care. Anyway, Meijia Company cannot be given to others. Wu Meijia looked determined. In less than 20 minutes, Wu Meijia had made up her mind that she was marrying Wang Yaozong just to get his money. Now she finally has a company in her hands, and she will never hand it over even if Wang Yaozong goes to jail. Moreover, once Wang Yaozong goes to jail, Yuan and Company will be his. At that time, when the two companies are sold together, I will have assets worth hundreds of millions, and I will never have to worry about food and drink from then on. Boss Wang pointed at her nose and said, Okay, Mr. Wu, you think there's nothing you can do if you don't give it to me, right? Don't forget, even if the company is yours, it's also your marital property and half of it is mine. I'm going to file for divorce now and you'll cry someday. Hearing this, Wu Meijia was at a loss for a moment. She has a low level of education and little culture. No, I can't lose the company based on his one-sided words. Thinking about this, Wu Meijia called the company lawyer. But unfortunately, what the lawyer said was the same as what Boss Wang said. Now Wu Meijia was left with no other options. I had no choice but to sign the transfer contract. The day after the transfer contract was signed, Boss Wang asked a lawyer to draft a divorce agreement. Wu Meijia only received 20 million in compensation in the end. A month later, Jiang Cheng got up as usual and made breakfast. The two babies have been living with Mama Yi recently and are particularly attached to their grandmother. Mama Yi has replaced Jiang Cheng as the person who picks them up every day. After the three of them got up, they sat at the table and had breakfast. Mother Yi noticed that Yi Qingjiu hadn't gotten up yet and couldn't help but ask with concern, "Jiang Cheng, why hasn't Qingjiu gotten up yet? How come he's been sleeping better and better these past few days?" Hearing this, Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Mom, isn't it the season that's changing recently? People get lazy when the seasons change, and there's nothing to do, so let her sleep a little longer." After hearing what Jiang Cheng said, Mother Yi smiled. "As a son-in-law, I love my daughter the most and always protect her. She has to get up and eat something. She didn't eat much last night. Jiang Cheng has been busy with robots recently, so he came back very late. Yi Qingjiu was already asleep when he came back last night. I didn't know she didn't eat much dinner. No, she has a bad stomach." Jiang Cheng thought about it, then stood up and went to Yi Qingjiu's room. He called her up. When I entered the house, Yi Qingjiu was still sleeping. She closed her eyes, and her long eyelashes looked beautiful. Jiang Cheng kissed her, "Lazy get-up Tilda." Hearing the shout, Yi Qingjiu turned over and said, "No, I want to sleep a little longer. She is always so cute." Jiang Cheng touched her head and said, "No, get up and have breakfast." No, Yi Qingjiu didn't even raise his eyelids. Recently, she doesn't know why she is always so sleepy, and she doesn't want to eat at all. She really just wants to sleep. What should I do? Jiang Cheng saw that she was determined not to get up. I had no choice but to drag the person out of the bed. "Wife, are you sick? How about I take your pulse?" He also felt that there was something wrong with his wife's condition. Yi Qingjiu did not refuse and directly stretched out her slender and fair arm. "Hey, look." Jiang Cheng stretched out his hand to feel his pulse. The pulse was extremely strong, but there was still a beating in the lower part. He widened his eyes and looked at Yi Qingjiu with surprise. "Wife, get ready." Yi Qingjiu looked at him, his face full of confusion. "What preparations are you making?" "Wife, you're going to be a mother." Jiang Cheng was so excited that he was a little incoherent. But it does not affect Yi Qingjiu's judgment. "Apparently it's over." "That's not right. I clearly took safety measures this month." She shook her head and thought carefully. Could it be? Once in the hotel. Now she is completely confused. The second child is coming just like that. Jiang Cheng nodded. "Yes, hurry up and get up and eat something. Let's go to the hospital." Yi Qingjiu sat on the bed for a full 10 minutes. Finally accepted the reality. Now that my two kids have finally grown up, and I can live my own life as a couple, how come a third child is born? Who can I go to for justice? Jiang Cheng was watching him from the side, and saw that she still had no intention of getting up. He reached out and pulled the man up. "You are two people now, you must eat. After dinner, let's go to the hospital." To be honest, Jiang Cheng was unsure, because although Ni Tian himself did not drink, Yi Qingjiu did. For the safety of the child, we still have to go to the hospital. The two went to the restaurant. Seeing her daughter's bad complexion, Mother Yi couldn't help but worry. "Qingjiu, why do you look so bad? Are you sick?" Hearing this, Jiang Cheng was happy. "Mom, you are sick. Haven't you been urging us to have a second child? Now we are pregnant." After hearing what Jiang Cheng said, Mother Yi was extremely excited. "Oh my God, her daughter actually has a second child. Last time I couldn't be with her. This time, I must be with her and accompany her into the delivery room." Yi Qingjiu felt a little embarrassed at the moment. She lowered her head and picked up a piece of vegetable and put it into her mouth. Before I could swallow it, I started to feel like vomiting. It's really too painful. There was no such reaction last time. Why is there such a big reaction this time? Seeing this, Mother Yi felt very distressed. "Qingjiu, is there anything you want to eat? Otherwise, how about Mother make bamboo tube meat for you?" The only thing she could think of that Yi Qingjiu liked to eat at this moment was bamboo tube meat. But Yi Qingjiu couldn't eat at all at this moment. She is almost dying of pain. Jiang Cheng felt very distressed when he saw Yi Qingjiu's pale face. "Wife, how about we go to the hospital first and then buy you a chicken when we come back? We can eat jellish and spicy chicken." When Yi Qingjiu heard about jellish and spicy chicken, he was shaken. This is the love of her life. especially the chicken cooked by Jiang Cheng. It is simply amazing. She nodded, okay then. Seeing that she finally wanted to eat again, Yi's mother was relieved. Then you guys go to the hospital quickly. I'll take the child to the market to buy a fresh chicken. Hearing this, the two of them nodded, went into the house, changed their clothes, and headed towards the hospital. Niu looked at Yanyan and asked, "Do you think he is a little brother or a little sister?" Yanyan thought for a moment and said, "I think my brother and sister are all good. As long as they are healthy, I can help Mom take care of them." My goodness, Mother Yi has not yet recovered from the surprise just now. I was really shocked when I heard Yanyan's words. Is this what a 3-year-old would say? This is so sensible. Niu thought for a moment and said, "I also want a younger brother so that I will have 2 men to protect me in the future." Hearing this, Yanyan smiled and said, "You think too much. It's you who protected him." After saying that, he climbed